The cruise ship rocked gently as I massaged Xia Qianqian's calf. She was the heiress to the Xia group and the employer I'd protected for the past 6 months since returning home. More than 2,000 people were aboard the luxury cruise ship she'd chartered for tonight, and I was the only man. Miss Xia, this is already the third time today. Cut the crap. Do you want to keep your job or not? I was 24, raised in the countryside, and had joined the Special Forces at 18. I'd served overseas for 6 years. After I returned home 6 months ago, Xia Qianqian hired me on a salary of 1 million a year. The money was certainly good, but so was the amount of trouble. She was spoiled and bad-tempered, and she often made me do things that fell well outside a bodyguard's duties. Massages were just one of them. Why did you insist on hiring me as your bodyguard? I asked. And why pay me so much? You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? I'm allergic to men. My whole body breaks out in red blotches if I touch one. Other than my father, you're the only man who doesn't trigger it. Her words reminded me of Huang Area, a girl I'd known as a child. She'd had the exact same condition. Even so, did you really have to clear every other man off the ship? Xia Qianqian glared at me. Keep talking and I'll dock your pay. She lowered her head and rubbed the crescent-shaped stone hanging over her chest. The stone looked perfectly ordinary, yet the longer I stared at it, the more familiar it seemed. That worthless rock is really worth wearing every day? Someone who saved me when I was little gave it to me. She immediately clenched the stone in her fist. No one is allowed to touch it. I tested the waters with a few questions. Xia Qianqian only said that the person was named Li Ergu. They had been abducted together as children and taken to Xiaoxi village. When we tried to escape at age 6, I'd let myself be caught again to draw the traffickers away. She escaped to Yinyu City alone and was eventually reunited with her biological parents. Li Ergu was the name I'd gone by as a child. Back then, I'd given Huang Area the chance to escape, only to be sold again by the traffickers afterward. All these years, I'd never known whether she'd made it to safety. Xia Qianqian said she'd received a lead that Li Ergu might have appeared on an island near Bermuda. The so-called birthday trip was only a cover. She had secretly ordered the cruise ship to alter its course. I stared at the crescent stone in her hand. It was the one I'd given Huang Area, but the stone alone wasn't enough to prove her identity. The ship rocked again. Xia Qianqian raised her leg and warned me to stop asking questions, and the hem of her dress slid aside slightly. I saw the crescent-shaped birthmark on the inside of her thigh, and my fingers instantly froze. Its shape and position hadn't changed at all. The spoiled heiress in front of me really was Huang Area. Just then, the cruise ship lurched. My hand slid uncontrollably a little farther towards Xia Qianqian's birthmark, meeting skin as smooth as silk. Xia Qianqian went blank for a moment. The instant she realized what had happened, her face turned bright red. Oh, where do you think you're touching? I ought to throw you overboard and feed you to the fish. Miss Xia, I didn't do it on purpose. And if you feed me to the fish, who's going to look after your happiness for the rest of your life? You still dare to talk slick? Don't think I won't throw you overboard. You're getting bolder by the day. I explained. We've been drifting around at sea so long that I started missing my sister. My mind wandered for a second. Xia Qianqian's tone softened slightly. I never would have guessed you had a sister. How come you've never mentioned her? You never asked. Her name is Lin Xia. She's a year older than me and the most important person in my life. As I spoke, I picked up the locket around my neck and slowly opened it. Inside was a photo of Lin Xia and me when she was 18. After I helped Huang Area escape Xiaoxi village when we were 6 and got caught again, I endured endless torment and lived through years without a shred of hope. When I was 12, those inhuman traffickers nearly beat me to death. Lin Xia happened to be passing through Xiaoxi village. She called the police, saved me, and helped me escape that horrifying place. Lin Xia came from a single-parent home. Her family had very little, but she treated me like her own little brother. To pay for my schooling, she took odd jobs every day after class and lived as frugally as she could. I saw every sacrifice she made. Xia saved me from hell. She was the one who gave me a second life. Throughout my 6 years in the Special Forces, that photo silently kept me going. It was the belief that had carried me this far and kept me alive. Then, 3 years ago, I received the terrible news that Aunt Lin had died in a car accident. Lin Xia had vanished without a trace as well. I clenched my fists. Dead or alive, I would find Xia. Just as the mood grew heavy, the ship suddenly began rocking violently. Xia Qianqian cried out and nearly tumbled off the bed. Careful, Miss Xia. That precious but of yours costs more than I could ever afford if you heard it. At that moment, the speakers in the room crackled, and an announcer's voice came over the intercom. Attention, all passengers. The time is now 8 p.m. The cruise ship has entered the Bermuda region and has encountered a sudden thunderstorm. Please remain calm. I frowned. This was an extremely dangerous stretch of sea, where countless planes and ships had disappeared. And now we'd run into a thunderstorm. Lin Kai, you don't think something's going to happen, do you? Don't worry, Miss Xia. I'll go take a look. Following the sound, I arrived at the banquet hall and found a crowd of socialites gathered there. At the center of the crowd stood Qin Sweki, heiress to the Qin group, her face twisted with rage. Red wine had been splashed across her designer gown, and a woman in a maid's uniform knelt on the floor before her. You bitch. Are you blind? Do you have any idea how much this dress cost? Selling you wouldn't bring in enough to pay for it. I'm sorry, Miss Qin. I didn't mean to. The ship rocked so hard just now. You think sorry makes it all go away? If you can't even pour wine, you might as well not have those hands. Cursing, Qin Sweki raised her foot and ground her 10-centimeter heel into the back of the woman's hand. The heel sank deep into her flesh. Miss Qin, I was wrong. She begged desperately and tried to pull her hand free, but Qin Sweki pressed down hard, pinning it in place. That maid has the worst luck. She's worked for Qin Sweki for 3 years, and not a day goes by when she isn't beaten or cursed at. She's suffered every kind of humiliation. I can't imagine how she's put up with it this long. Humph. It's all for the money. I hear Qin Sweki tips generously, even if her temper is terrible. That maid probably keeps enduring it for the extra cash. People who invite pity always have something contemptible about them. If she had any backbone, she would have left a long time ago instead of staying here to suffer. Not one person stepped forward to stop what was happening. Instead, they mocked the woman with cold, cutting remarks. I frowned at the commotion. The Xia and Qin groups did business together. I shouldn't have interfered and risked causing Xia Qianqian unnecessary trouble. But this time, Qin Sweki had gone too far. The maid had already said it was an accident, yet Qin Sweki still humiliated her in front of everyone. Did serving others for a living mean she could be trampled like livestock, without even the right to basic dignity? Stop. I couldn't stand to watch any longer. I roared, shoved through the crowd, and strode up to Qin Sweki. My shout exploded like a thunderclap, instantly drawing every eye in the room. Who the hell are you to yell in front of me? Are you tired of living? Qin Sweki folded her arms across her chest and lifted her chin, her gaze brimming with arrogance and contempt. I ignored her and looked down at the woman on the floor. The instant I saw the woman's face and the star-shaped bracelet on her wrist, I went rigid as if struck by lightning. Despite the fear and helplessness written all over that familiar face, I recognized her at once. She was Lin Xia, the sister I'd missed day and night and had never stopped searching for. Seeing her face streaked with tears and her hands swollen and misshapen beneath Qin Sweki's heels sent a tidal wave of rage surging straight through my skull. I stormed up to Qin Sweki, raised my hand, and slapped her hard across her smug face. Smack! The sharp crack of the slap rang through the banquet hall. Oh my God, who is that man? He actually hit Qin Sweki. I heard he's Xia Qianqian's bodyguard. He probably lost his head for a second, but now he's in serious trouble. The Qin group has a vast underground empire and every bit as much power as the Xia group. I doubt even Xia Qianqian can protect him now. Someone in the crowd murmured, that man's as good as dead. You dare hit me? You lowborn piece of trash. I won't let you get away with this. I'll make you pay a terrible price. Xia, I'm sorry. I came too late. I let you suffer so much. Who are you? How do you know my name? Do we know each other? Pain stabbed through my heart. Lin Xia was looking at me as if I were a total stranger, and it hurt more than I could bear. Xia, it's me, Kai, your little brother. You don't recognize me. I'm sorry. I can't remember anything. 3 years ago, I was in an accident. When I woke up, all I knew was my own name. Everything else was gone. Xia, I'm sorry. I should have been there to protect you. Don't worry. I promise I'll help you remember me. I wondered who you thought you were. So you're this bitch's brother. You and that filthy woman both deserve to die. Qin Sweki, after everything you've done to my sister, I'm not letting this go. Everything I've done? She's a dog I keep. I can treat her however I want. Who are you to tell me otherwise? You? Rage overwhelmed me. I was about to strike again when Lin Xia wrapped her arms around mine and held me back. Don't provoke Miss Qin because of me. The people behind her are extremely powerful. You can't fight them. Hurry and leave. Forget about me. No. Xia, after the way she's abused you, I'd give my life to make sure you get justice. As I spoke, a sexy woman of about 24, dressed like a manager, stepped out of the crowd. Lin Kai, you're a bodyguard. How dare you strike someone as important as Miss Qin? Apologize to her right now. She turned to Qin Sweki and apologized profusely. Miss Qin, I'm terribly sorry. He's only a low-level bodyguard employed by our group. He offended you without meaning to. Please don't hold it against the rest of us. You want me to apologize to her? Manager Sue, don't forget you work for the Xia group. You're awfully quick to take an outsider's side. Shut your mouth. Can you bear the consequences of provoking the Qin group? If you want to die, don't drag the Xia group down with you. So you're nothing but a stinking bodyguard. I suppose a sister like that deserves a brother like you. Low-class trash will always be low-class trash. Watch your mouth, Qin Sweki. You think you're so noble? Without the Qin group behind you, you're nothing but a pile of shit. How dare you speak to me that way? Bodyguards, get him. Teach this reckless bastard a lesson he'll never forget. Miss Qin, please let him go. He has nothing to do with me. I truly don't know him. Punish me instead. Humph. Now you want to beg for him? What about the slap he just gave me? All of you attack. Beat him to death. I'd like to see any of you try. A sharp voice rang out from the hall, accompanied by the click of high heels against the floor. Look, it's Xia Qianqian, the Xia group heiress. She's absolutely gorgeous. Now this will be a show. Neither Qin Sweki nor Xia Qianqian is someone you want to cross. It looks like the two great conglomerates of Longhua are about to clash. Who is this bodyguard anyway? Xia Qianqian came to my side and shot me an irritated glance, as if blaming me for causing trouble again. Then she turned to Qin Sweki. Qin Sweki, even a dog has an owner you ought to respect. Lin Kai is my personal bodyguard. Who gave you permission to touch him? The corner of my mouth twitched when I heard that. Hey, Miss Xia, who are you calling a dog? Is that any way to talk about your knight in shining armor? Xia Qianqian glared at me. Shut up. Haven't you caused enough trouble already? I'll deal with you later. Even after Xia Qianqian appeared, Qin Sweki's face remained arrogant. She clearly didn't take her seriously at all. Xia Qianqian, your bodyguard just slapped me. Do you really want to offend the Qin group for his sake? Don't try to intimidate me with the Qin group. I wasn't raised to scare easily. If he slapped you, it's because you deserved it. Qin Sweki's expression turned hideous the instant those words left her mouth. Well, Xia Qianqian, you dare talk to me like that over some filthy bodyguard? Then I'll beat you along with him. With that, she waved for her bodyguards to attack. I quickly stepped in front of Xia Qianqian and Lin Xia. Xia, Miss Xia, don't be afraid. As long as I'm here, no one will hurt you. Xia Qianqian's eyes softened. Looking at my broad back, she felt completely safe. Just as the standoff reached a breaking point, the ship seemed to strike something and began to rock violently. Caught off guard, everyone stumbled in all directions. Wine glasses, dishes, and silverware crashed off the tables and shattered across the floor. The crystal chandelier swung wildly, creaking in a way that set everyone's nerves on edge, as though it might come crashing down at any second. Then the announcer's voice came over the intercom. Attention, all passengers. The cruise ship is under attack by an unknown creature. Please remain calm and follow the crew's instructions. I frowned. An unknown creature? What kind of creature could make a cruise ship this large rock so violently? While I stood there wondering, I looked through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Out on the storm-lashed sea, a gigantic creature the size of a mountain stared back with a pair of terrifying eyes. My pupils contracted. Each eye was as large as a truck, with a long, narrow, oval pupil like the eye of a demon from hell. The sight sent chills down my spine. Look, what is that thing? Oh my God, it's bigger than my family's mansion. Could that be the legendary sea monster? Wah, if I'd known, I never would have gotten on this stupid cruise. I want to go home to my mom. I've never even been in love. I don't want to die here. Xia Qianqian panicked as well and clung tightly to my arm. Stupid bodyguard, you've seen a lot. Do you know what that monster is? We're going to be okay, aren't we? If I'm not mistaken, that's the legendary Kraken. I'm afraid our chances don't look good. My brow furrowed deeply. The Kraken was enormous and could easily overturn a massive ship. Once it attacked, its tentacles would mercilessly crush anything in their grasp. Humph. What legendary Kraken? It looks like a big octopus to me. Don't think saying that will make me let any of you go. I couldn't be bothered with Qin Sweki anymore. The Kraken could attack at any moment, and keeping Lin Xia and Xia Qianqian safe mattered more than anything else. Xia, Miss Xia, it isn't safe here. Come with me. We'll get life jackets from the room and escape in a lifeboat. I grabbed Lin Xia's and Xia Qianqian's hands and started to leave, but Qin Sweki summoned 10 bodyguards to surround us. Stop. Block them. Don't let them escape. Qin Sweki, you've gone too far. Do you have any idea what's happening right now? Humph. I don't care what's happening. You humiliated me, so you'll pay the price. I frowned. How could I get Lin Xia and Xia Qianqian safely past 10 well-trained bodyguards? As I weighed my options, Lin Xia suddenly shoved Xia Qianqian and me forward. Go. I'll hold them back. Xia, how could I possibly leave you here alone? Thank you for saving me just now, but this is between Miss Qin and me. I don't want to drag either of you into it. A sharp pain went through my heart. Xia still didn't recognize me and refused to come with me. I was about to keep trying to persuade her. Just then, the ship rocked violently again. The Kraken was clearly attacking. The situation had become critical. It looked like I'd have to get the life jackets first, then come back for her. Gritting my teeth, I seized Xia Qianqian's hand and ran. Screaming women and people fleeing in panic filled the ship. I held tightly to Xia Qianqian and wove through the chaotic crowd. When the ship lurched again, Xia Qianqian cried out. Her high heel caught on the train of her gown, nearly sending her tumbling. My custom-made gown. My limited edition heels. Stupid bodyguard, what are you doing? Miss Xia, how can you still worry about possessions at a time like this? Those things are going to get you killed. I don't care. My gown and heels cost 2 million combined. I'm taking it out of your salary. A wooden plank grazed past her, hit the floor with a crack, and snapped in two. Are you all right, Miss Xia? See how dangerous that was? Stop getting distracted. Staying alive comes first. We reached the presidential suite, quickly put on life jackets, grabbed one more, and rushed back to the banquet hall to save Lin Xia. Why do you care so much about that maid? You even hit Qin Sweki for her. Who is she to you? She's Xia, the sister I've been searching for. But she has amnesia. She doesn't remember me. Amnesia? What happened? I don't know, but I'll make sure she remembers me. Under the Kraken's assault, the cruise ship rocked harder and harder and had already begun listing steeply. When we reached the banquet hall, we found Qin Sweki and several of her bodyguards torturing Lin Xia. Xia, I roared and raced toward her. At that moment, a massive tentacle smashed down through the ceiling, shattering the deck and blocking the way forward. The ship is sinking. We don't have time for that, maid. We have to get to a lifeboat. Xia Qianqian shouted at me. No, she's my sister. How can I abandon her? She's forgotten all about you. I order you to take me to a lifeboat, or you're fired. I acted as if I hadn't heard. I ran straight to the break in the deck and hurled the life jacket toward Lin Xia. Xia, put on the life jacket. But Qin Sweki snatched it away and put it on herself. Thanks for the life jacket, stinking bodyguard. Your timing was perfect. My eyes turned bloodshot. Qin Sweki, that's supposed to save Xia's life. Give it back to her now. Humph. Who does she think she is? Is her life more important than mine? Come take it if you can. Lin Xia shouted at me. Forget about me. It's too dangerous here. Go get on a lifeboat. At that moment, one of the Kraken's tentacles slammed into the ship. The vessel pitched violently from side to side and looked ready to sink. I steeled myself, took off my own life jacket, and hurled it toward Lin Xia. Xia, use mine. I can't lose you again. You have to stay alive. Lin Kai, are you crazy? You'll die without a life jacket. I turned and gave Xia Qianqian a confident smile. Relax. I was in the special forces. I'm harder to kill than a cockroach. Da Huang couldn't even bite me to death. As soon as the words left my mouth, another tentacle smashed through the ceiling and came crashing down over my head. I only had time to glance up before the tremendous force hurled me into the sea. Lin Kai, Lin Kai. A woman's anxious calls came from somewhere in my mind, drawing closer and closer until they reached my brain and hammered at my consciousness. Then two fragrant lips gently covered mine. I felt their warm softness, and a faint, sweet scent flowed into my mouth. Wake up. You said you'd always stay with me. I won't let you die. I suddenly started coughing violently and spat out mouthful after mouthful of seawater. Only then did I remember that she was Huang Area. Why had she just said that to me? Had she realized I was Li Ergu, the boy she'd known as a child? You stupid bodyguard, you're finally awake. If you dare die, I will never forgive you. I'm hard to kill, Miss Xia. What did you mean just now when you said I had to stay with you forever? Didn't you say when I hired you that you'd always stay by my side and protect me? Have you forgotten? So that was all she meant. It seemed I'd read too much into it. Xia Qianqian was the daughter of the richest man in the country. She'd probably forgotten all about Li Ergu years ago. I'm extremely dedicated. Even if it costs me my last breath, I'll protect a delicate heiress like you. Still joking around? If I hadn't risked my life to save you, the fish would have eaten you already. Do you have any idea how terrifying that was? I finally remembered that the Kraken's blow had hit me with such force that I lost consciousness shortly after falling into the sea. Through the haze, I only remembered a woman diving desperately into the ocean after me. So that woman had been Xia Qianqian. Saving her when we were children hadn't been for nothing after all. It took everything I had to pull you back up. Then I held on to a wooden board and drifted in the ocean with you all night before we finally washed up here. I looked around and found that we were lying on a beach. Xia Qianqian's life jacket lay beside us. Thank you for saving my life, Miss Xia. Without you, I really would have ended up as fish food. Why did you have to play hero and throw away your life jacket? You nearly drowned. Are you an idiot? I didn't have a choice. Xia was in danger. I couldn't just stand by and watch. She's forgotten you. Was it really worth risking your life for her? If something happens to you, who's going to protect me? I sat upright. Xia is the most important person in my life. I can't let anything happen to her. By the way, was she rescued in the end? I'm not sure. When I jumped into the sea to save you, she was wearing a life jacket and Qin Sueki took her away. That's good. With a life jacket, her chances of being rescued are much higher. I hope she's safe. All you ever think about is your precious Xia. We've drifted to this godforsaken island. What are we supposed to do? My thoughts returned to the present. We were stranded on a desert island, and our most urgent task was to get rescued as soon as possible. I stood and found my clothes soaking wet. My shoes had disappeared, leaving me in nothing but socks. You pervert. Why are you taking off your clothes? Just because I saved you doesn't mean you can act like a creep. Xia Qianqian hurriedly covered her eyes, but couldn't resist peeking through her fingers. Her heart pounded wildly. I'm only wringing them out. Why are you so nervous? I marveled at how the pale, scrawny Huang area I remembered had grown into such a beautiful woman. No wonder I hadn't recognized her. Miss Xia, why don't you take yours off and wring them out too? No, thank you. I'm not as shameless as a certain someone. Then let's at least take stock of what we have and see if anything might be useful on this island. I put away my playful mood and searched my pockets. Before long, I pulled out a phone and a Swiss Army knife. The phone wouldn't turn on after being soaked in seawater. I didn't know whether it would work after drying in the sun. The watch on my wrist was waterproof and solar-powered. It currently showed 10 in the morning. The locket around my neck was still there too. It had become my only tangible connection to Lin Xia. All my things were in my purse, and I dropped it in the sea while saving you. You threw away my limited edition heels too. Xia Qianqian spoke with a heartbroken look, curling her toes into the sand. Apparently, she was still angry that I tossed away her heels. Then she instinctively reached for her chest. The moment she realized it was bare, the color drained from her face. It's gone. My crescent stone necklace is gone. She frantically searched the beach, clawing desperately through the sand as though she'd lost her most precious treasure. I was surprised. I'd casually given her that stone when we were children, yet she treasured it this much. Could she have remembered me all along? Miss Xia, it's only a worthless rock. Why care so much? I can give you another one. What do you know? It's a priceless gift from him. How could anything you gave me compare? Priceless? The rock I'd given her wasn't worth that much. Could he be her boyfriend? It seemed that stone only happened to resemble the one I'd given her when we were little. Of course, she was a wealthy heiress. Why would she still keep the worthless rock I'd given her as a child? As that thought crossed my mind, something glittering on the beach caught my eye. Puzzled, I walked over and picked it up. It was a star-shaped bracelet. The moment I turned the bracelet over, I froze. The 3 characters for Lin Xia were clearly engraved on the back. My heart lurched. Wasn't this the star bracelet I'd given Xia? What was it doing here? Could Xia have washed up on this island too? Lin Kai, did you find it? Xia Qianqian noticed me and hurried over. The moment she saw that I wasn't holding her necklace, the excitement vanished from her face. What the heck? It's only some cheap star bracelet, and an ugly, old-fashioned one at that. Who would wear something so tacky? What do you know? This is Xia's bracelet. Is your crescent necklace the only precious thing in the world, while everything else is garbage? Xia Qianqian froze. Judging by her reaction, she clearly hadn't expected me to defend the bracelet so fiercely, and a sudden sense of grievance welled inside her. Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do it on purpose. All you ever think about is Xia. Are you my bodyguard or not? Miss Xia, this bracelet means the world to me. Finding it here proves Xia must be somewhere on this island. And then what? You're going to abandon me to search for the sister who doesn't even remember you? Fine. Go if you want. Of course I'm going to search for Xia, but I won't abandon you either. Do you really think I'm that heartless? That's more like it. But don't think I'll forgive you so easily for yelling at me. As she spoke, her stomach growled. Only then did she remember that she hadn't eaten anything since the night before. She was already furious about losing the crescent necklace, and I'd hurt her feelings on top of that. She snapped at me irritably. Lin Kai, I'm hungry. I order you to catch me a giant lobster. Miss Xia, do you think this is a 5-star hotel? You expect a giant lobster to appear just because you tell me to catch one. I don't care. I want a giant lobster. I was helpless. Xia Qianqian might have a terrible temper, but she had saved my life. I couldn't simply ignore her. I was thirsty and hungry too. A giant lobster was out of the question, but we had to solve our food and water problem. I surveyed our surroundings and suddenly spotted several coconut palms nearby. My eyes lit up. I'll owe you the lobster for now, Miss Xia. How about I prepare a delicious desert island feast instead? Xia Qianqian tilted her head in confusion. What kind of desert island feast? Don't even think about fooling me. You'll find out when it's ready. But first, you'd better wring out your clothes. You could become dehydrated if you leave them wet. As I spoke, I took off my socks and laid them on the beach to dry. They would become important tools later, so I couldn't afford to damage them. Then I headed into the nearby jungle to find materials for a tool that would help me harvest the coconuts. The coconuts here grew on palms 10 meters tall. Climbing up to pick them would use too much energy and could easily lead to injury. Getting hurt on a desert island was something we had to avoid at all costs. If a wound became infected, it could even cost us our lives. A sling would make it easier to knock down coconuts and could serve as a weapon in an emergency. I searched the jungle carefully for the vines and plants I needed to make one. Once the sling was finished, I picked several medium-sized stones off the ground to use as ammunition. I carried the sling beneath a coconut palm. This kind of weapon was extremely difficult to use. But with my special forces training and refined technique, it posed no problem for me. I placed a stone in the sling's pouch, gripped one end of the cord, and began to whirl it. Once it had built up enough speed, I released it sharply, sending the stone flying. Bang! The stone struck the coconut stem with perfect accuracy. The coconut swayed several times before dropping with a thud onto the soft sand. Meanwhile, as Xia Qianqian laid out her clothes to dry, she suddenly felt the urge to relieve herself. Frowning, she unconsciously squeezed her legs together. She wanted to go, but was afraid I'd see her. Looking around, she spotted a patch of bushes nearby. Once she reached the bushes and made sure there was no danger around, she slowly squatted and parted her legs slightly. Just as she began to relax, she heard a rustling sound, as though something were crawling through the grass. She searched nervously in every direction, but saw nothing. Fear closed in around her. By the time she finally finished, the rustling had stopped as well, and her racing heart gradually settled. As she looked for something to wipe herself with, a burst of excruciating pain suddenly shot through her ankle. Ah! Xia Qianqian let out a piercing scream, the sound especially terrifying on the silent island. I was striding back toward the beach with 2 large coconuts in my arms. The instant I heard her scream, my heart lurched. I turned toward the sound and saw Xia Qianqian running with nothing on, her long pale legs flashing. The erotic sight made it almost impossible to look directly at her. Miss Xia, my eyes nearly popped out of my head. What was going on? Why was Xia Qianqian running around like that? Had she suffered some kind of breakdown and decided to let it all hang out? At least my little area had grown up beautifully. Lin Kai, something bit me over there. Hurry and see what it was. Xia Qianqian no longer cared how exposed she was. Enduring the sharp pain in her foot, she pointed toward the bushes. My first thought was a venomous snake. There was no time to hesitate. I immediately dropped the coconuts and rushed to identify the snake so I could treat the bite appropriately. At the same time, I loaded a stone into my sling and ran toward the bushes while whirling it rapidly. When I reached the bushes and pulled the branches aside, I found a small snake about as long as my arm. As it tried to escape, I aimed the sling at its head and released the stone. With a dull crack, the little snake dropped. Although the snake was down, I didn't lower my guard. I grabbed a large rock nearby and smashed it hard against the snake's head. Only after confirming that it was completely dead did I slowly approach and study it. The snake was about 60 centimeters long. It had an oval head, a yellowish-brown back marked with black crossbands, a grayish-white belly, and a long, slender tail. Snake meat was rich in protein. Its skin could be made into a snakeskin pouch, and the sinew was exceptionally tough, making it an excellent material for survival tools. Lin Kai, did you find something? Tell me what bit me. Am I going to be okay? Xia Qianqian had put her gown and underwear back on. She sat sprawled on the beach, rubbing her foot and calling loudly to me. Remembering how unreasonable she'd been earlier, I suddenly felt the urge to play a prank on her. I picked up the dead snake, arranged my face into a grave expression, and turned towards Xia Qianqian. The moment Xia Qianqian saw the snake in my hand, she panicked. Is that what bit me? Is it venomous? Am I going to die? Miss Xia, this snake is extremely venomous. I'm afraid you don't have long. But don't worry, I already avenged you. Lin Kai, you're so capable, and you were in the special forces. You must know how to save me, right? Hurry and suck out the poisoned blood. Miss Xia, The venom is incredibly potent. If I suck out the blood carelessly, I could lose my life too. Do you really want me to do it? Xia Qianqian's face instantly turned ashen, and she collapsed onto the sand. In that case, forget it. I don't want you to lose your life because of me. You still have to find your sister. But after I die, you have to find a man named Li Ergu for me. He has a scar on his, but from a dog bite. Who is this Li Ergu, Miss Xia? Why do you want me to find him? What is he to you? He saved my life. Human traffickers abducted me when I was little, and he rescued me. When you find him, take him to my father. Dad will make sure he never has to worry about food or shelter again. So that was it. I sighed after hearing her answer. It seemed she only remembered that I'd saved her. She didn't want to owe me, so she intended to compensate me with money. Miss Xia, someone that important should be found by you personally. I'll suck the poison blood out after all. But you just said it might cost you your life. You don't have to risk everything for me. I'm your devoted bodyguard. You paid so much to hire me. I can't let anything happen to you. As I spoke, I tossed the dead snake aside, squatted down, and lifted the ankle where Xia Qianqian had been bitten. Xia Qianqian's gaze softened. Still, she didn't want to endanger me and was about to push me away. I focused on drawing the blood from her wound. Every time I sucked, I felt her tremble. Don't be afraid, Miss Xia. I've removed the poison blood. I'm sure you'll be fine very soon. Before I finished, I swayed as if the venom had taken effect, then collapsed onto the beach with a thud. Lin Kai, Xia Qianqian, went pale with fear. She hurried over, pulled me up, and cradled my head. What's wrong? Don't scare me. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have made you suck out the poisoned blood. Miss Xia, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm afraid I won't be able to catch that giant lobster for you. Please don't die. I don't want the giant lobster anymore. If you die, what will I do? Xia Qianqian's voice trembled with tears. I cracked an eye open and glanced sideways at her. Really? You truly won't make me catch a giant lobster? Really. As long as you recover, I'll do anything you ask. Then it's a deal. Whatever I tell you to do, you have to obey. Yes, I promise. Just don't die. Xia Qianqian nodded frantically. I suddenly sat up, wearing a wicked grin of triumph. Xia Qianqian stared at me. You're all right. Of course. Or were you hoping I wasn't? The snake that bit you was a non-venomous, grass-bellied keelback. Why else would I suck the blood out? Do you think I'm stupid? Realizing she'd been tricked, Xia Qianqian puffed out her cheeks in fury and hammered my chest repeatedly with her small fists. You rotten bodyguard. How dare you deceive me and trick me into making that promise? I'll beat you to death. Despite her words, a faint smile appeared on her face. She was relieved that I hadn't really been poisoned. I caught her soft little hand. Stop hitting me. I was wrong, okay? You already promised I wouldn't have to catch you a giant lobster. You're not going back on your word, are you? You hateful man. You couldn't catch the lobster, so you resorted to a trick like that. What about my desert island feast? Does that not exist either? Of course it does. Do I look like someone who breaks his promises? Wait here. Your feast is coming right up. I stood and walked mysteriously toward the spot where the coconuts had fallen earlier. Before long, I returned carrying 2 large coconuts. Xia Qianqian's eyes widened. The desert island feast you promised is just coconuts. Don't underestimate coconuts, Miss Xia. We're short on fresh water, and coconut water is life-saving nectar. As I spoke, I tossed a coconut into Xia Qianqian's hands, sat beside her, and continued explaining. You can eat the flesh for energy, and the shell can be turned into a container. Coconuts are one of the best resources you can have when starting out on a desert island. I never knew coconuts had so many uses on an island. You know quite a lot for a bodyguard, but the shell is so hard. How are we supposed to get the flesh out? You can't expect me to bite through it. She touched her teeth as she spoke, as though she were genuinely considering whether they could crack the shell. You really were planning to attack the coconut with those little white teeth, weren't you? Relax. I have a way. Xia Qianqian's face lit up. Wow, that Swiss Army knife of yours is amazing, Lin Kai. It can even cut through a shell this hard. My Swiss Army knife can do all sorts of things. It's an essential tool for home and travel. Go on, Miss Xia, try the coconut flesh. By the way, why did a snake bite you in those bushes? What were you doing there? Xia Qianqian's face instantly turned scarlet. Well, you told me to take off my wet clothes and wring them out. Then I suddenly had to pee. So I ran over there before I had time to put them back on. How was I supposed to know there'd be a snake? And then you forgot about everything else and came running out in a panic? Stop laughing. You saw me naked, and now you're making fun of me? You horrible pervert. Don't think about it. Forget everything you saw. Stop hitting me. I was wrong to laugh at you. I'll take what happened today to my grave. That's more like it. And I still haven't settled the score over your fake poisoning, so don't think I'll forgive you easily. I was wrong about that, Miss Xia. I only wanted to teach you a lesson. Danger can appear at any moment on this island. This isn't the time to throw an heiress's tantrum. All right, I understand. But we're trapped on this island without even a way to call for help. What are we going to do? Don't worry, Miss Xia. As long as I'm here, I won't let anything happen to you. Right now, our first priority is filling our stomachs. As I spoke, I picked up the dead snake again. Coconut flesh provided only limited energy, and we couldn't eat too much of it. To survive on this island, we needed more protein. Xia Qianqian shuddered when she saw the dead snake. Isn't that the snake that just bit me? You're not planning to eat it, are you? It looks disgusting. I refuse. Once it's cleaned properly, snake is delicious, Miss Xia. It's rich in protein and will help us recover our strength. Something that horrifying can't possibly taste good. Eat it yourself. I won't touch anything so disgusting. She stood, brushed the sand off her backside, and hurried away as though the dead snake were a terrifying monster. I sighed helplessly. The bite had clearly traumatized Xia Qianqian. She was terrified of the snake. Leaving her alone, I carried the snake to the water's edge and cut off its head with my Swiss Army knife. Xia Qianqian walked barefoot across the beach. It was almost noon, and the sun had warmed the sand until a gentle heat rose through the soles of her feet. While I cleaned the snake, Xia Qianqian went farther down the beach and drew an enormous SOS signal in the sand. A while later, she returned with a soaking wet woman. To my surprise, it was Su Meixin. Su Meixin said the waves had overturned her lifeboat, scattering everyone aboard. She had washed up on the island alone. That meant there were other survivors from the cruise ship. Lin Kai. I met someone while I was drawing the distress signal. Guess who I brought back? Xia Qianqian called to me from behind. I turned and found that the person with her was Su Meixin, one of the great beauties of the Xia group. Well, if it isn't the lofty manager Su. What wind blew someone as important as you all the way here? Lin Kai. Manager Su is smart and capable. I'm sure she can help us escape this place. You're too kind, Miss Xia. I'll do everything I can to help you. I certainly won't be like a certain someone who only knows how to run his mouth. Su Meixin was delighted by Xia Qianqian's praise, and at the same time resumed her usual bickering with me. Once, when her mother fell critically ill and she'd run out of options, Xia Qianqian gave her a large sum of money and saved her. Lin Kai, look at Su Meixin, then look at yourself. All you do is make smart remarks from morning to night. Since you two know each other, everyone needs to work together so we can leave this awful place as soon as possible. I'm only a bodyguard, Miss Xia. How would I know an important manager like her? And you expect me to cooperate with her? She's nothing but a pretty face. I'll be grateful if she doesn't cause trouble. I certainly don't expect her to help. Xia Qianqian rolled her eyes at me. Don't listen to him, Su Meixin. He has a nasty mouth, but he isn't a bad person. Why would I argue with a bodyguard, Miss Xia? On this desert island, we'll have to depend on us women. Su Meixin deliberately emphasized the word women, making it clear that I was the useless one, while wondering how she could help Xia Qianqian. Then she noticed that both her clothes and Xia Qianqian's were still wet, and an idea came to her. Miss Xia, our clothes are soaked. I'll make a fire and help you dry them. You know how to make a fire, Su Meixin? That's wonderful. These wet clothes feel awful. Yes, I learned some wilderness survival skills before. I know how to start a fire by rubbing sticks together. If you want to dry your clothes, why not take them off and lay them in the sun? Why go to all that trouble? I was about to start a fire too, but mine is for roasting snake meat. We women can't strip as casually as you. And keep that thing in your hand away from me. You said I'm a useless pretty face, didn't you, Lin Kai? Then do you dare bet on which of us can start a fire first? The loser has to obey the winner. What do you say? If I refused, I'd lose Xia Qianqian's trust, and then I would be the one forced to obey. Besides, I'd just obtained snake sinew. It was perfect for making an excellent fire-starting tool. A bold idea suddenly came to me. The corner of my mouth rose in a wicked smile as I agreed. Fine, Manager Su. You said it yourself. But I'm adding one more condition. The loser must obey the winner and take off their clothes. Take off my clothes? What exactly are you trying to do? Just because we're stranded on an island doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. I won't let you have your way. Manager Su, I only added one condition. If you win, you won't be the one taking anything off. Why are you so nervous? Unless you're scared. Su Meixin's pretty face flushed with anger. Xia Qianqian was waiting for her to start a fire and dry the clothes. So how could she refuse? She forced herself to answer stubbornly. Who says I'm scared? Just wait and see. Don't try to break your promise when you lose. With that, she headed into the jungle and began searching for suitable materials to start a fire by hand. I secretly rejoiced at seeing her frustrated. You really think you can beat me? In a little while, you'll obediently take off those clothes. I didn't waste time either. I followed her leisurely into the jungle and searched for the materials I needed. The tool I planned to make was called a bow drill. A bowstring rapidly spins a spindle against a fireboard, generating enough heat through friction to start a fire. A bow drill concentrates force more efficiently. It uses less energy than spinning a stick between your palms and has a much higher success rate. First, I found a hard branch and carved it into a spindle with the Swiss Army knife. Then I chose a piece of softwood and cut a notch into it for the fireboard. Next, I found a dry, abandoned bird's nest, which would make excellent tinder. Finally, I took out the snake's sinew to make the bowstring. Sumation finished gathering her materials first. Seeing that I was still making a tool, she secretly felt pleased with herself. Judging by her reaction, Sumation didn't hate me. She simply resented how much Xia Qianqian valued me. She carried her materials over to Xia Qianqian. I'll have a fire going for you very soon, Miss Xia. You'll be able to dry your clothes in just a minute. I believe in you, Sumation. These wet clothes feel horrible. Hurry and show me how you're going to make the fire. Sumation said nothing more. She squatted, placed her materials beside her, and used one stick as a spindle and a wooden board as the base. Taking a deep breath, she rapidly spun the spindle between her palms, trying to generate a spark through friction against the fireboard. She worked for a long time, rubbing her hands nearly raw. But aside from producing a little sawdust, she didn't create a single spark. Sumation, why haven't you started the fire yet? Don't tell me you can't do it. Xia Qianqian's expression darkened. Starting a fire isn't that easy, Miss Xia. Give me a little more time. I'll definitely manage it. Sumation was puzzled too. The people on television always started fires so easily. Why was it so difficult when she tried? Was everything on television a lie? She kept trying with everything she had, yet she still couldn't produce even the faintest spark. Just as frustration overwhelmed her, I approached with my bow drill and a pile of materials. I glanced at Sumation from the corner of my eye. She'd worked for ages without producing one spark. I smiled but said nothing. I moved to one side, arranged my materials, set the spindle into the notch in the fireboard, and looped the bowstring around it. Then I gripped the bow in my right hand, steadied the top of the spindle with my left, and gave them a confident smile. Watch closely. This is how you make fire. Sumation stared at the strange contraption in my hands. She had no idea it was a bow drill. She assumed I was only putting on an act and curled her lip. Humph, stop pretending. Let's see what kind of trick you can perform with that bizarre thing. Can that thing really start a fire, Lin Kai? Don't end up wasting your energy like Sumation. I pulled the bow steadily back and forth. The bowstring spun the spindle rapidly against the fireboard, producing a low humming sound as the wood heated through friction. Wow, there's smoke already. Sumation worked forever and only made a layer of dust. You're amazing, Lin Kai. Smoke doesn't mean he'll start a fire, Miss Xia. I just wasn't fully prepared before. Once I rest, I'm sure I'll succeed. By then, Sumation was beginning to regret making the bet. I smiled without answering and kept working the bow. Thanks to the snake's sinew, the drill moved exceptionally smoothly. The ember grew as air flowed over it and ignited the edge of the bird's nest. Soon, flames rose from the tinder. Wow, you really made a fire. This is wonderful. We can finally dry our clothes. Lin Kai, make it bigger. Sumation bit her lower lip, her eyes filled with resentment. Is that all the ambition you have, Miss Xia? We make a fire, and all you can think about is drying clothes. Why not do something more useful? I teased her with a smile and moved the tinder beneath a pile of wood so the flames could grow. Of course, comfort is extremely important to us women. I don't want to stay in wet clothes forever. What could be more meaningful than that? Eating delicious snake meat. It's rich in protein and amino acids and will give us plenty of energy. As I spoke, I picked up several skewers of snake meat I prepared earlier and arranged them evenly over the fire. Looking at the snake meat, Xia Qianqian remembered what had happened in the bushes and shivered. I don't care how wonderful you make it sound. I won't eat that. Giant lobster is 10,000 times more delicious than this ugly thing. Is that so? Unfortunately, we can't get a giant lobster right now. If you refuse the snake meat, you'll have to go hungry. After teasing her, I continued roasting the meat. I glanced at Sumation and raised the corner of my mouth in a smile. Manager Su, do you remember our bet? I won. Isn't it time you honored your promise? My eyes wandered over her curvy body as though I were inspecting a prize. Sumation felt uncomfortable under my stare. She quickly covered her chest and glared at me. Don't go too far, Lin Kai. I lost fair and square, so I'll obey you. But don't think you can make me do something shameless. Why would I make you do anything shameless? I only want you to take off those wet clothes and wring them out. Aren't they uncomfortable? Sumation froze at my answer. Was that really all he wanted? Could he actually be concerned about me? Xia Qianqian tried to smooth things over. He's right, Su Meixin. Lin Kai said that wearing wet clothes could dehydrate us. But Miss Xia, Lin Kai is still here. Taking off my clothes in front of a man would be so embarrassing. Su Meixin sounded bashful. She had never undressed in front of a man and couldn't make up her mind. Then I'll take mine off with you. My clothes aren't dry either. We can hang them beside the fire together. Xia Qianqian took off her gown, leaving only a pure white bra and panties, completely unconcerned by my gaze. Since Xia Qianqian had already undressed, Su Meixin felt too embarrassed to keep hesitating. Besides, wearing wet clothes truly was uncomfortable. She began unfastening her business suit. As each button came loose, a red bra containing her impressive curves sprang into view. Wearing only their underwear, Su Meixin and Xia Qianqian each found several branches and hung their clothes beside the fire to dry. Her face red, Su Meixin asked, "Are you satisfied now? Tell me, what do you want me to do next? Why the hurry? You used so much energy trying to make a fire that you must be hungry. Let's fill our stomachs first. You're not going to refuse the snake meat too, are you?" I turned the snake meat over the flames. It sizzled and released a strange, enticing aroma. Su Meixin's expression tightened. Seeing my faint smile, she couldn't shake the feeling that I was plotting something. After drifting in the ocean all night, she was parched and starving. The tempting smell made her swallow repeatedly. But she was afraid I was setting a trap and wanted to maintain a united front with Xia Qianqian. So she answered stubbornly, "No, thank you. I'm not hungry, and I don't eat anything so crude." Her stomach betrayed her with a loud growl. "Exactly. I wouldn't eat something that disgusting even if I starved to death. You can keep it all and enjoy it yourself." Xia Qianqian chimed in, apparently determined not to touch it. "Is that so? Since neither of you wants any, I suppose I'll have to make the sacrifice and eat the whole snake myself." I pretended to sound regretful, but inwardly laughed at their foolishness. We were already stranded on an island, yet they still insisted on being picky. Once the snake meat was cooked, I stopped being polite. I lifted a skewer, blew on it, and took a small bite. The outside crackled between my teeth, releasing rich, smoky oil across my tongue, while the tender meat delivered an unexpectedly wonderful texture. I chewed with satisfaction and deliberately made as much noise as possible, as though flaunting a rare delicacy in front of them. Delicious. This is food fit for the gods. Seeing me savor the food and deliberately flaunt it in front of them, Xia Qianqian pouted and snapped. "Why do you have to eat so loudly? Can't you show a little class? You sound like a starving ghost who's never seen food before." Su Meixin chimed in. "He's only a bodyguard, Miss Xia. How could you expect him to have any class? Something like that is probably all he can stomach." She looked around for something edible. She couldn't catch the fish swimming in the ocean, and she couldn't reach the coconuts hanging from the trees. She suddenly regretted refusing the snake meat. They were stranded on a desert island. So why was she still clinging so desperately to her pride? "We're stranded on an island, Miss Xia. Who cares about appearances? Staying alive is what matters." The two women had to remain by the fire while their clothes dried. Watching me eat made their mouths water, but neither was willing to lose face. At last, Xia Qianqian couldn't stand it anymore and grumbled, "Lin Kai, I'm hungry. Go find us something else to eat." Su Meixin must still be hungry too. I glanced at her. "You refused the snake meat, and now you're complaining about being hungry. Why don't I pick you another coconut? I don't want coconuts. Let's go into the jungle and find some game." I'm sure Su Meixin doesn't like those things either. Right. Miss Xia is right. What's so good about coconuts? We should search the jungle for game. I considered our situation. We were stranded on a desert island with no idea when rescue might come. If we wanted to survive, water would be the most important resource of all. It was time to search for fresh water. I agreed. Since Miss Xia has spoken, let's search the jungle ahead. Maybe we'll find something delicious and some water along the way. Really? Wonderful. I knew you'd agree. Let's get moving. Su Meixin, you come too. I suddenly stopped them. Wait a minute, Miss Xia. There's one more thing we need to do before entering the jungle. Manager Su still has to serve me. When Su Meixin saw me extend a foot covered in sand and dirt toward her, her expression changed at once. "Lin Kai, you don't expect me to lick your foot clean, do you? Don't go too far. I lost to you, but I won't let you humiliate me like that." "What are you doing, Lin Kai? Even with the wager, you can't make such an outrageous demand. Pull your foot back. What on earth are you two talking about? I don't understand a word. I was only going to point out that we're all barefoot. How are we supposed to enter the jungle?" Su Meixin always looked down on me because of her status at the company. I deliberately set her up to embarrass her. Xia Qianqian finally realized she'd misunderstood me. "How do we get there?" "We walk, obviously. If you hadn't thrown away my heels, Would I be barefoot now? She turned to comfort Su Meishin. I think you misunderstood him, Su Meishin. He didn't mean any harm or intend to make you do anything like that. Su Meishin saw through me at once, but with Xia Qianqian defending me, she could only swallow her anger for the time being. Since you say so, Miss Xia, I suppose I was too sensitive. You're right. We'll simply go barefoot. I lowered my foot and watched their bare toes curl slightly against the sand. Neither woman had the faintest awareness of danger. Miss Xia, Manager Su, your feet are extremely important on a desert island. If you get hurt, develop an infection, and lose the ability to move, all you can do is wait in place to die and become a feast for wild animals. I deliberately made the danger sound severe so these sheltered women would understand how vital it was to protect their feet. It's that serious? Then what do we do? We're both barefoot. Does that mean we can't go anywhere? Xia Qianqian finally looked frightened. Only now did she realize how careful one had to be when surviving in the wild. Su Meishin bit her lip, but didn't question my caution again. Even so, what did you mean when you said I had to serve you? Do you expect me to carry you? I had to admire the bizarre path her mind followed. Even if I did make her carry me, could a woman only 1.68 meters tall manage it? Still, I put away my playful mood and stopped joking. Your imagination is running wild, Manager Su. I only want you to help me make straw sandals. Surely you won't refuse such a simple request. Su Meishin froze. Realizing I'd been toying with her, her chest rose and fell in anger as she glared at me. You called that serving you? So this is all you meant? Is playing games with me that much fun? I refuse. Inwardly, she cursed me 1,000 times. She was a manager, yet I expected her to perform such menial work. Besides, she had no idea how to make straw sandals. I smiled and continued teasing her. You don't know how to make them, do you, Manager Su? Did all those wilderness survival skills of yours go straight into a dog's belly? Who says I don't know? I was only going to say there aren't any materials for sandals on this island. Even the cleverest cook can't make a meal without rice, right? Su Meishin continued stubbornly. In truth, she'd learned all her wilderness survival skills from television, and even then, she'd only picked up the basics. Even so, she didn't want to embarrass herself in front of Xia Qianqian. How else could she win the heiress's favor? She believed that as long as there were no sandal-making materials, I couldn't make things difficult for her, no matter how much I wanted to. Just as she congratulated herself on her cleverness, I poured cold water over her hopes. Who says there aren't? Materials for straw sandals are everywhere. Su Meishin froze, then forced herself to remain calm. The area around us is completely bare. Where are these sandal-making materials? Those palm trees. Their broad, tough leaves are perfect. Follow me. I led the two women, still wearing only their underwear, to a grove of palm trees. Gather palm leaves here. We also need vines for the sandals, so I'll collect some from the bushes ahead. Your underwear is still wet, isn't it, Su Meishin? Hurry and take it off to wring it out while Lin Kai is gone. But Miss Xia, Lin Kai is still right over there. What if he sees me by accident? Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on him for you. What are you two whispering about over here? I returned with the vines. Look at the palm leaves we gathered, Lin Kai. Are these enough? Good job, Miss Xia. These will be plenty. Lin Kai, the truth is, I don't know how to make straw sandals. I only said I did because of my pride. I don't really know anything about wilderness survival. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lied. She squeezed her eyes shut, her face burning with shame, and prepared herself for my merciless ridicule. Then she heard my voice. So you don't know how to make them, Manager Su? You should have said so earlier. I'll teach you. It's not difficult. Su Meishin stared at me. Judging by her reaction, she clearly hadn't expected me to spare her the humiliation, much less teach her personally. Xia Qianqian said in surprise, You know how to weave straw sandals, Lin Kai? I wouldn't have guessed a grown man like you knew how to do that. I wore a smug look. Of course, I know how to do all kinds of things. You'll experience them one by one in the future. I took the palm leaves and dropped onto the sand. I still felt guilty about throwing away Xia Qianqian's expensive heels on the ship. Making her a pair of sandals would be the perfect way to compensate her. I called to her, Sit in front of me and give me your foot, Miss Xia. I'll make you a pair of sandals. Su Meishin immediately became alert. Why are you asking Miss Xia to give you her foot, Lin Kai? She has the body of a priceless heiress. Don't use the sandals as an excuse to touch her feet. I raised an eyebrow and teased. Touching her feet is nothing. I've even sucked on one before. Isn't that right, Miss Xia? Su Meishin became even more anxious. Miss Xia, no matter how adventurous the two of you are, you can't let him suck your feet. That's filthy. Xia Qianqian clearly knew what I meant. Still in her underwear, she sat in front of me and extended a foot without hesitation. Blushing, She explained. You misunderstood, Su Meishin. A snake bit me earlier, and Lin Kai sucked the wound to help me. He's asking for my foot now so he can measure it. He isn't trying to do anything. At the same time, she glared at me resentfully, as though complaining, why do you always say things that make people blush? Su Meishin realized that I'd fooled her again. Her cheeks puffed up like a pufferfish, and anger burned inside her. Xia Qianqian felt a tingling sensation spread up from her foot. Her face instantly turned bright red, and her heart pounded. As she watched me concentrate on measuring her foot, she unconsciously saw the shadow of Li Ergu in me. Once I'd measured Xia Qianqian's foot, I picked up several palm leaves and began weaving the sandal's sole. I smoothed the leaves, overlapped and pressed their edges together, then gradually wove them into the shape of a sole. I added several more leaves to ensure it was thick and tough. After finishing the sole, I picked up a sharp stone and punched holes in the proper places. Then I split a vine into 2 strands, threaded them through the holes, and wove them into straps to secure the top of the foot. Under my practiced hands, the basic form of a flip-flop style straw sandal soon emerged. This design wouldn't slip off easily while walking and would fit the sole of the foot better. It was more durable than an ordinary straw sandal and suitable for longer distances. Su Meishin watched without blinking and studied every move. I never knew you had a skill like this, Lin Kai. You wove it so well, and it looks extremely sturdy. That's far more impressive than I expected. Xia Qianqian was equally full of praise. That's my bodyguard. You even know a craft like this. All the care I've shown you hasn't gone to waste. I answered with a smile. I learned it growing up in the countryside. My family wouldn't buy me shoes, so I learned to weave straw sandals from the village elders. Now the skill is finally useful. Xia Qianqian held the newly woven sandal and stared at me for a long time. Li Ergu knew how to weave straw sandals when he was little too, she said tentatively. Did you ever live in Xiaoxi village? I didn't answer right away. She told me that she'd been thrown out of the house when she was 3. Li Ergu had warmed her feet and given her his straw sandals. Afterward, he'd often made shoes for her. The similarities between Li Ergu and me kept growing. For the first time, genuine suspicion entered Xia Qianqian's gaze. Lin Kai, since you've known how to weave straw sandals since childhood, did you ever make a pair for a little girl? Xia Qianqian hesitated several times before finally testing whether I was Li Ergu. I was adding the final reinforcements to the sandal and didn't notice her intention. I answered casually. I made sandals for lots of little girls. We lived in the countryside, and none of us had many shoes, so helping one another was normal. Why do you suddenly ask, Miss Xia? You rotten bodyguard. You were already flirting with every girl in sight when you were little. How have you managed to stay single until now? I've been too busy serving as your bodyguard and taking care of your every need. When would I have time to find a girlfriend? Try them on, Miss Xia. Let's see whether they fit. She couldn't help praising me. You really do know how to make straw sandals. At least you made mine first. I suppose you have a conscience after all. I felt guilty about losing your heels. Consider these compensation. You think 1 pair of straw sandals is enough? Those were my favorite heels. Dream on, you rotten bodyguard. Stop talking only to Miss Xia, Lin Kai. Look at the sandal I'm weaving. Am I doing it correctly? I looked at the sandal in Su Meishin's hands. It had already taken on a convincing shape, and I had to admire how quickly she learned. You're a fast learner, Manager Su. You watched only once, and you're already doing this well. If you ever lose your job, you can make a living selling straw sandals. Instead of getting angry, Su Meishin smiled. That's only because you're such a good teacher. I benefited from your skill. Xia Qianqian brazenly added. Lin Kai, look at the sandal I made for you. It's no worse than Su Meishin's, is it? I answered helplessly. It looks like none of your talent points went into weaving sandals, Miss Xia. I'd better teach you. Now that our sandals are done, we don't have to worry about hurting our feet. Let's hurry into the jungle and search for food and water. Xia Qianqian wore the sandals I'd carefully made, her face glowing with excitement. She couldn't wait to explore the jungle. I'll work hard to find food and water for you, Miss Xia. I promise I won't hold you back this time. I stopped them again. Wait, Miss Xia. Manager Su can't come with us. I couldn't fully trust Su Meishin yet. I worried that once we found food, she might turn against us. I also wanted to test whether she would truly obey me. After all, she'd always been hostile toward me at the company. On this desert island, I could only help people who were useful to me. Su Meishin froze, and the smile on her face instantly hardened. Why? What gives you the right to leave me behind? I admit I looked down on you at the company, Lin Kai, but you can't be this prejudiced against me. Xia Qianqian defended her too. We're all stranded on an island, Lin Kai. We should be working together. Can you stop being so petty? I glanced at the 2 women and feigned innocence. What kind of person do you think I am? Do I look that narrow-minded? I only meant that I have another important task for Manager Sue. I walked to one side, picked up the 4 empty coconut shells left from our meal, and handed them to Sue Meishin. Sue Meishin stared at the shells, which didn't contain even a scrap of flesh. These coconut shells, what do you expect me to do with them? Make coconut shell charcoal, of course. You promised to obey me, Manager Sue. You aren't planning to go back on your word, are you? Why do you want Sue Meishin to make coconut shell charcoal, Lin Kai? Are you planning to use it as fuel? Xia Qianqian asked. It can serve as fuel, but it can also filter water. Freshwater sources in the wild are contaminated. Filtering is the only way to make the water relatively clean and safe. After speaking, I picked up the socks I'd removed and left on the beach, then tucked them into my pocket. The socks were another part of my water filter. I couldn't afford to lose them. Sue Meishin finally understood and agreed. Fine, I'll make the charcoal. But I don't know how. You'll have to tell me what to do. Of course, but we need a simple earthen kiln to make it. Help me find some large stones while I choose a place on the beach to build it. Making coconut shell charcoal was relatively complicated. Still, after seeing how quickly Sue Meishin learned, I believed she could master it. The firing process simply took a long time. That was the true test I had in mind, whether Sue Meishin could endure the lonely wait. I chose a spot on the beach and dug a large pit. Using the stones they'd gathered, I built the body of the kiln, then filled the gaps with mud, sand, and gravel to make it airtight. I left an opening at the bottom for ignition and airflow. For the top, I placed a large stone nearby that would seal the kiln after firing. Once everything was ready, I cut the coconut shells into pieces, placed them in the kiln, and lit wood at the bottom as fuel. I explained the precautions to Sue Meishin. She had to gather branches and replenish the fuel promptly. Once firing was complete, she needed to seal both the top and the vent for carbonization, paying close attention to the airtight seal throughout the process. Sue Meishin patted her chest and promised, "Don't worry, Lin Kai, Miss Ya. So we can have safe drinking water. I will make this coconut shell charcoal successfully." I nodded, hoping Sue Meishin wouldn't disappoint me. Xia Qianqian urged from the side. All right. Let's get going too. I can't wait to explore the jungle." With that, she pulled me toward the trees. "Why did you make Sue Meishin start the coconut shell charcoal now, Lin Kai? What if we don't find water? Won't all her work be wasted?" Xia Qianqian couldn't resist asking as we walked. I glanced at her. "Miss Xia, do you remember the snake that bit you while you were relieving yourself in the bushes?" "Of course I remember. That rotten snake ambushed me while I was peeing and humiliated me. But it's already in your stomach. Why ask about it? Generally speaking, if snakes frequently appear in an area, there's probably water nearby. Having Sue Meishin make the charcoal in advance means we'll be able to drink clean water as soon as we find it." Understanding dawned on Xia Qianqian. "So that's why? I never knew you were so knowledgeable, Lin Kai. You're much better than Sue Meishin. Of course, you hired me at a salary of 1 million a year. I have to make sure you get your money's worth. Look at the sign I drew, Lin Kai. What do you think? It's so big that any passing plane would spot it instantly. Maybe we'll be rescued soon." I looked at the crooked SOS she'd drawn on the beach and thought that this alone would never get us rescued. If we wanted to escape the island, we'd probably have to find a way ourselves. Still, I praised her aloud. "Not bad, Miss Xia. You even knew to draw an SOS on the beach. It looks like you aren't completely inexperienced at survival." Xia Qianqian lifted her chin proudly. "A little boy taught me that when I was young. He said if I was ever in danger, I should draw this on the ground and hide. Someone would see it and come rescue me. Is that so? That little boy must have been very smart to teach you how to signal for help at such a young age." "Yes, he was extremely smart. He taught me things and protected me. I only wish I knew where he was now." Xia Qianqian became a little sad. She had searched for me for 12 years without ever finding me. Seeing what was on her mind, I comforted her with a smile. "Don't worry. Once we're rescued, I'm sure you'll find him. For now, we have to stay alive." "All right. I hope you're right. Let's hurry and find water." We soon entered the jungle. I crouched, kept my eyes on the ground, and carefully searched for traces of animal activity. Xia Qianqian watched me in confusion. "What are you doing, Lin Kai? What can you possibly see on the ground?" "I'm looking for animal tracks, Miss Xia. Animals can't live without water. If we find signs of their usual movements, they'll probably lead us to a water source." "I see." Xia Qianqian followed beside me with only a vague understanding, her gaze moving through the dense jungle. After watching me eat the snake and working to gather palm leaves for the sandals, she was ravenously hungry. All she wanted was something to fill her stomach. Then she spotted a cluster of pure white mushrooms with umbrella-shaped caps growing beside the roots of a tree. Her eyes lit up. I suddenly stopped when I noticed a patch of flattened grass ahead. Joy surged through me. Look, Miss Xia, this grass has been pressed down, which means an animal passed through recently. If we follow its trail, there's a good chance we'll find water. I turned and saw Xia Qianqian crouched beside the white mushrooms, lifting one toward her mouth. My expression changed, and I shouted urgently, "Don't eat that." My shout startled Xia Qianqian. Her hand jerked, and the mushroom fell to the ground. "What are you doing, Lin Kai? You scared me half to death. It took me forever to find a mushroom, and you made me drop it." It's best not to eat wild mushrooms, Miss Xia. There are countless varieties. Many look perfectly harmless, but are actually deadly poisonous. I thought only brightly colored mushrooms were poisonous. This one is white. It doesn't look toxic. Poisonous mushrooms are deceptive. You can't identify them by appearance alone. There are no hospitals on this island, so for our safety, we shouldn't eat wild mushrooms. After patiently explaining, I went to Xia Qianqian, crouched down, and carefully examined the mushroom she'd picked. Based on my experience, Miss Xia, this is probably the highly toxic Amanita pallidorosea. Eating it could severely damage the liver, kidneys, and other organs, and may be fatal. It's that dangerous? Thank goodness you stopped me. Otherwise, I really might have died from eating a poisonous mushroom. I stood, irritated by her reckless behavior. Next time you want to eat something you don't recognize, can you let me identify it first? If something happens to you, I'll be in a lot of trouble too. Xia Qianqian stuck out her tongue. I know. I only did it because I was starving. Mr. Great Bodyguard, can you please help me find some food that isn't poisonous? I smiled helplessly. Fine, but we have to find water first. Once we have water, finding food will be easier. Stay close and stop running around or touching things. With our minds made up, we continued following the animal trail I'd found in search of water. As we walked, a sudden rustling came from the nearby bushes. Remembering the snake bite, Xia Qianqian became tense and clung tightly to my arm. What do we do, Lin Kai? You don't think it's another snake, do you? Don't worry. I'm here. I gently patted her hand to reassure her while keeping a vigilant eye on the bushes. A small kangaroo hopped out. It looked harmless and began nibbling at the vegetation on the ground. Xia Qianqian's eyes instantly lit up. Wow, it's a baby kangaroo. I turned and found a newly weaned kangaroo about 50 centimeters long. The kangaroo is so small, Lin Kai. Let's catch it. Then we'll have something to eat. Xia Qianqian started toward it, but I quickly pulled her back. Don't be impulsive, Miss Xia. Its mother is probably nearby. A mother kangaroo will fight fiercely to protect her young. Adults can reach 1.6 meters in height and are extremely dangerous. Then what do we do? Are we supposed to watch it escape right in front of us? I'm starving to death. Be patient a little longer. We can use this kangaroo to find water first. It won't be too late to act after that. You were too afraid to eat snake meat, Miss Xia. Why are you willing to eat kangaroo? Don't forget it's basically a giant rat. You don't know what you're talking about. I've visited kangaroo country before. Kangaroo meat is a local specialty. It has the texture of beef and tastes delicious. It isn't some giant rat. You certainly know how to enjoy yourself. You've even eaten kangaroo. But we don't have proper cooking equipment on this island. Don't complain later if the meat tastes gamey. I won't complain. Being stranded here has taught me how precious food is. Besides, catching the kangaroo would give us meat in reserve. That's better than going hungry. Look, Lin Kai, what kind of animal is that? Xia Qianqian's voice pulled me out of my thoughts. I turned and saw a medium-sized animal in the distant bushes. It was slowly approaching the baby kangaroo and appeared to have chosen it as prey. The animal was about 1.8 meters long, with brown fur, a wolf-like head, black tiger-like stripes across its back, and a pouch on its belly like a kangaroo. My eyes widened. Isn't that a thylacine? They've been extinct for decades. What's one doing on this island? If we could bring it back to civilization, it would cause a worldwide sensation. A thylacine? What kind of animal is that? Is it dangerous? Thylacines are natural predators of kangaroos. You know how kangaroo country is overrun with kangaroos. The extinction of the thylacine is a major reason. It specializes in eating kangaroos. Then it's going to steal our prey. Should we take it away? I glanced at her. How can you still be thinking about food, Miss Xia? Thylacines are fierce and highly aggressive. If we rush in to steal its prey, we'll be delivering ourselves straight into its jaws. Xia Qianqian knew how dangerous it was, but still complained unwillingly. We finally found something edible, and now it gets stolen. How infuriating. As she spoke, the thylacine kicked off hard with its hind legs and lunged at the baby kangaroo with incredible speed. It seized the kangaroo's neck in one bite. Before the baby could even struggle, it went limp and stopped moving. Xia Qianqian shuddered. Lin Kai, that's terrifying. We should get out of here. I nodded. Staying would only increase the danger. I was about to shield Xia Qianqian as we left. Then Xia Qianqian accidentally stepped on a dead branch. A sharp crack came from beneath her foot. My heart sank. If the thylacine discovered us while feeding, it might attack to protect its meal. What do we do, Lin Kai? It saw us. Let's run. Xia Qianqian turned pale and pulled me away. Don't run. That will trigger the thylacine's instinct to chase us. Don't turn your back. Retreat slowly. Xia Qianqian nodded. We began backing away, never taking our eyes off the thylacine. Xia Qianqian gripped me desperately. Her body trembled as she stared at the thylacine's blood-stained jaws. It's still coming closer, Lin Kai. What do we do? Don't be afraid. Once it realizes we mean no harm, it will give up the pursuit. As a precaution, I pulled the sling from my pocket, loaded a stone, and began whirling it rhythmically to build momentum. Far from being intimidated by the weapon in my hand, the thylacine seemed provoked. Its aggression flared, and it approached faster. I knew I couldn't act recklessly and risk enraging it. I had to wait for the right moment. Xia Qianqian's legs had gone weak with fear. It's nearly on top of us, Lin Kai. Can that weapon stop it? I sighed helplessly. If this weapon could handle it, I would have used it already. The thylacine is so large that I doubt the sling will do much. Xia Qianqian became even more desperate. Then what do we do? Are we going to die here? I haven't eaten yet. I don't want to die on an empty stomach. How can you worry about that now, Miss Xia? Focus on how we're going to escape. Xia Qianqian failed to watch her step and tripped over a vine, pitching forward. The movement instantly enraged the thylacine. It roared and lunged at her with incredible speed. Ah! Xia Qianqian screamed and squeezed her eyes shut in terror. My heart jolted. I quickly aimed the sling at the thylacine's head, waited for the right instant, and released the stone. Smack! The stone struck the thylacine squarely in the head and stopped its attack. The thylacine yelped like a puppy. Apparently realizing that this two-legged creature was no easy opponent, it tucked its tail and fled. Once Xia Qianqian realized she was safe, her legs gave out, and she collapsed to the ground with her heart pounding. That was terrifying, Lin Kai. I truly thought I was going to die. You still have me, Miss Xia. How could I let you die so easily? I comforted her with a smile. I hadn't expected the thylacine to retreat so easily. It seemed I'd overestimated it. Why is this jungle so terrifying? When will we finally be rescued? Stop complaining and take a look at our prize. With that, I walked toward the dead kangaroo. Xia Qianqian finally turned her attention to the baby kangaroo the thylacine had killed and couldn't help asking. Isn't that the thylacine's prey, Lin Kai? If we take it, won't the thylacine come after us later? I teased her. Weren't you just shouting about wanting kangaroo meat, Miss Xia? One scare from the thylacine, and now you don't dare eat it? Xia Qianqian blushed. Who says I don't dare? I'm only worried the thylacine will catch up. I'm thinking about our safety. Don't worry. If it comes back, I'll drive it away again. Survival of the fittest is the law of the jungle. Since it can't beat us, its prey belongs to us. As I spoke, I reached the kangaroo and crouched to examine it. Its skull had been crushed between the thylacine's jaws, making for a grisly sight. Faint warmth still lingered in its body. The thylacine hadn't even taken a bite, which meant we'd stumbled onto an incredible windfall. I grabbed the kangaroo by its hind legs, lifted it, and tested the weight in my hand. It felt like about 5 kilograms. The corner of my mouth rose. This little kangaroo is pretty heavy, Miss Xia. It's more than enough for us to feast tonight. We're in for a treat. Looking at the kangaroo in my hand and imagining the meat she would soon eat made Xia Qianqian's stomach growl again. Then let's hurry back, Lin Kai. I'm starving, and Su Meixin must be getting anxious. Fixated on the food, she temporarily forgot the terror of the thylacine attack. Just as she happily anticipated returning for a feast, I poured cold water over her excitement. Wait, Miss Xia. We still haven't found water. Food alone isn't enough if we want to survive on this island. Fine. But the kangaroo is dead and the thylacine ran away. How are we supposed to find water now? I raised an eyebrow. If there's a baby kangaroo here and a thylacine that specializes in hunting them, there must be a mob of kangaroos nearby. I have a way to find them. I broke a branch from a tree, bent down, pushed one end into the soil, and clenched the other between my teeth. Xia Qianqian's eyes widened with curiosity. What are you doing, Lin Kai? That position looks a little strange. Kangaroos move by jumping, which sends vibrations through the ground. I can sense those vibrations through the branch and determine where a large group has gathered. Wow, you can do that. You're incredible, Lin Kai. Can you feel them? Which direction are they in? I concentrated for a while, then my eyes lit up. I sprang to my feet and pointed. That way. I can feel it. The vibrations in that direction are denser. There should be quite a few kangaroos. Let's take a look. Carrying the dead kangaroo in one hand and pulling Xia Qianqian with the other, I strode quickly toward the vibrations. We soon reached a clearing, and the scene before us made Xia Qianqian's eyes shine. Wow, look, Lin Kai. There are so many kangaroos. They're adorable. Don't focus only on the kangaroos, Miss Xia. Remember why we're here. That large pool is what we were searching for. With a water source this large, it seemed we wouldn't lack fresh water in the days ahead. Come on, let's collect some. Are you crazy, Lin Kai? There are kangaroos everywhere. If we walk over carelessly, they'll notice us. Her alarm nearly made me laugh. I continued, leading her forward while explaining patiently. When did you become so timid, Miss Xia? Kangaroos may be large, but they generally won't attack people unless provoked. We only have to move gently and avoid frightening them. Are you sure? Don't do anything reckless. You're still carrying a dead baby kangaroo. What if Before she finished, she failed to watch her step. A vine caught her foot, and she pitched forward. Careful. I reacted instantly, caught her slender waist, and swept her into my arms. The intimate contact made Xia Qianqian blush all the way to the tips of her ears, and her heart began racing. Xia Qianqian's heart leaped into her throat and pounded even faster. She couldn't tell whether it was from fear or because of me. What do we do, Lin Kai? They seem to have noticed us. Shoo. Stay quiet, Miss Xia. Don't alarm them. They'll stop watching us in a moment. You rotten bodyguard. You only know how to take advantage of me. Did you do that on purpose? It was an emergency, Miss Xia. Stop complaining. Let's collect the water. We reached the edge of the pool and found the water extremely muddy. Dead leaves floated across the surface, and it gave off an unpleasant odor. Xia Qianqian frowned. Oh my God, this water is filthy. How can anyone drink it? I reassured her. We certainly can't drink it directly, but it will be safe after filtering. Have you forgotten the coconut shell charcoal I told Manager Su to make? Even so, we don't have anything to collect the water in. What are we supposed to use to carry it back? Don't worry, Miss Xia. I prepared a container long ago. Let me show you my big treasure. While Xia Qianqian stared at me in confusion, I pulled something resembling a snake from my pocket. The sight nearly scared Xia Qianqian's soul out of her body. Get that away from me. I laughed until tears nearly came out. You're far too timid, Miss Xia. Ha. It isn't a snake. It's a water skin made from snake skin. I deliberately shook the snakeskin bag to show it to her. Xia Qianqian peeked at the object in my hand. Once she realized it was only snakeskin, she breathed a long sigh of relief, though her cheeks remained puffed with anger. You've gone too far, Lin Kai. You scared me on purpose. You nearly frightened me to death. Why are you carrying that thing? We needed a container. After killing the snake earlier, I processed its skin. Now it can hold water. Fine. We'll use it for the water. But you aren't allowed to scare me with it again. Do you hear me? I wasn't trying to scare you. You're the one who's timid. How is that my fault? After teasing her, I crouched and submerged the snakeskin bag in the pool. Water gulped into it. Xia Qianqian gritted her teeth and glared at me, clearly unwilling to let the matter go. Once the bag was full, I lifted it and tested the weight. It held about 2 liters, which was surprisingly generous. We'd successfully collected water, but it was still far too dirty to drink. I tied the snakeskin bag shut, rose, and turned to Xia Qianqian. Her face was bright red. I teased her. Why are you blushing, Miss Xia? Did my handsome figure captivate you? Xia Qianqian snapped back to her senses, covered her cheeks, and explained in a fluster. I am not. Who would be captivated by a shameless, rotten bodyguard like you? We have the water now, so let's hurry back before Su Meixing gets anxious. Yes, Miss Xia. Just as we prepared to leave, a low, canine bark shattered the silence. We turned and saw a pack of thylacines burst from the bushes nearby, watching us hungrily. By a rough count, there were 8. As the thylacines appeared, the surrounding kangaroos scattered, throwing the clearing into chaos. Why did so many thylacines suddenly appear, Lin Kai? The one you injured earlier is with them too. They aren't here for revenge, are they? Don't worry, Miss Xia. I doubt they're intelligent enough for revenge. The smell of blood from the dead kangaroo probably attracted them. The thylacines had already begun to encircle us. They crouched low, growls of warning rumbling in their throats. If they came for the prey in your hand, throw it to them. Otherwise, they'll kill us both. Absolutely not. This kangaroo is our prize. If we give it to them, we'll go hungry tonight. Rotten bodyguard. We're about to lose our lives, and you're still thinking about food. If you won't throw it to them, what are we supposed to do? What do? We run, of course. Take this, Miss Xia, and hold tightly to my hand. Frowning, Xia Qianqian accepted the snakeskin bag. Despite the crisis, she didn't shrink back. Xia Qianqian glanced behind us and saw a thylacine right on her heels, its bloody jaws open as it lunged. I noticed the danger and yanked her toward me, causing the thylacine to miss. At the same time, I raised a foot and kicked it hard, sending the animal flying. "Are you all right, Miss Xia?" I asked with concern. "I'm fine." That nearly scared me to death. Xia Qianqian's heart continued pounding from the lingering fear. But that brief pause allowed more thylacines to catch up and surround us. "What do we do, Lin Kai? They've caught up. Throw them the kangaroo, or we're truly going to die here." Xia Qianqian's face turned pale as she stared at the thylacines and hugged my arm tightly, as though I were her only support. By then, I'd thought of a way to keep the kangaroo and escape unharmed. I took Xia Qianqian's hand and raced forward, trying to widen the distance from the pack. My tone remained relaxed. "You've been dreaming about this kangaroo meat, Miss Xia. How could I hand it over to the wolves? Don't worry. I'll do everything in my power to grant this tiny wish of yours. How can you still think of me at a time like this? Why aren't you usually this nice? Am I not usually good to you? On the cruise ship, you said your legs hurt, and I gave you 3 full-body massages. My hands were numb afterward." Xia Qianqian blushed. "Fine, you're usually good to me too. But you don't have to do this now. Throw away the kangaroo, do you hear me?" By then, the 8 thylacines were nearly on top of us. My expression suddenly darkened, as though I'd made a monumental decision. I spoke with grim resolve. "Miss Xia, we haven't known each other long, but this may be the last thing I can do for you. The thylacines are about to catch us. Forget about me and run." I shoved Xia Qianqian ahead, sending her as far from the dangerous pack as I could. Xia Qianqian stumbled several steps, turned, and saw the 8 thylacines surround me, ready to attack. Her heart leaped into her throat. She couldn't understand why I'd done it. Was I willing to die to fulfill her wish? Was she worth the price of my life? At that moment, all she wanted was for me to live. "Lin Kai, I won't let you die." Facing 8 thylacines, I remained perfectly calm. My years in the Special Forces had forged a steady mind under pressure. I swiftly pulled out my Swiss Army knife, opened it, lifted the dead kangaroo, and began cutting through its neck. I intended to use the kangaroo's head to make the thylacines fight over the food, buying us time to escape. At that moment, a thylacine seized its chance. It kicked off with its hind legs and lunged at me, jaws wide. The thylacine missed and slammed into the tree behind me with a thud, letting out a low howl of pain. Before I could regain my balance, 2 more thylacines attacked from the left and right, barking as they leaped. Those 2 missed as well. Their bodies crossed in midair and nearly collided. Before I could catch my breath after landing, 3 more thylacines crouched to spring and came at me from 3 different angles. One thylacine yelped after being struck. The smell of blood drew the attention of 2 others, and they charged at it wildly. Those 2 collided with the thylacine attacking me, producing another pair of howls. I seized the opportunity to break through the encirclement. When I saw Xia Qianqian still standing there with tears on her face, I froze for a moment. I quickly recovered, rushed to her in a single stride, grabbed her hand, and fled. "Didn't I tell you to run, Miss Xia? Why are you standing here like an idiot? Come on, Lin Kai. Thank goodness you're all right. Do you know I thought I'd never see you again?" As I led her away, I teased. "You didn't think I was going to die and start crying because you were worried, did you, Miss Xia?" Who was worried about you? I was scared by the thylacines. Besides, if you die, who will protect me? How will I ever leave this stupid island?" Fine. The thylacines scared you. Then you'd better run faster, or they'll catch up and make you cry again. You rotten bodyguard. You only know how to tease me. Was the kangaroo meat I wanted really worth risking your life? Of course it was. I'm your bodyguard. Besides, I've never eaten kangaroo either, and I'd like to know how it tastes. That's disgustingly sentimental. Hurry and lose the thylacines, or forget the meat. We'll both become wolf food. Phew, we finally lost them. They nearly ran me to death. Where are we, Lin Kai? This doesn't look like the way back. Let's return before Su Meishin gets anxious. We can't go back yet, Miss Xia. Thylacines are expert trackers. If we return like this, they could follow us at any time. Xia Qianqian became tense. They're that dangerous? Then what do? We can't stay here forever. We have to mask our scent and the smell of the kangaroo meat so the thylacines can't track us. We don't have perfume, deodorizer, or anything else. How are we supposed to hide our smell? Don't worry. Many plants release pungent odors. Once we find the right one, we'll have a solution. After searching for a while, I fixed my gaze on a cluster of plants, and my eyes lit up. Look, mugwort. Its smell is strong enough to mask our scent and the kangaroos. Xia Qianqian followed my finger. The mugwort grew thick and lush, and its leaves released a distinctive aroma. I quickly crouched and gathered it by the handful while explaining. Mugwort has a unique odor that can disrupt the thylacin's sense of smell. We only need to crush it and rub it on ourselves and the meat to cover our scent. Xia Qianqian copied me, crouching to gather mugwort. As she picked it, she couldn't resist complaining. I never imagined I'd depend on mugwort to save my life on this awful island. How ridiculous. After collecting a large amount, we rubbed it hard between our hands, releasing an increasingly powerful fresh scent. I handed Xia Qianqian a handful of crushed, juicy mugwort. Rub it on quickly, Miss Xia. Cover your whole body, especially anywhere you sweat. Once we'd both covered ourselves with the juice, Xia Qianqian sniffed the pungent smell on her body with disgust. Oh my god, this smells horrible. I feel like a walking bag of herbs. Stop complaining. Let's gather more. This will be extremely useful tonight. Xia Qianqian looked curious. Useful for what? Stop keeping me in suspense and tell me. I remained deliberately mysterious. It's a secret. You'll find out tonight. For now, focus on gathering mugwort. Unable to get an answer, Xia Qianqian gave up. Before long, we'd gathered a large amount. I wrapped the kangaroo meat in mugwort until it resembled an enormous rice dumpling. Only then did I relax. Once everything was ready, I carried the dead kangaroo in one hand and the snakeskin bag in the other, then called to Xia Qianqian. With this much mugwort, we should sleep well tonight. Let's head back, Miss Xia. Finally, those thylacines made today miserable. I can't wait to get back and taste the kangaroo. Xia Qianqian followed, and we hurried toward the beach. When we returned, we saw only a smoking earthen kiln. Not a single person was anywhere nearby. My heart tightened. Had Su Meixin abandoned her post because she couldn't endure the task I'd assigned? Xia Qianqian looked puzzled. Where is Su Meixin? Why can't I see her? Miss Xiao, I think Manager Su felt wronged because we made her work, so she dusted off her backside and left. After teasing her, I went to the kiln, set down everything in my hands, crouched, and inspected the coconut shell charcoal. I gently touched the kiln lid and found it still sealed. When I held a hand close to the body, I could feel residual heat radiating from it. How can you think that of Su Meixin Linkai? She's always serious and responsible about her work. I believe you've misunderstood her. Xia Qianqian came to my side and continued defending Su Meixin. She clearly had high expectations for the manager. Then how do you explain why she vanished after completing only half the charcoal task I assigned? Maybe she already finished and went somewhere to have fun because she was bored. I believe she isn't the sort of person who gives up halfway. If you don't believe me, let's make a bet and see whether she produced any coconut shell charcoal. Fine, but if you lose, you're not allowed to remain prejudiced against Su Meixin. Understand, as I slowly lifted the lid, a wave of heat rushed out, accompanied by the faint smell of charring. See? I told you Su Meixin wouldn't slack off. The Xia group knows how to choose its people. The coconut shell charcoal had excellent adsorption properties and would make our filtered water safer. Su Meixin had clearly put a great deal of effort into it. Then a woman's shrill cry came from the direction of a distant grove of coconut palms. We immediately turned toward the sound and saw Su Meixin falling from a coconut tree. She landed heavily on her backside with a thud, spraying sand in every direction. Su Meixin, startled, Xia Qianqian raced toward her, and I followed close behind. We found Su Meixin sitting painfully in the sand, her face blackened with soot. She had clearly fallen hard. Fortunately, the sand had cushioned her landing, and she wasn't injured. Manager Su, how did you end up looking like a ghost? You abandoned the charcoal to climb a coconut tree, then fell. That's hilarious. Ha! Xia Qianqian rolled her eyes at me. This isn't the time for snide remarks, Lin Kai. Can't you see that Su Meixin is hurt? She hurried to help Su Meixin up and asked with concern. Are you all right, Su Meixin? Why were you climbing the coconut tree? I'm fine, Miss Xia. I haven't eaten or drunk anything all day, so I was hungry and thirsty and tried to pick a coconut. I didn't expect to fall. She glared at me resentfully, and I did make the charcoal properly. I wasn't slacking. My face is filthy because I had to control the fire. I was only joking. I've already inspected your charcoal. The quality is excellent. I was about to praise you. Did that fall hurt? Su Meixin pouted. Spare me the false concern. Weren't you supposed to take Miss Xia to find food and water? Why did you come back empty-handed? Did you fail to find anything? Who says we came back empty-handed? We found water and caught large prey. Our harvest was incredibly rich. You brought all this back? You found so much. But why did you gather all that mugwort and wrap the kangaroo meat so tightly in it? Xia Qianqian explained. You don't know what happened, Su Meixin. We encountered thylacines in the jungle, and they nearly ate me. Luckily, Lin Kai protected me and used mugwort to hide our scent. Su Meixin finally noticed the strange smell coming from Xia Qianqian and me. It was the mugwort juice we'd rubbed on ourselves. How did you encounter thylacines in the jungle? Aren't they extinct? What are they doing here? Since Su Meishin clearly knew the thylacine was extinct, I discussed it with her. I find it strange too. Do you remember the sea monster that attacked the cruise ship? It seemed to be guarding this island. That suggests this is a very mysterious place. Understanding dawned on Su Meishin. I see. In that case, there may be other extinct animals on the island. It's entirely possible. There might even be extremely dangerous prehistoric creatures, so we must be incredibly careful. Xia Qianqian went pale and hurriedly interrupted us. Enough. Stop talking about that. Since Su Meishin finished the coconut shell charcoal, how do we filter the water now, Lin Kai? I'm dying of thirst. I glanced at her. We still don't have a container for the filtered water, Miss Xia. Let's make do with coconuts for now. I took out my sling and walked toward a coconut palm under Su Meishin's puzzled gaze. What is he holding, Miss Xia? Can that thing really harvest coconuts? That weapon is incredible. It can knock down coconuts, and it helped him drive away the thylacines. Just watch. Su Meishin grew even more puzzled and turned to me again. I placed a stone in the sling's pouch, gripped the other end, and began whirling it rapidly. As it spun faster, I chose my moment and released it. The stone struck a coconut stem with perfect accuracy. The coconut swayed several times before falling to the ground with a thud. Su Meishin's mouth dropped open, and she couldn't resist exclaiming, "Wow, I never knew you could harvest coconuts that way." Lin Kai has been hiding some extraordinary skills. I knocked down 2 more coconuts the same way, then carried all 3 back to the women. Seeing how effortlessly I'd gathered them made Su Meishin's eyes glow. Don't you claim to be extremely capable, Manager Su? How could you fail to pick even 1 coconut and fall out of the tree? That's because the trunk was too slippery and I lost my grip. Besides, I don't have your wealth of survival experience or no clever ways to pick coconuts. I looked at her smugly. So you admit I have plenty of survival experience? Then you'd better obediently work for me on this island. Otherwise, I won't feed you. Understood. Su Meishin fell silent. She knew perfectly well that surviving alone on a desert island wasn't realistic. After a moment's thought, she nodded. Fine, I agree. But you aren't allowed to make any outrageous demands. Once we're back at the company, I'll make you regret it if you do. Xia Qianqian puffed out her cheeks and interrupted our conversation. Where's my coconut, Lin Kai? All you think about is Su Meishin. I can help you work too. How could I forget the noble Miss Xia? But at the company, you couldn't lift a bucket or carry a bag. Can you truly lower yourself and work for me? That was at the company. Things are different now. We're stranded on an island, and survival comes first. Don't underestimate me. I can do it. Seeing both women change because of me filled my heart with an unconscious sense of pride. Then you'd better keep your promises, or I'll punish you. Don't blame me for showing no mercy when the time comes. I cut open another coconut, lifted it, and gulped the water. I checked my watch and found it was already 4 in the afternoon. We still had plenty to do, so I had to hurry. Miss Xia, Manager Su, collect some seawater. We'll prepare the water filter. Xia Qianqian looked confused. Seawater is salty and bitter, Lin Kai. How can we drink it? Filtering won't help. I remained deliberately mysterious. The seawater isn't for drinking. Trust me, you'll witness a miracle soon. All right, Miss Xia. Let's collect the seawater and wash ourselves while we're there. Only then did Xia Qianqian notice the mugwort juice still coating her body and the unpleasant odor it released. She frowned. Su Meishin's face and body were black with soot from making the charcoal. She also needed a thorough wash. Fine, we'll bring back the seawater, but you're not allowed to follow us. If you do, you'll regret it. I wasted no more time. I gathered stones and branches nearby, returned to the kiln, and began digging a pit beside it. I needed a hole large enough to prepare for filtering the fresh water later. The women went to collect seawater and wash away the grime while I remained by the kiln, digging the sand pit for our filter. Before long, 2 screams came from the shore. I looked up and saw a reef shark leap from the water. Xia Qianqian and Su Meishin grabbed their clothes and fled clumsily toward the beach. I immediately dropped my tools and rushed over. The reef shark couldn't come ashore, but the waters surrounding the island were clearly unsafe as well. I froze for a moment, then immediately turned my eyes away. I quickly realized that they'd encountered danger and swept my gaze over the surroundings. Only after confirming that nothing dangerous was nearby did I relax. It seemed they'd suffered nothing more than a false alarm. With my back to them, I shouted, "Put on your clothes first. The shoreline isn't safe." Rotten bodyguard, don't you dare look. Turn your head away, Lin Kai. Once the 2 women were dressed and had returned to me, they explained that they'd encountered a reef shark in the water. Aren't you overreacting? The reef shark can't come onto the beach. Was there any need to panic like that? If you hadn't stared like an idiot and forgotten to warn us, would we have ended up in such a mess, Lin Kai? Exactly. Don't act smug after taking advantage of us. You have to forget everything that just happened. Do you hear me? I shrugged. So this is all my fault. I told you to collect seawater. Instead, you decided to take a bath. Where's the water I asked for? All you know how to do is order people around. It's only seawater. We'll bring you some. Before long, they returned with coconut shells full of seawater. By then, I'd finished digging the sand pit for the filter. Xia Qianqian frowned again. What do you need the seawater for, Lin Kai? Don't tell me you're playing another joke on us. I glanced sideways at her. What kind of person do you think I am? The seawater is obviously for cooling the coconut shell charcoal. Su Meishin explained as well. Coconut shell charcoal must be cooled after firing, Miss Xia. That improves its usability and allows it to work more effectively. Manager Su certainly knows a great deal. You should learn from her, Miss Xia, and stop being a sweet little fool. The instant the seawater touched the charcoal, it hissed. Wisps of steam rose, carrying a faint ocean smell. Watching from the side, Xia Qianqian grumbled, I'm not a sweet little fool. I've simply never dealt with any of this before. All you know how to do is underestimate people. Then, beneath the women's curious gazes, I took the worn socks from my pocket. Xia Qianqian immediately looked disgusted. Why did you take out those smelly socks, Lin Kai? You aren't using them to filter the water, are you? That's revolting. The socks may have been worn, Miss Xia, but they're a treasure on a desert island. Pantyhose would filter better, but since neither of you wore any today, we'll have to use my smelly socks. Xia Qianqian's cheeks turned crimson. She snapped. Where do you think you're looking, Lin Kai? Keep staring, and I'll hit you. Su Meishin blushed as well and rolled her eyes at me. Behave yourself. Stop joking and filter the water. I didn't forget to explain. The pebbles and fine sand will filter small particles from the water, while the coconut shell charcoal will absorb impurities and odors. Together, they form a simple wilderness filter. Su Meishin sighed in admiration. I never knew you understood so much, Lin Kai. Without you, we probably wouldn't be able to drink clean, fresh water on this island. Xia Qianqian remained skeptical. Are you sure water filtered through your smelly sock will be drinkable? What if it becomes even dirtier? Just thinking about the smell makes me sick. You'll know after we run the dirty water through it, Miss Xia. Just wait and see. I threaded a branch through the sock and suspended it over the sand pit. Then I placed a coconut shell beneath it to catch the filtered water. Next, I untied the snakeskin bag and slowly poured the dirty water into the top of the sock. The water seeped through the pebbles, fine sand, and coconut shell charcoal inside, then dripped into the coconut shell below. After passing through layer after layer of the filter, the yellowish, muddy water gradually became clear and transparent. Xia Qianqian exclaimed at the sight. Wow, it really turned clear. I never expected your method to work, Lin Kai. Can we drink the water now that it's been filtered? I raised an eyebrow and explained. Do you believe me now, Miss Xia? The water may still contain bacteria and microorganisms. We have to boil it before it's safe to drink. Getting safe water on a desert island is unbelievably difficult. Back in the city, all we had to do was turn on a faucet. Who knew it would be this much trouble here? Stop complaining. A desert island doesn't have the conveniences of a city. We have nothing here, so I'm solving the problems one step at a time to give us safe water. Xia Qianqian nodded and stopped complaining. As Su Meishin watched me slowly pour and filter the water from the snakeskin bag, another question occurred to her. The filtration is rather slow, Lin Kai. Do you have to hold the bag the whole time? Won't that become exhausting? I looked at her. I already thought of a solution to that problem, Manager Su. I pulled out another sock. Under the women's puzzled gazes, I folded it expertly and tied it to the outlet of the snakeskin bag. Then I picked up several branches and lashed them together in a crossed formation, creating a tripod-like stand. I hung the snakeskin bag above the stand and adjusted the angle so the dirty water would flow slowly into the filtering sock below. Su Meishin's eyes lit up when she saw the arrangement. Wow, your smelly socks are actually useful, Lin Kai. I wore a smug look. Of course, anything can be turned from trash into treasure on a desert island. You only have to know how to use it. Su Meishin smiled. Now no one has to hold the bag, which saves plenty of energy. What should we do next? Xia Qianqian looked at the kangaroo meat beside us. Her stomach growled with hunger. She suggested, why don't we roast the kangaroo first? I'm starving. Wait, Miss Xia. It's already getting late. We have to build a shelter before dark. Xia Qianqian pouted. But I'm exhausted and starving. How am I supposed to have the strength to build a shelter? Su Meishin agreed with me. Lin Kai is right, Miss Xia. The island is too dangerous. We should work together to build a shelter. Still sulking, Xia Qianqian dropped onto the ground. You two can go. I don't have the energy to work. I raised an eyebrow and deliberately frightened her. If you refuse to work, Miss Xiao, I won't roast any kangaroo for you tonight. I'll also make you sleep outside, where the thylacines can carry you away. She had no choice but to compromise. Fine, I'll help build it. But I don't know what to do. You'll have to tell me. I assigned their tasks. Gather more palm leaves. Find ones that are as large and thick as possible. I'll cut branches. We need a lean-to before dark. That rotten bodyguard. Now he dares order me around and deliberately frighten me. How the mighty have fallen. His survival skills are strong, and he even understands a complicated water filtering method. We have to rely on him on this island. Xia Qianqian snorted. All he does is show off. He even makes us collect palm leaves for some lean-to. Tonight, he'll probably expect both of us to squeeze inside with him. At that thought, she remembered the 8-pack abs she'd seen that morning and the strength of my embrace when we collected the water. Su Meishin asked, "Are we really going to sleep in the same shelter as him tonight, Miss Xia? Wouldn't that be inappropriate? Men and women should keep their distance." Xia Qianqian quickly objected. "Absolutely not. Didn't you see the way he stared at our bodies earlier? If we sleep beside him tonight, who knows whether he'll devour us completely." If she had to sleep beside me again so soon, she truly didn't know how she would face me. After some thought, she said, "Let's gather more palm leaves, Miss Xia. We can make Lin Kai build 2 shelters and live separately. That will save us a lot of trouble." Xia Qianqian praised the idea. "That's perfect. You're so thoughtful, Su Meishin. If we sleep separately, we won't have to worry about him getting handsy." Meanwhile, I entered the jungle near the 2 women, selected several young trees of moderate thickness, and began cutting them with my Swiss Army knife. I wished someone hardworking and willing to endure hardship would appear. Another pair of hands could take some of the pressure off me. After gathering the branches, I found a high spot away from the beach and began building the shelter's frame. The location wouldn't flood at high tide and had a relatively open view, making it easier to observe our surroundings. I drove several sturdy branches into the ground as primary supports, then used vines to lash crosspieces to them. Before long, the basic frame was complete. The shelter's frame was large enough for 3 people to sleep comfortably. I also made a small frame beside it as a place to store our belongings out of the wind and rain. Long after I finished the frames, the 2 women finally wandered back, carrying a large pile of palm leaves. I glanced at them and teased, "You've finally returned from your grand tour. I've waited so long the daylilies have gone cold." Xia Qianqian snorted. "That's easy for you to say. Gathering all these palm leaves wasn't simple. We weren't deliberately wasting time." Su Meishin chimed in. "Look around, Lin Kai. Collecting this many leaves on a desert island isn't easy. We worked extremely hard." Listening to them, I wondered what could possibly be difficult about gathering palm leaves. They'd simply been spoiled all their lives and couldn't endure hardship. Still, their willingness to lower themselves and perform physical labor for me was a first step, so I didn't make things harder. "All right, hand over the leaves. Let's cover the shelter before darkness falls." I reached for the palm leaves they'd brought and began improving the shelter. First, I spread the smaller leaves across the floor, making it as smooth and comfortable as possible. Then I carefully layered large leaves over the roof, overlapping them to make it completely windproof. Once the shelter was finished, Su Meishin hesitated before saying, "I think we should build another shelter, Lin Kai. Men and women should keep their distance, and living together would be inconvenient." I froze. The sky was already darkening, and I still had important tasks to finish. I had no time to build another shelter. I tried to persuade them. "I'm an honorable gentleman. Do you truly distrust me that much? What will you do if danger appears?" Xia Qianqian folded her arms and snorted. "Those are pretty words, but who knows whether you're a gentleman? You can never be too careful around other people." Su Meishin agreed. "Yes, Lin Kai, we know you mean well, but it truly would be inconvenient." Seeing their firm attitude, I stopped trying to persuade them. "Fine, but you'll have to build this second shelter yourselves." Xia Qianqian's eyes widened. "What did you say? We have to build it ourselves? How can you do this?" "We don't know how." I spread my hands. "I just built one in front of you. If you still don't know how, you'll have to suffer the indignity of sleeping with me. I refuse to sleep with you. Don't think we'll obediently surrender just because you won't help us. Not a chance. Is that so? Then you'd better keep your word, Miss Xia. Don't beg me to take you in tonight after your shelter falls apart. Even if I don't have a shelter and have to sleep outside, I won't beg you. Don't be angry, Miss Xia." I watched carefully while Lin Kai built the first one. We should manage if we copy him. Most of Xia Qianqian's anger faded. "Thank goodness I have you, Su Meishin. You're nothing like a certain graceless man." "But Su Meishin, we used all the materials. How are we supposed to build another shelter?" Do we have to collect everything again? What else do you expect? Do you think the materials will fly into your hands? How can you still be so lazy when you're stranded on an island? That's easy for you to say. Even if you won't build our shelter, you can at least help us gather materials, can't you? I refused flatly. No, I have important work to do. I don't have time to gather materials for you. What important work? Roasting the kangaroo? Don't even think about eating it all yourself. I'll be watching you. Relax. I'm not roasting the kangaroo. You're the only one who thinks about food all day, like a little pig. I'm preparing to keep us safe. How dare you call me a little pig, rotten bodyguard? I'll use my invincible shoulder throw on you. Stop arguing. Miss Xia, collect more palm leaves. I'll gather vines and branches. We'll build a smaller shelter that's just large enough for the two of us. Xia Qianqian finally stopped bickering with me. I'll listen to you, Su Meixin. Even without Lin Kai's help, I'm sure we can build it. Just wait and see, Lin Kai. We'll make a shelter that's even better and sturdier than yours. I look forward to seeing it. I smiled, thinking these two women were willing to work remarkably hard to avoid sleeping beside me. The women headed in different directions and began gathering the materials for their shelter. I returned to the kiln, collected the coconut shell charcoal and coconut shells, and moved them into the small storage shelter. All the water in the snakeskin bag had been filtered, filling 4 coconut shells. I moved the clean water and mugwort into the small shelter as well, then cleaned and stored the socks and snakeskin bag. Once that was done, I went to the beach and began gathering a large number of seashells. Predators were particularly active at night. I would use the shells to make an early warning system and keep us safe. After filling a coconut shell with seashells, I gathered vines and headed back to the shelters. The women had collected their materials and were building their shelter nearby. Why is this shelter so hard to build? Lin Kai finished his in no time. Why is ours taking so much effort? Exactly. Lin Kai built his so quickly that I thought it was simple. Why is it so difficult for us? When Xia Qianqian saw me return with a pile of seashells, she assumed I was neglecting my duties and snapped. You have time to gather things like that, Lin Kai? We're working ourselves to death building this shelter while you play with seashells. These shells are extremely useful, Miss Xia. They could save our lives at a critical moment. You two should focus on learning how to build your shelter so it doesn't collapse in the first gust of wind. I sat on the ground, took out the Swiss Army knife, picked up a shell, and drilled a hole in the appropriate place. Xia Qianqian stamped her foot. Humph. All you do is brag. How can a seashell save anyone's life? You're making excuses. Tell us what the shells are for, Lin Kai. How can something so small save our lives? String them together and hang them around the shelters as an early warning system. If anything approaches, it will make the shells rattle, warning us of danger. As I explained, I threaded the shells onto a vine. When I shook it, they struck one another with a clear, ringing sound. Su Meixin stared in surprise. Wow, I never knew seashells could be used this way. You're incredible, Lin Kai. Xia Qianqian grumbled. What's so incredible? All he does is fiddle with little gadgets instead of helping me build the shelter. You insisted on building a second shelter. I didn't force you. If you truly can't finish it, I don't mind squeezing in together. Xia Qianqian refused to yield. Humph. Who wants to squeeze in with you? We'll finish it. Just wait and see. With that, she worked even harder alongside Su Meixin, unwilling to admit defeat. I thought that with this perimeter in place, we wouldn't have to stay constantly alert for danger while sleeping. Once the system was ready, I breathed a sigh of relief, returned to the shelters, and watched the women continue building. Their shelter was nearly complete, but it remained crooked and loose. Compared with mine, it was obviously far less stable. The two women were drenched in fragrant sweat. It ran continuously from their foreheads, dampening their collars and adding an alluring air. Hurry and help us, Lin Kai. We truly can't manage this shelter. I refused again. You insisted on building it yourselves, Miss Xia. I can't interfere. Plenty of shells remained in the coconut shell. I walked over, took out a stone mortar, sat down, and began crushing the shells evenly. Xia Qianqian puffed out her cheeks. How can you be so heartless? All you do is play with useless things. Su Meixin wiped away her sweat and asked, Why are you crushing the shells, Lin Kai? What are you making this time? I raised an eyebrow, looking mysterious. This is called calcium carbonate. It's just limestone. Stop using such technical language and acting proud. Xia Qianqian snapped irritably, clearly still angry that I hadn't helped with her shelter. Oh, you know what limestone is, Miss Xia? I thought you only recognized designer handbags and luxury cosmetics. Of course I do. Don't underestimate me. I may live a pampered life, but I still have basic common sense. Su Meixin asked curiously, Why are you making limestone, Lin Kai? What can you use it for? Limestone has many uses. It can reinforce a shelter, And if you calcine it at high temperature, it becomes quicklime, which is extremely useful. For now, though, I mainly want it to prevent ants. I never knew it could do that. You're remarkably knowledgeable, Lin Kai. Of course, on a desert island, many inconspicuous things can help us survive. I looked at Xia Qianqian, who still wore an angry pout. A mischievous thought came to me, and I teased her. You must have been terrified of ants when you were little, Miss Xia. Do you want some limestone too? Otherwise, they might carry you away tonight. Xia Qianqian froze and blurted. How do you know I was afraid of ants as a child? I never told you. Su Meixin laughed. So Miss Xia is afraid of ants. I never knew you had such an adorable side. Xia Qianqian blushed and snapped coquettishly. I'm not afraid of ants. Don't listen to Lin Kai's nonsense, Su Meixin. She hesitated over whether to set aside her pride and asked me to make limestone for her. Since limestone can prevent ants, can you make some for us too, Lin Kai? Consider it a favor for Miss Xia. To their surprise, I refused flatly. No, you chose to build your own shelter, so you can gather shells and make your own ant-repelling limestone. I wasn't falling for that. Building the shelter had nearly exhausted me. Where would I find the strength to collect more worthless shells? She puffed out her cheeks. Don't try to scare me, Lin Kai. Limestone repels ants? I don't believe it. Besides, they're only tiny ants. I'm not afraid. Su Meixin was exhausted too and had no interest in making limestone. She agreed. Miss Xia is right. As long as we don't keep food inside the shelter, we won't attract ants. There's no need for so much trouble. Ignore him, Su Meixin. He only wants to laugh at us. Let's finish our shelter. The two women turned and resumed work on their enormous, unfinished project. I spread an even circle of crushed limestone around my shelter. The women soon finished theirs as well. Exhausted, Xia Qianqian dropped onto the ground and wiped the sweat from her forehead. We finally finished. I'm exhausted. That felt like an entire year's worth of exercise. Yes, I never imagined building a shelter would be so much work. At least it's barely livable. I walked over and inspected their shelter. Although it looked crooked, it could just about protect them from wind and rain. Not bad. For your first shelter, it looks convincing. You two are quick learners. Xia Qianqian lifted her head proudly. Of course. Is there anything I can't accomplish once I set my mind to it? It's only a shelter. Su Meixin smiled. We only copied what you demonstrated earlier, Lin Kai. All right, stop sitting around. It's already late, and we still have unfinished work, I said. Xia Qianqian immediately complained again. We've worked for so long and only just finished the shelter. I'm exhausted. What else is there? Su Meixin rubbed her aching shoulders. Exactly, Lin Kai. Can't you let us catch our breath? What still needs to be done? I produced the dead kangaroo wrapped in mugwort and smiled. After working for so long, aren't you hungry? Xia Qianqian's eyes immediately lit up. Wow, I'm starving to death. Let's roast it right now. Su Meixin was ravenous too. She'd eaten only one coconut all day, and by now her stomach felt glued to her back. I still had work to do, so I put on a helpless look. But I don't know how to butcher a kangaroo. Do either of you? Xia Qianqian burst into laughter. So there are things even you can't do, Lin Kai? I thought you knew everything. I shrugged helplessly. I'm not Superman. How could I know everything? Of course there are things I'm not good at. Su Meixin stepped forward. I've prepared kangaroo meat before, Lin Kai. You can leave it to me. I nodded and handed her the carcass. Then butcher it by the water. But watch out for reef sharks and other dangerous creatures. Xia Qianqian hugged Su Meixin's arm. I'll go with her, Lin Kai. That way, we can watch out for each other. I'd intended to ask Xia Qianqian to gather wood and branches for the fire, but I knew the shoreline was dangerous. I nodded. Fine. Be careful. Su Meixin looked at the carcass and realized she didn't have a tool. It will be difficult to butcher the kangaroo without a tool, Lin Kai. Can I borrow your Swiss Army knife? Su Meixin had performed well today, but I couldn't trust her completely. I couldn't give her the only weapon I had. After thinking of an excuse, I answered, I need the knife for something else. You can use a shell from the beach as a temporary cutting tool. Their edges are sharp enough to work. Su Meixin's expression became complicated. Watching from the side, Xia Qianqian snapped. Su Meixin is our companion, Lin Kai. Do you really have to guard against her like that? I looked at Xia Qianqian and answered calmly. I still need the Swiss Army knife to cut branches for the fire, Miss Xia. Without a fire, who will roast the kangaroo for you? You always have an excuse. Butchering the kangaroo without a knife is so inconvenient for Su Meixin. You're simply prejudiced against her. I said she could use a shell. If I were prejudiced against her, I would have driven her away long ago. Why keep her here? What kind of attitude is that? Xia Qianqian's cheeks reddened in anger. She was about to continue when Su Meixin hurriedly stopped her. Don't make things difficult for him, Miss Xia. I'm sure he has his reasons. Besides, a shell will work perfectly well. Let's go butcher the kangaroo. She pulled Xia Qianqian toward the beach to prevent more misunderstandings from arising because of her. You're far too indulgent with him, Su Meixin. That's why he thinks he can do whatever he wants. It's all right. He's the backbone of our group. Don't argue with him, Miss Xia. Once they finally left, I breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't linger. A desert island was full of danger at night, so I had to gather enough firewood as quickly as possible. The women reached the shore, where Su Meixin found a reasonably sharp shell and began butchering the kangaroo. That rotten Lin Kai is so stingy. He won't even lend you one Swiss Army knife, and he acts so proud. Don't be angry, Miss Xia. The Swiss Army knife is extremely important on a desert island. What if you can't butcher the kangaroo properly? What will we eat tonight? If we work harder, we'll manage even without the Swiss Army knife. Watching Su Meixin struggle made Xia Qianqian's heart ache. Look how hard you're working. This is all that bastard Lin Kai's fault. Su Meixin frowned. Miss Xia, I feel as if Lin Kai keeps a barrier between us. Xia Qianqian froze. Why do you say that? Su Meixin explained. He always calls us Miss Xia and Manager Su. He never uses our names. It feels as though he's deliberately maintaining a distance. Xia Qianqian considered it and suddenly understood. That does seem to be true. Those forms of address make us feel like strangers. Pouting, she added, I've always treated him like a friend. How can he behave this way? What can we do to change his attitude toward us? We can start by changing how he addresses us. Make him use our names and interact with him as friends. We can gradually close the distance. That's a wonderful idea. We have to show him that we're companions fighting beside him, not burdens. Yes, then you can't order him around anymore, Miss Xia. If you're friends, you have to treat him like one. You can't look down on him because he's a bodyguard either. We've both witnessed his survival skills. You're right, Miss Xia. I was narrow-minded before. Now that I've seen what Lin Kai can do, I'll never underestimate him again. Xia Qianqian said, since we're friends, stop calling me Miss Xia. Just call me Qianqian. Su Meixin hesitated, then said, Qianqian. Meanwhile, I was cutting firewood in the nearby jungle to prepare for the long night. A sudden sense of foreboding rose inside me. From a distance, they saw that I'd lit a fire in front of a large shelter and placed a coconut shell over it on branches to boil water. Wow, you work fast, Lin Kai. Xia Qianqian's eyes lit up. She shouted excitedly and quickened her pace. Su Meixin agreed. Yes, coming back to a fire and hot water makes me feel so safe. How could I work as fast as you two? If you'd come back any later, I would have starved until I started seeing my great-grandmother. You're the one who refused to give us the Swiss Army knife. Now that it slowed us down, you blame us. Xia Qianqian set the kangaroo meat on the ground beside the shelter and reached for the coconut shell over the fire. That water isn't boiling yet, Miss Xia. Are you that desperate? The 2 shells on the ground have cooled. Drink those first. Oh, I'm so thirsty that I can't think straight. You prepared everything so carefully, Lin Kai. Thanks. Xia Qianqian picked up 2 coconut shells, kept one, and handed the other to Su Meixin. This one's for you, Meixin. Thank you, Qianqian. Hearing how affectionately they addressed each other made me freeze. When did you two become so close, Miss Xia, Manager Su? Xia Qianqian took a long drink, wiped her mouth, and said, you wouldn't understand. True friendship reveals itself in adversity. Su Meixin set down the kangaroo meat and drank as well. Exactly. Qianqian and I felt close the instant we met. Is there something wrong with having a good relationship? I curled my lip, handed them several sharpened branches, and answered in a sour tone. You can be as close as you like, but could you please prepare the kangaroo meat? Do you truly want me to meet my great-grandmother? The women immediately heard the jealousy in my voice. They covered their mouths and laughed until their full chests trembled. We know, you hungry ghost. Come on, Meixin. Let's hurry before the starving wolf pounces. Exactly, Qianqian. Let's skewer the kangaroo. A certain someone is waiting for us to feed him. They accepted the branches, threaded pieces of kangaroo meat onto them, and arranged them over the fire. The kangaroo meat sizzled over the flames and released a tempting aroma. While we waited for it to cook, Su Meixin suggested, Lin Kai, we've made a decision. From now on, you have to call us by our names. Exactly, Lin Kai. Stop calling us Miss Xia and Manager Su all the time. You make us sound like strangers. Xia Qianqian chimed in as though they'd planned it together. I stared at them in confusion. What's all this about? Why do you suddenly want me to use your names? You aren't plotting something, are you? Su Meixin turned the kangaroo meat over the fire and explained with a smile. You're overthinking it, Lin Kai. We're stranded on an island and have no idea when we'll be rescued. Since we're enduring hardship together, we should treat one another as friends. Xia Qianqian continued, exactly. Using our names will feel much warmer if we're friends. It will also help us face every difficulty ahead together. I nodded. Fine, I agree. What do you want me to call you? Xia Qianqian blinked, her eyes curving with her smile. Just call me Qianqian. Stop calling me Miss Xia. I've heard it so many times my ears have calluses. Su Meixin smiled as well. You can call me Meixin. I misunderstood you at the company. Today, I suppose we're getting to know each other again. I scratched my head and struggled for a long time before finally saying, Qianqian, Meixin. I'd grown so used to calling them Miss Xia and Manager Su at the company that changing suddenly felt awkward. Why are you stuttering, Lin Kai? Don't tell me you're shy. Giggle. Exactly. Look how red your face is, like a blushing young woman. So a grown man like you can be shy after all. Stop laughing at me. I kept my promise, so focus on roasting the kangaroo. It's getting late. Flames licked the kangaroo meat with a sizzle. Fat dripped into the fire and sent up tiny sparks. Thanks to you, we can eat this delicious kangaroo today, Lin Kai. Naturally, you should have the first bite. Try it and tell me how well I cooked it. I want to apologize again for how I treated you at the company, Lin Kai. I hope you won't hold it against me. I'll never underestimate you again. I looked overwhelmed by the attention. What are you two doing? You're acting as if you've committed some terrible offense against me. You're frightening me. Xia Qianqian curled her lip. What else would we be doing? You said you'd never eaten kangaroo. We want you to taste it. Is that truly all? Both of you have been acting strangely. You didn't tamper with this meat, did you? Su Meixin explained. Stop imagining things, Lin Kai. We simply want to thank you. There isn't some complicated scheme. Still suspicious, I picked up the cooked meat and examined it. After confirming nothing was wrong, I took a small bite. Curious at my expression, Xia Qianqian asked, What's wrong? Does it taste bad? She picked up a skewer and took a bite. The same awful, gamey flavor struck her, scrunching her entire face. Ugh, this tastes horrible. Why is it so different from the kangaroo I had at a restaurant? I pretended to be disappointed. Miss Qianqian, didn't you say kangaroo was delicious? I've been looking forward to it for so long. This is terribly disappointing. I didn't expect this either. The kangaroo I ate was delicious. How was I supposed to know ours would taste like this? It's far too gamey. Su Meixin sighed. We can't help it. We have limited equipment and no seasoning. Getting the meat cooked is already an accomplishment. Filling our stomachs matters. It's better than going hungry. Gritting her teeth, she began taking large bites. The awful flavor made her frown, but she forced herself to swallow. Meixin is right. We need full stomachs to have the strength to survive. This is valuable protein. Xia Qianqian took a deep breath and bit into the kangaroo again, doing her best to ignore the gamey taste and strange texture. Watching the two women moved me. On this island, they had finally learned how precious food was. The taste was nothing to me. As a child, I'd eaten things 100 times worse just to fill my stomach. Before long, the three of us had devoured every piece of cooked kangaroo and still seemed to want more. Xia Qianqian patted her slightly rounded stomach. I never imagined I'd eat so much of something that tasted so awful. Su Meixin wiped the grease from the corner of her mouth with a leaf. The flavor was strange at first, but once I got used to it, it wasn't so bad. I inspected the meat that remained. The three of us had eaten half the kangaroo, leaving roughly half. I placed the rest in the snakeskin bag, chose a spot far from the shelters, dug a deep hole, and buried it. I covered the site with leaves and left a marker. Xia Qianqian watched curiously. What are you doing, Lin Kai? Why bury the meat? There are many wild animals on this island, Qianqian. Burying the meat will preserve it longer and prevent unnecessary trouble. Su Meixin sighed in admiration. Lin Kai thinks of everything. We couldn't handle a pack of wild animals coming to steal the food in the middle of the night. On this desert island, Meixin, we have to work hard for food and shelter while remaining alert to every danger around us. I returned to my shelter, took a handful of mugwort from the small storage lean-to, and tossed it into the fire. The burning mugwort crackled, and bitter green smoke curled upward. Xia Qianqian wrinkled her nose. That smells terrible. Why are you burning mugwort? You don't know? The smell of burning mugwort repels mosquitoes and other insects, helping us sleep well tonight. I added more mugwort to the fire. The pungent odor intensified, and smoke spread all around us. Su Meixin waved a hand in front of her nose as she watched thick smoke pour from the flames, then complained. Even so, this is far too much smoke. We'll suffocate before we fall asleep. Can you stop burning the mugwort, Lin Kai? Absolutely not. The mosquitoes on this island may carry some kind of pathogen. A single bite could cause serious trouble. Cough, cough. The smoke sent Xia Qianqian into a violent coughing fit. First you spread limestone, and now you're burning mugwort. Do you truly have to be this careful, Lin Kai? Are you that afraid of bugs? Of course we have to be careful. Medical care is limited on a desert island. What will we do if a mosquito or insect bite makes one of us sick? I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill, Lin Kai. There can't be that many insects on this island. Don't bother trying to persuade him, Mei Xin. Let's go back to our own shelter and leave him here to smoke himself. Their shelter stood about 5 meters from mine, far enough that the burning mugwort barely affected it. The island is so dangerous. Do we need to take turns standing guard and watching the fire tonight, Lin Kai? Su Meixin suddenly asked before leaving. No, I set up the shell alarm. You can rest. Getting enough sleep is another key to survival. Then we'll return to our shelter. If anything happens later, remember to call us. I watched them leave and thought that their shelter had no limestone or burning mugwort and wasn't particularly sturdy. Things would probably become very lively soon. After the women left, I checked my watch. It was already 8 p.m., so I returned to my shelter as well. The wind howled outside. From time to time, I heard insects chirping, the shells of the alarm gently striking one another, and the women talking quietly. Then there was Su Meixin. I'd always thought she was simply a beautiful woman who'd used her body to climb the corporate ladder. Only today had I realized she was quite capable. I took the locket from my chest, opened it, and stared at the photo of Lin Xia and me, my mind filled with countless thoughts. I hadn't found any trace of Xia all day. Where was she? Had she found food and water? Was she taking care of herself? And Qin Sweki, she dared treat Xia that way. Once I found her, I'd make her pay. As my thoughts raced, my fingers tightened around the locket. Then startled cries came from the women's shelter. Oh my God, I'm covered in mosquito bites. Moments later, the women hurried to my shelter in their underwear, clutching their clothes. You pervert, Lin Kai. Why aren't you wearing anything? Put on your clothes right now. What's wrong with lying naked in my own shelter? Neither of you is wearing clothes either. Which one of us is the pervert? Where do you think you're looking, Lin Kai? Keep staring, and I'll gouge out your eyes. We have special circumstances. Put on your clothes too, Mei Xin. Don't let a certain pervert see everything. Once the three of us were dressed, I looked at them as though waiting for an entertaining show. Tell me then, why did you come rushing over half naked? What can I do for you? It's those ants. I just found them crawling all over me. It was disgusting. Xia Qianqian gently rubbed her arms as though ants were still crawling there. And our shelter was full of mosquitoes. Look at all these bites. They itch terribly. Su Meixin had several mosquito bites and lightly scratched them as she complained. Then what do you expect me to do? It's the middle of the night. I can't gather mugwort and seashells for you now. I spread my hands helplessly. I'd clearly anticipated their predicament and looked delighted by their misfortune. Xia Qianqian hesitated before asking, Lin Kai, can I sleep with you? You spread limestone here, so there aren't any ants. Su Meixin chimed in. I want to stay too. You have mugwort to repel mosquitoes. If I go back, they'll torment me again. I deliberately dug a finger into my ear. What did you say? Who was it that said she'd sleep outside before ever begging me to take her in? Seeing my infuriating expression, Xia Qianqian seethed with nowhere to vent her anger. What an insensitive man. At a time like this, he still wanted to keep score. Didn't he know how to show tenderness to a woman? But to avoid being carried away by ants during the night, she bit her lip, set aside her pride, and said, Lin Kai, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have doubted your character. You certainly won't do anything improper if we sleep beside you. Stop holding it against me, please. Su Meixin said something kind as well. Yes, Lin Kai, I've recognized my mistake too. I promise I'll never oppose you again. Hearing them speak so humbly to me filled me with satisfaction. Fine. Since both of you put it that way, I suppose I'll reluctantly take you in for the night. Wonderful. I knew you'd agree. You're the best, Lin Kai. The three of us lay in one shelter. The women slept together and kept an appropriate distance from me. I looked at them. One had a fiery figure, while the other had a slender waist and long legs. Both were exceptional beauties. Sleeping beside them, I had a feeling the night wouldn't be peaceful. Looking around the spacious shelter, Xia Qianqian sighed. Wow, this is much better. There's plenty of room and no hateful ants. Su Meixin agreed. Exactly. There aren't any annoying mosquitoes either. The mugwort only smells a little unpleasant. Now you understand how good my shelter is. Who is it that swore she'd rather die than sleep beside me? Xia Qianqian rolled her eyes. Stop looking so pleased. If we had any other choice, who would want to squeeze in with you? Is that so? Without me, the two of you would feed mosquitoes outside all night. Some wild animal might even carry you away. You only know how to scare people on purpose. Is teasing me that much fun? I'm training your courage so you don't lose your mind every time you see an ant. I'm not afraid of ants. Take that back. Take that back. I hadn't expected her sudden attack. I hissed in pain and hurriedly begged for mercy. Hey, I was wrong, Miss Xia. Stop pinching me. Stop fighting you too. And say a little less, Lin Kai. The ants truly tormented Qianqian just now. Mei Xin, thank goodness you're here with me. Otherwise, a certain someone would bully me to death. All you think about is your precious Mei Xin. She can't even start a fire. With survival skills like hers, you'll starve if you follow her. I underestimated you before, Lin Kai. In this area, I truly can't compare. I'll have to learn more from you. Xia Qianqian immediately defended her. Don't underestimate Mei Xin, Lin Kai. Her survival skills may be weak, but she's a top graduate of Qingbei University and extremely capable at work. Stop praising her, Qianqian. So what if she graduated from Qingbei University? She became a manager only 2 years after graduation. There must be something suspicious behind it. Xia Qianqian defended Su Mei Xin again. How can you say that about her, Lin Kai? Mei Xin is truly capable and remarkably talented at management. She rescued several company projects that were on the verge of failure. Without her, the company would have lost an enormous amount. She became a manager because of her own ability. Don't make me sound so impressive, Qianqian. I only did what I should, and I really do owe my quick promotion to you. I immediately seized on the flaw in her words. See, Qianqian, she admitted that she only became a manager because of you. She must have approached you deliberately for money. Su Meixin hurriedly explained, don't twist my meaning, Lin Kai. Qianqian gave me an opportunity and allowed me to stay at the company to use my talents. Xia Qianqian took her hand. Don't listen to Lin Kai, Meixin. I know you aren't that kind of person. For the past 2 years, you've accepted only the company's minimum wage. I froze. The company's minimum wage was 2,500 per month. A manager like Su Meixin should make at least 100,000 per month. Why would she willingly take the lowest salary? Could it be that she truly wasn't motivated by money? It's not that I don't believe you, Qianqian. I only don't understand why Meixin would reject a high salary and take the minimum. It makes no sense. Just after I graduated, my mother developed leukemia and urgently needed 1 million for treatment. I had nowhere to turn when I met Qianqian. She paid my mother's medical bills and gave me a job. Xia Qianqian continued. At first, she wanted to work for me for free to repay me. It took endless persuasion before she agreed to accept the minimum wage. You truly misunderstood Meixin, Lin Kai. It seemed I genuinely misunderstood her. I'm truly sorry, Meixin. I misjudged you. You're not only capable, but also someone who remembers and repays kindness. Xia Qianqian beamed when our misunderstanding was resolved. Seeing the atmosphere between us improve, she teased. Meixin has never had a boyfriend, Lin Kai. I think she's rather interested in you. If you don't mind, why not take her? Su Meixin blushed to the tips of her ears and complained. Don't talk nonsense, Qianqian. I have no interest in Lin Kai. Despite her words, she unconsciously stole a glance at me as though looking forward to my answer. I froze. I'd never imagined the acknowledged beauty of the Xia group had never been in a relationship. It seemed my misunderstanding ran much deeper than I'd realized. She had always kept herself pure and hadn't used her body to climb the corporate ladder. I pretended to remain calm. We're on a desert island, Qianqian. Staying alive comes first. How can we have the time to think about romance? Su Meixin's eyes dimmed slightly. Xia Qianqian covered her mouth and giggled. I was only teasing you. Look how nervous you both are. We've worked all day. Let's sleep. Yet somehow, our conversation made her feel lighter inside. Su Meixin murmured in agreement, turned onto her side, and faced away from Xia Qianqian and me. I secretly breathed a sigh of relief and thought that the heiress truly knew how to choose her moment for a joke. Each of us gradually fell asleep, lost in different thoughts. The next morning, I awoke to a heavy weight on my body. I cracked my eyes open and found Xia Qianqian asleep on top of me, her full breasts pressed against my chest. I inwardly complained that the heiress was an unruly sleeper. Had she mistaken me for a body pillow? I tried to push her away but worried that any large movement would wake her and create needless awkwardness. Xia Qianqian woke, saw our suggestive position, and instantly screamed. You pervert, Lin Kai. Her shout left my ears ringing. I rubbed them and snapped. Look carefully, Xia Qianqian. You're the one who pressed yourself against me. If anyone is the pervert here, it's you. Xia Qianqian suddenly came to her senses and sprang off me, her cheeks blazing red. Who knows what you did in the middle of the night? Anyway, this is your fault. Su Meixin rubbed her sleepy eyes and teased. You two are already so lively first thing in the morning that you woke me up. Xia Qianqian glared at her. You're laughing, Meixin? Lin Kai tried to take advantage of me first thing in the morning. Su Meixin waved her hands with a smile. All right, I'll stop laughing. But don't accuse Lin Kai unfairly, Qianqian. I know exactly what you're like when you sleep. Meishin, why are you defending him? Are you still my best friend? Look, Meishin understands justice. Unlike a certain unreasonable woman. How dare you call me unreasonable, rotten Lin Kai? I'll teach you a lesson. I dodged nimbly, and Xia Qianqian missed. She nearly fell, but Su Meishin hurried over to catch her. Both of you calm down. There are still so many things waiting for us on this island. Meishin is right. This desert island is full of danger. We can't sit here and wait to die. I agreed while telling myself that today, I had to find some sign of Xia. Xia Qianqian snorted. For Meishin's sake, I'll let you off for now. The women then discovered that the shelter they'd built the night before had collapsed. Look at our shelter, Meishin. Oh my God, how did this happen? We worked so hard on it. The wind was probably too strong during the night. Our shelter wasn't sturdy enough, so it collapsed. I gloated from the side. Good thing you slept in my shelter last night, or you would have been in trouble. Xia Qianqian rolled her eyes at me. You're still laughing? Would this have happened if you'd helped us last night? All you do is make snide remarks. Fine, I was wrong. Go brush your teeth and prepare for breakfast. We have plenty to do today. Brush our teeth? We don't have toothpaste or toothbrushes. How are we supposed to brush, Lin Kai? Are you still half asleep? As Xia Qianqian stared in confusion, I took a coconut shell full of coconut shell charcoal from the small storage shelter. We can use this charcoal as tooth powder. On a desert island, cleaning our teeth at all is better than nothing. Su Meishin came closer and studied the charcoal curiously. Can we really brush with this, Lin Kai? It won't cause any problems. Don't worry. I've tried it before while carrying out missions in the wilderness. It works fairly well for cleaning teeth. I dug up the kangaroo meat I'd buried the night before, stored the snakeskin bag, skewered the meat, and placed it over the fire. As I leisurely roasted breakfast and wondered how I would search for Lin Xia that day, startled cries from the women came from the beach. Lin Kai, there's a body on the shore. It's terrifying. It scared us to death. I frowned and reassured them. Don't panic. I'm here. Show me. Although afraid, the women stayed beside me and led me to where they'd found the body. The instant I saw it on the beach, my body shuddered violently. Is that really Lin Kai's sister, Qianqian? Look at him. His sister must mean everything to him. I didn't see clearly either, but he values his sister more than his own life. I hope this is only a false alarm. I struggled to the woman's side. Seeing a figure so similar to Lin Xia's, I dropped to my knees beside her. With a trembling hand, I slowly moved the woman's long hair aside. My heart pounded like a war drum, each beat threatening to burst from my chest. I only just found you. There are so many things I still want to tell you. Nothing can happen to you. The moment I saw the woman's face clearly, the weight hanging over my heart finally fell away. I breathed a sigh of relief. Xia Qianqian patted her chest. Thank goodness she isn't Lin Kai's sister. That terrified me. Su Meishin looked at her in confusion. Then who is she? Why is she wearing a maid's uniform from the Qin group? I realized the woman's body was still warm and quickly pressed an ear to her chest. Xia Qianqian's and Su Meishin's eyes widened at my action. What are you doing, Lin Kai? How could you do something like that to a corpse? You've gone too far. Exactly. That's entirely improper, even if she isn't your sister. Be quiet. She may still be alive. I gestured for them to remain silent and listened carefully for a heartbeat. The instant I heard a faint pulse, joy surged inside me. She truly was alive. I lifted my head and noticed that her clothes were dry, which meant she probably hadn't drowned. I studied her delicate features. Her eyes were tightly shut, while her lips were cracked and pale. I ultimately concluded that she'd gone without water for so long that dehydration and exhaustion had caused her to collapse on the beach. Since she wore a maid's uniform from the Qin group, she must be one of its maids, just like Xia. If I woke her, she might know where Xia was. The thought made me immediately order the women. Qianqian, Meishin, bring water from the shelter. She's alive. Hearing me, Xia Qianqian frowned. Do we truly have to save her, Lin Kai? Water is so valuable on this island, and she's with the Qin group. Su Meishin added. Qin Sueki was so domineering and unreasonable on the ship. Her people may not be any better. I turned with a grave expression. We have to save her. My sister is missing, and this woman may know something about her. We brought the water, Lin Kai. When the women returned, I gently lifted the stranger and pressed the philtrum beneath her nose, trying to wake her. Before long, she frowned and gradually responded, murmuring, Water, water. Pass me the water, Qianqian. I called urgently. At the touch of cool water, the woman seized it like a lifeline. Her cracked lips opened, and she swallowed desperately. Watching from the side, Xia Qianqian frowned. She's drinking far too quickly. Won't she choke? Su Meishin looked concerned as well. She must have been thirsty for a long time. I wonder what happened to make her collapse here. I nodded. Let her recover. Once she feels better, we'll ask what happened. What are you trying to do to me? Let me go. Xia Qianqian planted her hands on her hips and snapped. What is wrong with you? Lin Kai saved you out of kindness, and you shoved him away. No good deed goes unpunished. I explained. Don't misunderstand. We mean no harm. I truly was saving you. Realizing her mistake, the vigilance in the woman's eyes eased slightly. She looked at me apologetically. I'm sorry. I thought. Did you save me? Thank you. Once she had calmed down, I asked. What's your name, and why are you on this island? The woman took a moment to compose herself before slowly answering. My name is Shin Manny. I'm Chin Sweki's maid. When the cruise ship sank, Miss Chin and the rest of us escaped in a lifeboat. Unfortunately, we encountered a huge wave, and the boat capsized. We were washed onto this island. Wild joy surged through me. I rushed forward, grabbed her small hand, and demanded urgently, Do you know Linsia? She's another of Chin Sweki's maids. Did she get into the lifeboat with you? Please don't. The sudden contact made Shin Manny tremble. She had never been so physically close to a man in her life, and was so anxious she nearly cried. Xia Qianqian looked unhappy. What are you doing, Lin Kai? Let go of her hand. Su Meishin agreed. That's right, Lin Kai. Let her go first. You're frightening her. I finally realized that I'd lost my composure and quickly released her, looking apologetic. I'm sorry. I was too anxious. My name is Lin Kai, and Lin Xie is my sister. She means to me. I've been searching for her. It's all right. I know you didn't mean to frighten me. Shin Manny's cheeks were crimson. As she tried to calm herself, she caught the key piece of information and asked in confusion. Wait, you said you're Lin Xie's brother? But she never mentioned having a brother. You aren't lying to me, are you? It's a long story. She seems to have lost her memory and forgotten me, but I truly am her brother. You can trust me. I took out the locket I always wore, opened it, and held it before Shin Manny. Look, this is a photo of my sister and me. Shin Manny leaned closer. The moment she saw the photograph, her eyes lit up. Oh my God, you truly are Xie's brother. This is wonderful. Xie finally has family. Her excitement puzzled me. Why do you call her Xie too? What is your relationship with her? Shin Manny explained. We work together, and she always takes care of me. She secretly saves delicious food for me, and I help share her workload. I'm 3 years younger, so I started treating her as my big sister. I see. Is Xie on the island? And how did you collapse here? Shin Manny nodded, her delicate brows knitting. Xie and I were in Miss Chin's camp. Because we were short of food, Miss Chin said I was useless and ate too much, then drove me out. Later, I ran into a pack of wild animals and fled for a long time. I was so hungry that I couldn't keep walking, so I collapsed here. Her stomach growled as she finished. Her face instantly reddened, and she covered it in embarrassment. I'm sorry. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm truly starving. I thought that she was currently my only lead to Xie. Since Xie had accepted her as a little sister, she probably wasn't a bad person. You must be starving. I have some kangaroo meat left. If you don't mind it, you can eat something first. Shin Manny's eyes instantly lit up, and she blurted, Can I really? But after seeing the hostility in the other women's eyes, she timidly added, But I'd feel terrible. Food is so precious here, and as soon as I arrive. Xia Qianqian stepped forward in opposition. Our food is already running low, Lin Kai. How can you give it to some woman whose background we know nothing about? Su Meishin agreed. Qianqian is right. Food is already scarce on this island, and she's from the Qin group. Do you truly want to help her? I frowned, turned toward them, and declared righteously. Shin Manny is my only lead to Xie. Right now, she's more important to me than anyone else. Xia Qianqian's eyes widened. Judging by her reaction, she'd never expected me to speak to her that way over a maid. Still, she knew how much I cared about my sister and understood that I wanted to use Shin Manny to find her. Besides, now that they were stranded on a desert island, only my survival skills gave them a chance to live. Even so, she couldn't help feeling unhappy as she watched me hand our hard-won food to an outsider. She grumbled, All you care about is your sister. I don't even know whose bodyguard you are anymore. Come on, Shin Manny. I'll get you something to eat. Look at Lin Kai, Meishin. He's treating that maid better than me. I think she's completely bewitched him. Exactly. After everything we've been through together, Shin Manny appears, and suddenly he only sees her and his sister. Men are all faithless pigs. The moment they see a beautiful woman, they can't move. Am I, the great Miss Xia, actually inferior to a maid? Don't be angry, Qianqian. Lin Kai is probably only behaving this way because he's desperate to find his sister. You're so beautiful and smart. How could you be inferior to that maid? Humph. He'd better have that reason. Otherwise, once we're rescued, I'll show him how formidable I am. Shinmani and I reached the shelter. By then, the kangaroo meat over the fire had cooked perfectly. Of course you can eat it. On a desert island, a full stomach helps you survive. Don't be polite. Wow, is this kangaroo? It's delicious. I've never eaten meat this good. Thank you, Lin Kai. Slow down so you don't choke. I have plenty more. I only wish Xia Qianqian would lose her foul heiress's temper and become the innocent, kind girl she'd been as a child. Xia Qianqian approached, her full chest swaying gently with each step. She glanced at us and said sourly, "All you do is care for this woman whose background you don't even know. You've practically forgotten the companions who've been with you day and night." Su Meixin followed close behind. "Exactly, Lin Kai. You're treating us so differently that we're becoming jealous. Stop making trouble. Shinmani is my key lead to finding Xia, so of course I'm anxious. Besides, you're all my companions. I would never abandon either of you." Xia Qianqian accepted some roasted meat and took a bite. Her mood finally improved. "That's more like it. You'd better keep your word." Shinmani. "This is Xia Qianqian, heiress to the Xia group, and this is Su Meixin, one of the group's managers. They're both my companions, and they were the ones who found you. Miss Xia, Miss Su, thank you for saving me. Without you, I might have died. Please forgive my earlier offense." Xia Qianqian snorted irritably, turned her head away, and continued eating without any intention of answering. Su Meixin gave a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Enough with the empty formalities. That sort of thing doesn't work on us." I hurriedly defended Shinmani. "Don't mind them. They mean no harm. They simply haven't adjusted yet." Shinmani's gaze softened. She forced a faint smile and nodded. "I understand. Thank you." I acted as if none of it mattered and even gave her my roasted meat, afraid she wouldn't have enough. After Shinmani ate 3 skewers and the rest of us ate 1 apiece, every scrap of kangaroo meat was gone. Shinmani still looked unsatisfied. She licked her lips as if hoping more meat would magically appear. Xia Qianqian glanced at her, rolled her eyes, and curled her lip. "You can certainly eat. You're like a starving ghost reborn. Aren't you afraid you'll burst? Look at the person you brought back, Lin Kai." Su Meixin added, "Exactly. Food is already precious on this island. No wonder even Qin Sweki couldn't stand you." Shinmani lowered her head, her face red with shame, like a child who'd done something wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know why I eat so much, but I'm a very hard worker. I'll make it up to you." "Make it up to us? How?" "With those skinny arms and legs, what kind of work can you possibly do?" Seeing this, I looked at the women reproachfully. "What are you doing? A good appetite is a blessing. I eat a lot too. Why don't you have a problem with me?" Xia Qianqian stamped her foot. "You're a man. How can she compare? A maid eating this much is simply wasting food." Su Meixin looked at Shinmani jealously. "She's so thin, yet she eats that much. I can't understand where all the food goes." Their words reddened Shinmani's eyes. Tears gathered, but she fought to keep them from falling. She couldn't understand why her appetite always exposed her to prejudice and abuse. Was it only because she was a maid? Was a woman not allowed to eat more than a man? Only Xia and I didn't despise her and even encouraged her to eat more. She was truly grateful to us, but she couldn't cause us any more trouble. "I'm sorry, Miss Xia, Miss Su. I shouldn't have appeared here. If you don't like me, I'll leave." "Fine. If you want to leave, then go. Don't think we'll ask you to stay, and don't come back." The words hurt Shinmani. Just as she turned to leave, I caught her hand. "Wait. You don't have to go." Shinmani froze slightly and turned to me. She was deeply grateful that I wanted her to stay. But with her enormous appetite and the other women rejecting her, she would only create trouble for me. After hesitating, she said, "Thank you for sharing your food with me, Lin Kai. But Miss Xia and Miss Su don't welcome me, and I eat so much. I'm afraid I'll become a burden if I stay." "Then where will you go? Qin Sweki already abandoned you, and this island is extremely dangerous. Do you want to collapse from hunger again and be eaten by wild animals?" "What do you mean, Lin Kai? Are you insisting on keeping this woman whose background we don't know just to oppose us?" "Exactly. With that appetite, who knows how much food she'll consume? Surviving is already difficult for us." I suddenly roared. My face was grave as I swept a firm gaze across them and continued. "What has Shinmani done to either of you? She only eats a little more. Just because you eat less, does everyone else have to be the same? Aren't you being completely unreasonable?" Xia Qianqian clearly hadn't expected me to defy her for Shinmani. Her expression grew uglier. "Don't go too far, Lin Kai. You're speaking to me this way over a maid. Don't forget she's one of Qin Sweki's people. Who knows what she intends? I'm thinking about you." Su Meixin watched me care for Shinmani and her tone turned cold. She's an outsider with a huge appetite. Do you truly have to defend her this much, Lin Kai? What are we to you? Don't forget that we're the ones on your side. Maybe we should forget it, Lin Kai. I don't want you to fight because of me. I should go. I patted her shoulder reassuringly. Ignore what they're saying, Shinmani. Don't worry. I won't let them make things difficult for you again. My gaze moved across the empty freshwater containers in the small shelter, and I remembered that the two women hadn't had fresh water that morning. My eyes shifted as a plan came to me. I told Shinmani, since they can't tolerate you, I'll leave with you. We can let them fend for themselves. The women were still angry. My provocation made their tempers explode. Fine. Leave. Do you think we can't survive without you? Don't make yourself so important. Exactly. We don't care whether either of you stays. If you're going, then go far away. Fine. You said it. Don't regret it later. I took Shinmani's hand and left the shelter. We hadn't gone far when I heard soft footsteps behind us. As expected, Xia Qianqian and Su Meixin had followed. They must have discovered that we'd used all the fresh water and hadn't dared remain alone. Shinmani hesitated before asking, are we really leaving them behind, Lin Kai? What will Miss Xia and Miss Su do? I glanced at her. They just said such awful things to you. Why are you still worrying about them? Are you a masochist? My arrival caused your conflict. I feel guilty. I don't want your relationship to suffer because of me. You're far too kind. That's why people bully you. Don't worry. They'll recognize their mistake very soon. Xia Qianqian and Su Meixin followed at a distance. Seeing us chatting happily made them even more unhappy. Lin Kai is actually talking to her so cheerfully. He's completely forgotten us. This is outrageous. Exactly. Shinmani sowed discord the moment she appeared, and now she's walking so close to Lin Kai. Just looking at them makes me angry. No, we can't let her steal Lin Kai away. He's ours. Let's keep following them. Shinmani and I soon reached a grove of coconut palms. Seeing the coconuts everywhere, Shinmani exclaimed, wow, there are so many coconuts here. Why did we come, Lin Kai? I glanced at the two women behind us, and the corner of my mouth rose. To make those two women regret what they said, of course. I took the sling from my pocket, searched the ground for a suitable stone, and prepared to knock down a coconut. Shinmani's eyes instantly lit up when she saw the sling in my hand. She exclaimed in delight, you know how to use a sling, Lin Kai? You recognize it, Shinmani? Yes. I grew up in the countryside and saw boys in the village use them. But whenever I tried, I could never aim correctly and always missed my target. It looks simple, but learning to use it is difficult. You have to practice. I trained for a long time before mastering the technique. I'm about to knock down a coconut. Move farther away so you don't get hurt, Shinmani. The stone shot out and struck a coconut stem with perfect accuracy. The coconut swayed several times, then dropped with a thud. Shinmani clapped excitedly. Wow, you're incredibly accurate with that sling, Lin Kai. You're amazing. I smiled. Practice makes perfect. It's nothing worth mentioning. Xia Qianqian curled her lip and said sourly, that rotten Lin Kai is showing off his worthless skill in front of another woman. What's so impressive about it? Su Meixin frowned as well. We're worried Shinmani will deceive him, yet he's using a trick like that to please her. It's infuriating. While I wasn't paying attention, Shinmani went to the base of a coconut palm more than 10 meters tall and prepared to climb. Oh my god, look at that maid, Meixin. She knows how to climb, and she's so fast. That maid is naive. Coconut palms aren't easy to climb. She'll definitely fall in a moment. Just wait and see. Oh, why do you sound so jealous, Meixin? You aren't envious because she can climb, are you? Stop talking nonsense, Qianqian. I'm not jealous. The trunk truly is slippery. She won't last much longer. I'd already knocked down 3 coconuts and was about to move to another palm when I turned and realized Shinmani had disappeared. I searched around and finally spotted her near the top of a coconut palm. What are you doing, Shinmani? Come down right now. That tree is far too tall and dangerous. I want to help you pick coconuts, Lin Kai. Don't worry. I've been good at climbing trees since I was little. I'll reach them very soon. Gritting her teeth, she continued climbing with all her strength. I kept trying to persuade her as I hurried beneath the tree. When I looked up, my weathered face immediately reddened. You've done so much for me, Lin Kai. I have to repay you. A few coconuts can't defeat me. Shinmani pushed hard with her feet and finally reached the height of the coconuts. Her eyes lit up. She was about to boast to me when she looked down. Only then did she notice me staring upward and realize that the view beneath her maid's skirt was completely exposed. Her face instantly turned scarlet. She instinctively reached down to hold her skirt. The panicked movement threw her off balance, and she nearly fell. Startled, I quickly shouted, "Be careful, Shinmani. Don't move around." The dangerous scene nearly made the hearts of the two women hiding nearby stop. Oh my god, that's terrifying. She mustn't fall. What will we do if something happens? Xia Qianqian's eyes widened. She covered her mouth unconsciously, her chest heaving with tension. See? I said climbing a coconut palm wasn't easy. I was right. At the critical moment, Shinmani clamped her legs around the trunk and seized it tightly with both arms, preventing her fall. She breathed a sigh of relief. The close call made her heart hammer as though it might burst from her chest. I'm all right, Lin Kai. Please, please don't look up. I won't look. Be careful, Shinmani. I retreated several steps until I could no longer see beneath her skirt, though I continued watching over her safety. Shinmani steadied her breathing, seized a coconut, and twisted it with all her strength. The coconut was firmly attached to the stem. She used every ounce of strength until her little face turned red and finally wrenched it free. She threw the coconut onto the beach and picked 5 in a row, stripping the entire tree before climbing down in satisfaction. Look how many coconuts I picked, Lin Kai. Now we'll have coconut water to drink and coconut flesh to eat. After reaching the ground, she brushed debris from her hands and face, straightened her maid's uniform, and put her maid's shoes back on properly. You foolish girl. That was so dangerous. What would you have done if you'd fallen? Still, you gathered so many coconuts. Thank you for working hard. I looked at her irritably, still shaken by the dangerous scene. Shinmani stuck out her tongue. You've been so kind to me that I wanted to repay you. Look, I'm perfectly fine. I was helpless. Noticing that the other 2 women were still hiding, I thought it was time to draw them out. I opened 2 coconuts with my Swiss Army knife, kept one, and handed the other to Shinmani. I tilted my head back, gulped the coconut water, and deliberately made as much noise as possible. This coconut water is so cool and refreshing. Shinmani had no idea what I intended. She lifted her coconut and drank, then exclaimed, Wow, so this is what coconut water tastes like. It's lightly sweet and absolutely delicious. Hearing her, Xia Qianqian and Su Meixin swallowed from their hiding place as their thirst intensified. Xia Qianqian's full chest trembled with anger. She muttered, Lin Kai is definitely doing that on purpose. So what if he can pick a few coconuts? Why show off like that? Su Meixin said unwillingly. That maid is more capable than I expected. She truly climbed the tree and picked coconuts. It seems we underestimated her. Why don't we go soften our attitude toward Lin Kai, Qianqian? If he truly leaves, we'll die of thirst. Xia Qianqian frowned and hesitated for ages before gritting her teeth. Fine. Lin Kai is one of ours. We can't let that maid steal him away. I never knew you were so capable, Shinmani. You climb trees expertly. You're much better than 2 women who only know how to be lazy, enjoy food, and look down on other people. Don't say that, Lin Kai. Miss Xia and Miss Su are kind too. I'm only a maid, and I eat so much. It's normal for them not to like me. Wow, this coconut flesh is so delicious. Xia Qianqian's expression became complicated. She murmured. She still defended us after the way we treated her. Su Meixin looked equally guilty and bit her lip. Yes, we truly went too far. When they reached us, Xia Qianqian broke the silence first. We were wrong, Lin Kai. We shouldn't have said those things about Shinmani. We understand our mistake. Su Meixin followed. Yes, Lin Kai. We didn't mean to target Shinmani, but we didn't know anything about her. Can you forgive us? Hello, Miss Xia, Miss Su. I looked at them and feigned surprise. Oh, what are you 2 doing here? Didn't you just tell us to leave and say you didn't need us? Xia Qianqian's cheeks heated. Knowing she'd been wrong first, she lowered her pride. We were impulsive, Lin Kai. Please stop holding it against us, all right? Su Meixin looked equally embarrassed and humbled herself. Yes, surviving on this island isn't easy. Without you, we truly can't find food or water. You must be desperately thirsty, Miss Xia, Miss Su. Hurry and drink some coconut water. Just as Xia Qianqian reached for the coconut, I suddenly snatched it away. I shook it in my hand and deliberately drawled. Judging by the way you look, do you want some coconut water? Weren't you both incredibly stubborn a moment ago? Xia Qianqian's hand froze in midair. Seeing the coconut disappear just as she was about to receive it made her furious, but she couldn't lash out. She gritted her teeth and pleaded, I truly know I was wrong, Lin Kai. Stop teasing me and give me some coconut water. My throat feels like it's on fire. Su Meixin grew anxious too. We truly were too willful earlier, Lin Kai. We promise we won't behave that way again. Please give us the coconuts. I glanced at the women. Their attitude was sincere, and I didn't want to go too far. Pretending to consider it, I said, I can give you the coconuts, but first you have to apologize to Shinmani and promise never to make things difficult for her again. Xia Qianqian froze and clearly hesitated. She glared at me. obviously unwilling to lower herself before a maid. What a joke. When have I ever bowed my head to anyone, much less a maid? If word gets out, what will happen to my dignity as Xia Qianqian? Her face turned bright red, but she didn't throw another tantrum. With no fresh water available, she had no choice but to lower her head. She took a deep breath and said with extreme reluctance, Shinmani, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those terrible things or driven you away. I hope you won't take them to heart. Please forgive me. Once Xia Qianqian yielded, Su Meixin apologized too. I was wrong as well, Shinmani. I shouldn't have looked down on you or said such hurtful things. I'm truly sorry. We promise it won't happen again. Overwhelmed by the attention, Shinmani hurriedly waved her hands. Please don't say that, Miss Ya, Miss Su. My appearance disrupted your lives. I didn't take it to heart. I opened the coconuts and listened to the apologies with a slight smile. You two really thought I couldn't bring you into line? All right. Since you're being so sincere, I forgive you. You must be dying of thirst. Here, drink some coconut water. I handed the two freshly opened coconuts to the women. Xia Qianqian and Su Meixin received them like priceless treasures and hurriedly took long drinks. The cool, sweet coconut water flowed down their throats, instantly refreshing their entire bodies. As the four of us drank coconut water and ate the flesh, the atmosphere gradually became harmonious. Before long, we'd eaten 8 coconuts, and neatly cut shells covered the ground. Seeing Shinmani finish 4 coconuts by herself, the women teased. How can someone as small as you eat that much, Shinmani? Your stomach seems bottomless. Exactly. If you entered an eating contest, you'd definitely come in first. Miss Ya, Miss Su, I only eat a tiny bit more than an ordinary person. Shinmani lowered her head, embarrassed by their teasing. I looked at the women. Stop teasing Shinmani. Since you ate my coconuts, it's time to help me work. Xia Qianqian immediately pouted when I asked them to work and complained. We only just filled our stomachs, and already you want us to work. You're a slave driver, Lin Kai. Su Meixin stood up for her. Exactly. You don't make Shinmani work, but you order us around. You're an evil capitalist. Listen to yourselves. Shinmani can climb trees and pick coconuts. What can either of you do? I ask for a little work, and you start complaining. Don't underestimate us. If it's only work, we'll do it. But I'm warning you, I can't perform anything too physically demanding. It's not that I can't do physical work, but my job at the company is intellectual. I need time to adjust. Once they agreed, a smile touched my lips. Provoking their competitive spirit really did work sometimes. I nodded. Don't worry. It isn't strenuous. With those skinny arms and legs, I know perfectly well what you can manage. It had better not be. Tell us what you want. Fine. Assign the tasks, and we'll do them. I plan to search for Xia with Shinmani later. The other women could remain at camp and use distillation to make fresh water. Meixin, collect seawater from the shore. Qianqian, find some seashells. The larger, the better. Why do you want seawater, Lin Kai? It's salty and bitter. We still can't drink it after filtering. Exactly. And why make me gather shells? Are you turning them into limestone again? Stop asking so many questions and do what I said. You'll see how useful everything is soon. Always keeping us in suspense. I can't understand what you're doing. Come on, Meixin. Ignore him. What can I do, Lin Kai? They're both working, and I want to help too. At least you're eager to work. They barely move when I call them. Gather some large stones. I'll need them later. Will moving stones be too much for you, Shinmani? If it feels too difficult, you don't have to. Don't worry, Lin Kai. I grew up working in the countryside. I have plenty of strength. A few stones won't defeat me. With Shinmani joining us, we had even more hope of surviving this dangerous island. I stopped thinking about it, took out a sock, fetched charcoal from the shelter, and made a simple filter with fine sand and pebbles. I returned to the sand pit we'd used the day before, adjusted its stand, placed the filter inside, and set a coconut shell beneath it as a container. Su Meixin returned just then with the snakeskin bag full of seawater. Seeing me at work beside the pit, she walked over. What are you doing, Lin Kai? You aren't truly planning to filter the seawater and drink it, are you? Will that be safe? Who says it isn't safe? With a special method, we can turn seawater into drinkable fresh water. Surely a top Qingbei graduate like you knows that. I accepted the snakeskin bag, tied another sock over its opening, and placed it on the stand to filter the seawater. I see. You're rather clever. You even know how to obtain fresh water this way. It seems I'm becoming more and more dependent on you. Now you understand how useful I am. Obey me from now on, and I guarantee your quality of life on this island will keep improving. I offer one compliment, and your ego swells. We don't have a stove. How will we distill the seawater? I brought the stones you wanted, Lin Kai. See whether these will work. I inspected them and praised her. These stones are exactly the right size, Shinmani. Thank you for the hard work. You're incredibly strong, Shinmani. You can carry stones this large. I've worked since I was little. They look large, but they aren't too bad. I began building a stove with stones and mud. Shinmani continued finding rocks to help. I assigned another task to Su Meishin. Gather more branches, Meishin. Distilling the seawater will require plenty of fuel. Fine. All you do is order people around. You won't even let me rest. Despite her complaint, Su Meishin happily ran off to gather branches. Before long, I finished the stove. After gathering the stones, Shinmani joined Su Meishin and brought back a large amount of wood. The seawater had nearly finished filtering as well. I set the coconut shell full of clean seawater aside. Only after everything was ready did Xia Qianqian return, panting heavily. Look how many large shells I found, Lin Kai. These should be enough, right? I turned to her, and my eyes immediately lit up. She held several palm-sized shells, perfect vessels for distillation. Not bad, Qianqian. These shells are large and sturdy. It seems the great Miss Xia isn't completely useless. Of course, once I set my mind to something, how could I fail? I had to travel a long way to find these shells. Xia Qianqian placed them in front of me and wiped the sweat from her forehead. She truly had worked hard to gather them. I selected one large shell and placed it on the stove. Around it, I built a frame holding several smaller shells at an angle to channel the liquid, then set a coconut shell beside them to catch the condensation. Xia Qianqian stared at the strange apparatus and asked, "What is this for, Lin Kai?" I stopped hiding the answer, and the corner of my mouth rose. To make fresh water and salt, of course. Salt? Why are you making that, Lin Kai? Are you trying to become the Salt King? Xia Qianqian looked puzzled and clearly still didn't understand the importance of salt. Su Meishin couldn't help laughing and quickly explained. Salt is extremely important, Qianqian. If we go without it for too long on this island, our bodies will grow weak. It's also an essential seasoning that will make our food taste much better. Xia Qianqian remembered the strange, gamey kangaroo we'd eaten the night before. With salt, it surely wouldn't be so difficult to swallow. I see. Salt truly is useful. You have some impressive skills, Lin Kai. You even thought of distilling seawater to make salt. Shinmani stared at the still with admiration filling her eyes. You know how to do everything, Lin Kai, and you've always taken care of me, she said earnestly. I'll do everything I can to help you. Can these shells truly give us salt and fresh water from the sea, Lin Kai? Are they really that magical? I brimmed with confidence. Do you distrust me that much, Qianqian? Keep watching, and you'll see whether I can make salt. I poured the filtered seawater into the shell, placed wood and tinder beneath the stove, carried an ember from the campfire, and lit it. Wow, it truly isn't salty. It seems to have become fresh water. Your method actually works, Lin Kai. It really is fresh water. I never expected you to assemble a working still with such limited materials, Lin Kai. That's impressive. Because Shinmani was conscious of being only a maid, she merely watched eagerly from the side, her admiration for me growing. I rolled my eyes at the two women. You curious children. You're so impatient that you're going to burn yourselves. The best part is still coming. The seawater continued boiling as vapor collected. As more water evaporated, less remained in the shell, and white crystals gradually appeared. Lin Kai, are those white crystals salt? Of course. Once the water evaporates, what's left is salt. Since we filtered the seawater first, the salt is safe to eat. Wow, it really is salt. I can't believe Lin Kai successfully made it. I looked smug. With this still, we'll not only have salt to season our food, but we won't have to worry about fresh water either. Once the seawater had evaporated completely, I wrapped the shell in several leaves and lifted it. Then I used the Swiss Army knife to scrape the salt into a coconut shell. The salt is salty but slightly bitter too. Why doesn't it taste like the salt at home? I explained. We extracted it from seawater, but we haven't refined it. Other minerals probably remain, so the flavor is slightly strange. Su Meishin agreed. Stop being picky, Qianqian. Lin Kai already accomplished something incredible by making salt. Once we sprinkle it on roasted meat, the food will definitely taste much better. Shinmani said softly from the side, that's right. Salt will also help our bodies maintain their strength and improve our chances of surviving on the island. Fine, I understand. This salt wasn't easy to make, so I won't be picky. What do we do next? Continue distilling seawater. One shell held about 250 grams of seawater. After distillation, it produced roughly 5 grams of salt and a quarter coconut shell of fresh water. The efficiency was rather low, and the process consumed plenty of wood. Collecting enough fresh water and salt would take a great deal of time. After some thought, I assigned the women their tasks. Qianqian, Meishin, Spend a day gathering firewood and filtering and distilling seawater. Make as much fresh water and salt as possible. Why do we have to do everything? What about you and Shinmani? You can't make us work while you stand around watching. Exactly, Lin Kai. We may have been prejudiced against Shinmani earlier, but you can't treat us this differently. Shinmani and I are searching for food. She grew up in the countryside and is more accustomed to hard work than either of you. She's better suited to gathering food in the jungle. Xia Qianqian immediately puffed out her cheeks. How can you take this maid to search for food, Lin Kai? No, I'm coming too. I raised an eyebrow. Have you forgotten that the thylacines nearly ate you yesterday, Qianqian? I'm leaving you here to protect you. Remembering that horrifying scene made Xia Qianqian shudder. She had no choice but to give up. Su Meixin saw through my thoughts at once. You aren't planning to make Shinmani lead you to your sister and abandon us, are you, Lin Kai? I smiled awkwardly. Of course not. How could I abandon you? Don't worry. Shinmani and I truly are gathering food. We'll return soon. Xia Qianqian snorted. Fine. I'll believe you this once. But if you don't bring back enough food, I'll teach you a lesson. Shinmani bowed to them. Don't worry, Miss Ya, Miss Su. Lin Kai and I will return as quickly as possible. Let's go, Shinmani. And neither of you slack off. Stay here and obediently make fresh water and salt. I'll inspect your work when I return. With that, I took Shinmani toward the jungle. Shinmani and I walked toward the jungle. Without the other two women bothering me, even my ears felt much more peaceful. Along the way, I noticed Shinmani looking preoccupied. Her head hung slightly, and her steps weren't as lively as before. I wanted to ask immediately about Lin Xia, but seeing her like that, I knew the time wasn't right. To ease the mood and help her open up, I nudged Shinmani's arm with mine and asked lightly, What's wrong, Shinmani? Why do you look so unhappy? Aren't you glad to search for food with me? No. I'm very happy to search for food with you, Lin Kai, and delighted that I can help. Then why look so depressed? Anyone who didn't know better would think I'd bullied you. You chose me to come with you because you want me to lead you to Xia, don't you, Lin Kai? After you find her, will you abandon me? I froze, surprised by Shinmani's sensitivity. What Qin Sueki had done must have left her with a terrible lack of security. Of course not. I do want your help finding Xia, but I won't abandon you afterward. How could you think that? Shinmani's eyes lit up, but she remained worried. Miss Xia and Miss Su don't seem to like me. You're Miss Xia's bodyguard, so you'll have to obey her, won't you? Don't think that way. I may be Qianqian's bodyguard, but that doesn't mean I obey her in everything. We're stranded on an island, and staying alive matters most. She's a sheltered woman who knows nothing about the world. You saw what happened earlier. If she wants to survive here, she has to obey me. If I want you to stay, how would she dare object? When you put it that way, Miss Xia doesn't seem so frightening. Can I truly stay? Of course. You're smart and sensible, and you're always eager to work. Keeping you with us will help me a great deal. You truly resemble Xia, Lin Kai. You don't look down on me for being a maid, and you're willing to defend me. You make me feel so warm. At the Qin household, everyone thinks I'm clumsy and mocks and bullies me because I eat so much. Only Xia treats me kindly and comforts me with delicious food. But her life is difficult too. Qin Sueki constantly makes trouble for her. I want to help but can't do anything. Do you think I'm useless and unworthy of Xia's care? I patted Shinmani's shoulder. Don't think that way. Since you're Xia's little sister and I'm her little brother, it's only right that I take care of you. No one has ever said anything like that to me. I've always felt invisible, as though no one would ever care about me. I'm so glad I met you, Lin Kai. After a brief pause, she gathered her courage and said, Since you're Xia's little brother and I've accepted her as my big sister, can I treat you as my big brother too? She looked at me eagerly, expectation and anxiety mingling in her eyes as she feared my refusal. Of course. From now on, you're my little sister. Whatever you need, tell me. We'll look after each other on this island, and our lives will keep getting better. Shinmani's eyes narrowed into happy crescents, and she called brightly, Kai. Yes, Manny, I answered. If Xia knew I'd accepted Shinmani as a little sister, would she be happy for me? And where was Xia now? I'll take you to find Xia now, Kai. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to see you. Shinmani suddenly spoke. Joy surged through me, and my eyes lit up. You truly know where Xia is, Manny? Shinmani nodded. She should still be with Qin Sueki. After we washed up on this island, Qin Sueki's group made a temporary camp in a clearing. Qin Sueki drove me out, and a pack of wild animals chased me all the way here. But I have a good sense of direction and still remember the way back. I simply don't know whether they're still there. Excitement overwhelmed me. I grabbed her small hand and held it tightly. Thank you so much, Manny. Finding Xia would be incredible. Let's go now. Whether they're still there or not, We have to check. You're too excited, Kai. My action made Shinmani blush. At a loss, she lowered her head shyly. Sweetness filled her heart. Helping me seemed to convince her that she possessed greater value. She lightly tugged her hand, but couldn't escape my powerful grip, so she simply let me hold it. I finally realized I'd lost control and quickly let go, scratching my head apologetically. Sorry, Manny. The moment I heard news of Sia, I couldn't control myself. It's all right. I know you're desperate to find Sia, so I won't take it to heart. But Chin Sweki's camp may be far from here. You should prepare yourself. Shinmani's cheeks remained crimson. The warmth of my hands lingered on hers and made her heart race. No road is too long if it leads me to Sia. Take me there, Manny. All right. Stay close to me, Kai. Shinmani calmed herself and began leading the way. Along the way, Shinmani seemed like a different person. She held my arm and chattered nonstop. Did you know, Kai? I started working as a maid for Chin Sweki right after high school. My family was poor, and I thought the job would make our lives easier, but I never imagined. Chin Sweki is extremely difficult to serve. She always finds fault, flies into a rage whenever something displeases her, and constantly curses me with horrible words. I lived in fear every day. You've endured so much, Manny. Didn't you ever consider finding another job instead of serving a woman with such a terrible attitude? Shinmani sighed softly. I did, but I have no education or useful skills, and my family depends on my wages. I had no choice but to grit my teeth and endure. After a brief pause, she continued, Fortunately, I met Sia. She treated me wonderfully, taught me how to make fewer mistakes, and secretly comforted me when I was bullied. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. Since Sia treated you so well, you have to help me find her. We can't let Chin Sweki bully her anymore. Shinmani nodded hard. I promise I'll help you find her, Kai. If Sia knew you've been searching for her, she'd be deeply moved. We continued chatting intermittently as we walked. Before we realized it, noon had arrived. Sunlight filtered through the mottled leaves, baking the jungle like a steamer. Shinmani wasn't faring much better. I asked with concern, Why don't we rest for a while, Manny? Don't push yourself so hard for me. I don't want you exhausted. Shinmani wiped the sweat from her forehead and smiled at me. I'm not tired, Kai. If we keep going a little longer, we'll reach Chin Sweki's camp. You must be terribly thirsty, Kai. I'm sorry. I drank all your fresh water and ate so many coconuts that you barely drank anything before walking all this way with me. I'm fine, Manny. Don't blame yourself. I gave those things to you willingly. Our most urgent task is finding Sia. No, Sia is important, but you're equally important. If something happens to you on the way, how will I explain it to her? Back then, Sia had cared for me the same way, terrified that I'd suffer the slightest scrape or exhaustion in attending to my every need. Yet her own life had been so difficult that she'd secretly worked every day after school to pay my tuition. We weren't related by blood, but she treated me like a biological little brother and willingly sacrificed everything for me. A sister like that was one in a million. I would find her this time. I swore I'd never let her suffer again. For the rest of her life, it would be my turn to care for her. I silently made the promise in my heart. Then Shinmani spotted several trees about 10 meters tall, laden with fruit. Her eyes instantly lit up. It seems even heaven doesn't want us to stay thirsty, Kai. Wait here. I'll bring you something good. I was still lost in thought. I didn't understand what she meant and was about to ask. Shinmani raced like the wind to a tree, kicked off her maid's shoes, wrapped her arms around the trunk, and prepared to climb. I followed her upward with my gaze and saw brightly colored fruits filling the branches. Joy surged through me. They were wax apples, fruit known as natural mineral water growing on trees. Their sponge-like flesh held abundant water, which could relieve thirst and restore energy. Finding something this useful on an island where fresh water was scarce made Shinmani seem like my lucky star. Be careful, Manny. Watch yourself. I'd already witnessed Shinmani's skill at climbing coconut palms, but this wax apple tree was still so tall that I worried for her. Don't worry, Kai. I'm an excellent climber. Shinmani answered while scrambling up with hands and feet like a nimble little monkey. Before long, she reached a thick branch, sat firmly on it, and beamed with excitement. Leaning outward, she picked fruit after fruit and carefully gathered them in the skirt of her maid's uniform. Once she'd collected enough, she wrapped her legs around the trunk and slowly slid down in satisfaction. I walked over and looked at her irritably. You foolish girl. Why are you always climbing everything in sight? Were you born in the year of the monkey? What if you fall from a tree that tall? Shinmani stuck out her tongue. You look terribly thirsty, Kai. I only wanted to pick fruit quickly and help you. She selected the largest fruit from the fold of her skirt and handed it to me with smiling eyes. Try it, Kai. This fruit is delicious. I accepted the wax apple and took a small bite. Sweet juice immediately spread across my tongue and eased much of my thirst. This truly tastes good. We wouldn't have discovered these wax apples without you, Manny. But you're not allowed to climb trees carelessly again. Understand? I understand, Kai. Shin Manny picked up another wax apple and ate, a happy, contented smile on her face. We were eating the fruit and enjoying the brief peace, when a rustling sound came from the bushes nearby. Remembering the wild animals that had chased her the day before, Shin Manny immediately became tense. Kai, I think something's over there. Don't be afraid, Manny. I'm here. It's probably only a small animal. Hide behind me. I shielded Shin Manny behind me and watched the bushes vigilantly, ready for any danger. The rustling continued. Shin Manny was so tense she barely dared breathe and gripped my arm desperately. The creature was covered in coarse black hair. A fierce light shone from its two small eyes, and low grunts rumbled from its mouth. Compared with the dangerous and unpredictable carnivores on the island, an omnivorous wild boar posed somewhat less of a threat. It's a wild boar, Kai. What do we do? Are we in danger? Shin Manny asked anxiously. Don't be afraid, Manny. Stay still. The boar looks fierce, but as long as we don't provoke it, it probably won't attack. I comforted her. On an island where food was scarce, the boar would be an excellent food source. If we captured it, the meat could feed us for several days. But I lacked a suitable weapon and couldn't do anything to it for now. Trying might only enrage it and endanger Shin Manny and me. Are you sure? Wild boars chased me for ages yesterday. I ran until I could barely breathe. What did you do yesterday, Manny? Why would boars chase you? Under normal circumstances, they don't pursue people without provocation. After Chinsweki drove me away, I wandered through the forest for a long time. I was starving and couldn't find food, so I tried to dig up some wild vegetables. Several boars suddenly charged out. I hadn't even eaten the vegetables I dug up before they ran at me. I fled with everything I had and finally lost them after running for ages. Understanding dawned on me, and I explained with a smile. You accidentally wandered into their territory, Manny. Wild boars are extremely territorial. When you dug up vegetables on their land, they thought you were stealing their food, so they chased you. Shin Manny nodded with only partial understanding. I see. I was terrified and thought they wanted to eat me. Fortunately, my stamina is good. I wore them all out. I helplessly stroked her head. You exhausted yourself so badly that you collapsed on the beach this morning, yet you claim to have good stamina. What would you have done if we hadn't found you? Shin Manny stuck out her tongue. I only fainted because I hadn't eaten for so long. I climbed the wax apple tree without complaining that I was tired. My stamina really is good. She thrust out her chest to emphasize her point, looking as though she were declaring, I'm incredible. Her mischievous expression made me laugh. Fine, fine. You have excellent stamina, but you can't be so reckless in the future. Understand? Shin Manny nodded obediently. I understand, Kai. The boar kept rooting through the ground, using its snout to turn over fallen leaves and soft earth as it searched for food. It unearthed a black, irregularly shaped ball. Its surface was covered with dense honeycomb-like pits and clumps of dirt. Shin Manny clearly recognized it. Her eyes lit up, and she unconsciously tightened her grip on my arm. Look at that, Kai. It's a treasure. Those are extremely valuable back home. That's a black truffle. How do you recognize it, Manny? It's an expensive delicacy most people would never know. Black truffles were famous among gourmet ingredients and absurdly expensive, earning them the name Black Diamonds of the dining table. Shin Manny nodded. I saw them while serving Chinsweki. She loves expensive, unusual foods. I've seen truffles, but have never eaten one. I see. Now that we've found one, you'll finally get a chance to taste it. But the boar is guarding it, Kai. How will we take it? If the animal becomes angry, we'll be in danger. Don't rush. Let's observe it and think of a way to lure the boar aside before collecting the truffle. As I considered a plan, the boar found the truffle, stepped forward on its short legs, and opened its mouth to eat. Shin Manny immediately became anxious. What do we do, Kai? The boar is about to eat the truffle. I had no time to hesitate. I quickly took a stone from my pocket and fired it at a nearby tree, hoping the sound would distract the animal. Smack! The stone struck the trunk with perfect accuracy. The noise startled the boar and made it freeze and prick up its ears, but it didn't flee. With a whoosh, another stone shot from my hand and struck the boar squarely on the rump. The powerful hit made the boar squeal as though it were being slaughtered. Unable to see its enemy, it panicked, turned, and charged deep into the bushes. You're amazing, Kai. You truly scared it away. Slow down, Manny. No one is competing with you. Look, Kai. The truffle is completely undamaged. Finding such an expensive black truffle means you're in for a real treat tonight. You foolish girl. Seeing Shun Manny as happy as a child filled my heart with warmth. Shin Manny cleaned the dirt from the truffle, stood with a bright smile, and handed it to me. This is for you, Kai. I froze in surprise. For me? You're the one who found it. Manny, and black truffles are extremely valuable. Don't you want it? Shin Manny shook her head. Without you driving away the boar, I never could have taken it. Besides, I'm already satisfied as long as I can stay with you. Keep the truffle safe for now, Manny. We'll roast it tonight and taste it together. All right, Kai. We can let Miss Xia and Miss Su taste it too. Once they learn that you found a black truffle, they'll certainly look at you with new respect. I teased her with a smile. After the way they treated you, why are you still thinking of them? Aren't you afraid they'll repay kindness with cruelty? They may not like me, but they're still your companions. I don't want them to exclude you because of me. I'm all right. I'm used to being bullied. Her words filled me with heartache and emotion. I gently rubbed her head. You're far too kind-hearted, Manny. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, I won't let anyone mistreat you. Shin Manny nodded, her cheeks red. Thank you, Kai. I'll always remember how well you've treated me. The boar I'd frightened hadn't gone far. It continued rooting through the ground nearby and grunted occasionally, suggesting more treasures were hidden in the area. Shin Manny studied the earth the boar had torn up, and a flash of excitement entered her eyes. I think there are more black truffles here, Kai. Wait for me. I'll find them for you. Stop searching, Manny. Black truffles are so rare that we can't simply find them whenever we want. There may be other dangers nearby too. Attracting another wild animal would mean trouble. Trust me, my instincts are extremely accurate. I'm sure I'll find one. Rest here, and I'll surprise you. I was helpless before Shin Manny's stubborn determination. Finding one black truffle was already incredible luck. How could a second one appear so easily? Come look, Kai. I truly found another black truffle. Shin Manny proudly held up her discovery, her eyes curving into crescent moons as if showing off a monumental achievement. I was genuinely shocked. I'd assumed she was only trying her luck, yet she'd actually found another. I told you I could find one. Now everyone can feast happily tonight. While we were immersed in our joy, the boar rooting through the ground nearby suddenly stopped and pricked up its ears. Shin Manny immediately became tense and instinctively moved closer to me. What's that sound, Kai? Is something dangerous coming? My expression turned grave. I comforted her in a low voice. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Let's see what it is. Stay quiet. Suddenly, an enormous shadow struck the boar's back like lightning. A pair of sharp teeth more than 10 centimeters long instantly pierced its thick neck. When I saw the shadow clearly, shock overwhelmed me. It was roughly 2 meters long, with thick, powerful limbs and yellow and black stripes covering its body. 2 distinctive saber teeth protruded from the corners of its mouth, like terrifying daggers. It was a saber-toothed tiger, an extinct prehistoric creature. Why were even prehistoric creatures appearing on this island? How many secrets did this place hide? The bloody scene turned Shin Manny pale. She'd never seen such a terrifying creature, and the fear of death instantly closed around her. Just as terror was about to make her cry out, I reacted quickly and covered her mouth. Don't make a sound. We can't alert it. Against a predator as fierce as a saber-toothed tiger, I couldn't guarantee that both Shin Manny and I would escape unharmed if it noticed us. Although afraid, Shin Manny nodded, and I released her mouth. Wasting no time, I pulled Shin Manny behind a large tree and concealed us with banana leaves. What kind of monster is that, Kai? Why does it look so terrifying? It won't find us, will it? After calming slightly, Shin Manny whispered the question. It's probably a saber-toothed tiger, a vicious prehistoric creature. It's feeding and likely hasn't noticed us. I quietly explained while monitoring the tiger. Shin Manny trembled again. It's that frightening? What do we do, Kai? We stay hidden. Going out now is too dangerous. Once it finishes eating, it will leave, and then we can move. After killing the boar, the saber-toothed tiger lowered its head and began tearing into the flesh. Deep growls and ripping sounds reached us from time to time. The sounds made Shin Manny tremble uncontrollably. I caught her small hand to reassure her. Feeling my broad palm made Shin Manny blush faintly, and she relaxed a little. When will it finish eating, Kai? I'm so afraid. Don't rush. Be patient. As long as we don't reveal ourselves, we'll be safe. I comforted her softly while remaining alert to the saber-toothed tiger. Suddenly, the beast seemed to sense something. It stopped feeding and fixed its fierce eyes on our hiding place. Shin Manny and I tensed at the same time. I concealed Shin Manny and myself more carefully and gripped her small hand, warning her not to make a sound. If the saber-toothed tiger discovered us while feeding, it might attack to defend its meal. The consequences would be unimaginable. I had to remain calm and avoid any loud sound that might disturb the predator. Shinmani wasn't doing much better. Sweat covered her palm, and her heart raced with terror. She moved a step closer to me, and her tension eased slightly. That terrified me, Kai. I thought it had found us. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. You handled yourself well. Even in that danger, you kept from making a sound. Most people would have started screaming long ago. That's only because you were here. Whenever I remember you're beside me, I don't feel as afraid and can keep myself from crying out. The saber-toothed tiger raised its head and roared, then left with a satisfied stride. Only the rustle of shaking bushes remained. Shinmani's legs gave out, as if every trace of strength had been drained from her. She collapsed to the ground. Oh my God, it's finally gone. That was terrifying. I've never been this close to such a dangerous beast. You endured a lot, Manny. But getting so close to a saber-toothed tiger will give you a story to brag about for the rest of your life. Brag? My legs are so weak I can't stand. For a moment, I thought we were both going to die in its jaws. It's over now? Come on. Let's see what gift the saber-toothed tiger left for us. Fortunately, plenty of meat, richly marbled with fat, remained on the boar's limbs and torso. It was precious food. Shinmani approached as well. The bloody scene made her stomach churn, and she nearly vomited. You aren't thinking about eating this boar, are you, Kai? Is it still edible? It's been torn apart. The sight is terrifying. Food is scarce on this island, Manny. The tiger bit the boar, but most of the meat is intact. We can eat it after proper preparation. But the saber-toothed tiger was so terrifying, and the carcass is covered with its bites and claw marks. What if there are germs? Don't worry. If we clean the meat and roast it thoroughly, the heat will kill the pathogens. We have to overcome things like this if we want to survive. I took out the Swiss Army knife, crouched, and began cutting the usable meat from the boar. Shinmani remained afraid, but knew I was right and began helping. Using the knife, I gradually separated the relatively intact portions on the boar's legs and rump that the tiger hadn't bitten. Shinmani carefully wrapped each piece in broad banana leaves, and her fear gradually faded. We worked together smoothly and soon gathered roughly 5 kilograms of wild boar meat. The bundle felt heavy in my hand. I looked at the banana leaf bundle and gave Shinmani an approving glance. Thank you for helping, Manny. It would have taken much longer by myself. Shinmani smiled bashfully. It's only what I should do, Kai. Let me carry it. She reached for the boar meat in my hand. I looked at her with concern. This isn't light, Manny. Can you carry it? I should do it. Shinmani straightened her small body. You just worked for a long time and must be exhausted, Kai. I can manage. Let me. Seeing the sincerity on her face, I stopped hesitating and handed over the meat with a smile. Fine. Thank you, Manny. Having you beside me is wonderful. You've helped me so much. Shinmani blushed. Don't say that, Kai. I'm happy whenever I can help you. I affectionately stroked her head, checked the time, and realized it was getting late. Let's keep going to Chinsweki's camp. We should rescue Sia as soon as possible and not leave her waiting. All right, Kai. I'll lead you to Chinsweki's camp now. I hope Sia is still there. Shinmani rose and began clearing a path ahead. I followed while remaining alert to the dangers around us. Along the way, Shinmani carried the boar meat in one hand and the black truffles in the other. She couldn't stop smiling. How happy do you think Miss Xia and Miss Su will be tonight when they learn how much food we found, Kai? They'll be beside themselves. They'll probably consider you the great hero. On a desert island, boar meat and black truffles are both treasures. Hee. Then we have to make a grand dinner when we return. Maybe they'll even praise me. Pride filled Shinmani's smile. The thought of gaining the other women's acceptance made her steps lighter. We chatted as we continued toward Chinsweki's camp. When we finally arrived, we found Chinsweki's camp empty. Not a single person remained. Disappointment covered Shinmani's face. How can this be? Where did they go? Sia isn't here either. I didn't become discouraged. I crouched and carefully examined the camp. I soon found the remains of a fire. Some warmth lingered in the ashes, suggesting it hadn't been lit long ago. There were also traces of a shelter built from wood. Branches lay scattered across the ground. Chinsweki's group had clearly lived here. I frowned and analyzed the scene. They can't have left long ago. Something may have forced them to move. Shinmani anxiously surveyed the surroundings for clues, murmuring, "Then what do we do? Could Sia be in danger?" I rose and patted her shoulder. "Don't worry. Let's keep searching for clues. We may learn where they went." "You've got some nerve coming back, Shinmani." As we searched, a shrill, hostile female voice broke the silence of the camp. I turned and saw a woman in her 30s wearing a maid's uniform. She stared arrogantly at Shinmani while carrying a wild boar's head. Shinmani's lips trembled. She addressed the woman respectfully. "Headmaid, who are you, And what's your relationship with Manny? Shin Manny whispered in my ear. Her name is Zhang Zuling. She's the head maid over Sia and me. She's vicious and constantly beats or curses us while doing everything she can to flatter Chin Sweki. I was powerless against her. I patted Shin Manny's shoulder and reassured her softly. You don't have to fear her. We're on a desert island now. There are no masters and servants here, and you don't owe her respect. Shin Manny nodded. I understand, Kai. Zhang Zulin's gaze casually swept across the boar meat and black truffles in Shin Manny's hands. Her eyes instantly lit up. She carried a half-eaten boar head and stared fixedly at the food in our hands. The thought made her assume a superior posture. She stepped forward, held out a hand, and ordered, You're rather capable, Shin Manny. You found so many good things. Miss Chin will definitely like them. Hand everything over now unless you want to be punished. Shin Manny instinctively clutched the food, trembled, and hid slightly behind me, her expression stubborn. And no, Kai and I risked our lives to find these things. Why should we give them to you? So your wings have hardened, Shin Manny. Now you dare disobey me. Don't forget what your life was like in the Chin household. Hand over the food obediently. I won't give it to you even if I die, Zhang Zuilin. I won't let you threaten me anymore. Fine, Shin Manny. If you refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit, don't blame me for showing no mercy. I shielded Shin Manny behind me, and gratitude clearly entered her eyes. Zhang Zuilin froze, then anger flashed across her face. Who are you to interfere in my business? Are you tired of living? Shin Manny came to my side and gathered the courage to defend me. He's my Kai. I won't let you hurt him, Zhang Zuilin. Well, look at you, Shin Manny. To return to Miss Chin's side, you seduced some strange man and brought him back as a gift. TSK. He's handsome and seems capable. He can keep Miss Chin entertained on this island. Shin Manny's pretty face turned red with anger. She gathered her courage and shouted back. Watch your mouth, Zhang Zuilin. Kai isn't that kind of person. I fixed Zhang Zuilin with a cold stare. We don't want to waste time with you. I came to find Lin Xia. You know where she is, don't you? Tell me now. Zhang Zuilin sneered dismissively. Lin Xia? She's Miss Chin's personal maid. Why should she leave with you? Who are you to her? At that moment, the bodyguard recognized me. She struggled to her feet, went to Zhang Zuilin, and whispered that I'd slapped Chin Sweki on the cruise ship because of Lin Xia and that Chin Sweki was searching everywhere for me. Disbelief flashed across Zhang Zuilin's face before a smug smile raised the corner of her mouth. Oh, so you're that man. You dared strike Miss Chin. Now that you've fallen into my hands, don't expect to have an easy time. I raised an eyebrow and retorted bluntly. So what if I hit her? A vicious woman like that would deserve it even if I beat her to death. Zhang Zuilin's face turned liver red with rage. Fine. You dare say something like that? You truly have no idea how close you are to death. She waved the boar head and threatened. I'll make you end up like this boar. I'll take your head to Miss Chin and let her vent her anger. I studied the boar head in her hand. Why did it look familiar? Looking closer, I saw the boar's head covered with tooth marks from a large predator. I recognized them. I suddenly remembered the boar the saber-toothed tiger had killed, the same carcass from which we'd harvested the remaining meat. I hadn't expected Zhang Zuilin to pick up the head after even the saber-toothed tiger had discarded it. She truly was too hungry to be selective. She'd taken a boar head of unknown origin without wondering whether it was edible or poisonous. Don't tell me you picked up the remains of another animal's meal, Zhang Zuilin. If you offer something like that to Chin Sweki and she discovers the truth, do you think her temper will make her tear you limb from limb? Isn't that the boar the saber-toothed tiger killed, Kai? How can you feed Miss Chin a head that even a wild animal refused? Headmate. Panic flashed across Zhang Zuilin's face. She truly had stumbled across the head while searching for food. At the time, she'd thought it would at least count for something and hadn't considered it carefully. Stop talking nonsense. I killed a wild boar and cut this from the carcass. How could it be some animal's leftovers? Stop slandering me to divert attention. Seeing her remain stubborn, I sneered. You killed a wild boar? Then where's the carcass? Don't tell me you took only the head and abandoned all that excellent meat. Judging by her reaction, she knew perfectly well that there was no fresh carcass and that she'd found the head. But she couldn't bring herself to admit it. After struggling for a long time, she forced herself to say, I hid it. This island is dangerous. What if another animal carried it away? I didn't believe her clumsy excuse and sneered again. You hid it? Take us there now. If a fresh carcass truly exists, I'll admit I misjudged you. Shin Manny supported me. Exactly. Take us there, headmate. If it's real, we'll believe you're capable of killing a boar. Zhang Zuilin pointed at Shin Manny and cursed. You sharp-tongued little bitch. Don't think you can protect this man by saying that. Since he struck Chin Sweki, he has to pay. Shen Manny trembled at the sudden outburst, but still glared stubbornly at Zhang Celine and thrust out her chest. Kai only struck Chin Sweki because she deserved it. You know how many people Chin Sweki usually bullies. Stop helping her commit evil. Nothing I do frightens me. As for you, instead of throwing your weight around under Chin Sweki's protection, think about what she'll do once she learns that you tried to fool her with an animal's leftovers. You reckless bastard. How dare you speak to me like that? Now that you're in my hands, you won't leave alive. I'll teach you what happens when you offend Miss Chin and me. She turned and shouted at the bodyguard beside her. Go. Cut off that man's head. If you do it, I guarantee Miss Chin will reward you handsomely. Hesitation flashed across the bodyguard's face. Sister Zhang, do I truly have to cut off his head? That's murder. I've never done anything like that. Zhang Zuilin frowned. This is a desert island. There are no laws or moral constraints. What are you afraid of? If you refuse, I'll have Miss Chin throw you to the wild animals. The bodyguard remained afraid, but she knew that disobedience might bring an even more terrible fate. To keep working for Chin Sweki, she tightened her grip on the fire axe and approached me one step at a time. Shinmani's heart leaped into her throat. Without thinking, she rushed forward and shielded me. Don't come closer. You aren't allowed to hurt Kai. I gently patted her shoulder. Don't be nervous, Manny. I'll be fine. Shinmani refused to move. No, she has an axe, Kai. I can't let her hurt you. I was helpless. This foolish girl usually looked delicate and weak. Why was she so stubborn now? The bodyguard missed and stumbled several steps forward. I seized the opportunity to kick her hard in the backside. She cried out as she lost her balance and fell face first onto the ground. Seeing the bodyguard's humiliating fall made Shun Manny snicker and eased much of her tension. Zhang Zuilin's face twisted with rage. Feeling utterly humiliated, she screeched. You useless piece of trash. You can't accomplish one simple task. Get up and cut off his head. The bodyguard flushed beneath the abuse. She retrieved the fire axe, struggled to her feet, and glared at me fiercely. Her stare didn't frighten me. Instead, I remained completely relaxed. Just as she prepared to raise the fire axe and swing again, a terrifying roar came from the distance. My heart jolted. That was a saber-toothed tiger. Shinmani had witnessed the terrifying saber-toothed tiger hunt. The familiar roar made her heart contract. She instinctively moved closer and clutched my arm, seeking my protection. The unexpected sound startled the bodyguard as well, freezing her axe in midair. As Sister Zhang did you hear that? It sounds like some kind of predator is coming. Zhang Zuilin cared only about killing me and had no interest in the sound of a wild animal. She shouted irritably. There wasn't any sound. You misheard it. Cut off his head first. If you fail and Miss Chin learns about it, you'll regret it. The bodyguard went pale, but didn't dare disobey Zhang Zuilin. She forced herself to approach me. I knew this wasn't the time to remain entangled with her. The roar had come from dangerously close. The saber-toothed tiger could appear at any moment, placing us all in danger. Thinking quickly, I tried to persuade her. Ma'am, I guarantee a fierce predator is approaching. We're both bodyguards, so you understand that staying alive comes first. Why risk your life for an old woman? The bodyguard clearly wavered, and the axe trembled in her hands. Hearing me call her an old woman made Zhang Zuilin's chest heave like an ignited firecracker. She roared. Who are you calling an old woman? You stinking brat. I'll make sure there's nothing left of your body today. Bodyguard, attack him now. The bodyguard still didn't move. Her gaze shifted constantly between Zhang Zuilin and the trees. Then I noticed the boar head in Zhang Zuilin's hands and the heavy scent of blood radiating from it. Understanding struck me. I shouted, throw away that boar head, old woman. If it draws the saber-toothed tiger here, we're all finished. She glared at me disdainfully and yelled, what saber-toothed tiger? I know that species is extinct. Stop trying to scare me. Then she turned and stared viciously at the bodyguard. If you don't attack, I'll tell Miss Chin everything you've done and make sure you never work as a bodyguard again. The bodyguard's face changed from pale to flushed. Under Zhang Zuilin's threat, she had no choice. Gritting her teeth, she raised the axe and approached me again. Shinmani hugged me desperately, as though her body could shield me from the danger. The bodyguard lifted the axe, and the blade was about to fall on Shinmani and me. Roar! A terrifying sound rolled from nearby like muffled thunder, so deep that it seemed capable of shattering the heart. This saber-toothed tiger was different from the one that had hunted the boar. It seemed smaller and thinner. Were there many saber-toothed tigers nearby? It truly is a saber-toothed tiger. The bodyguard turned deathly pale. Her axe clanged to the ground, and her legs nearly collapsed beneath her. How? How is that possible? Zhang Zuolin was terrified too. Her earlier arrogance vanished, leaving her face filled with fear and disbelief. What do we do, Kai? Shinmani clung tightly to me, trembling, her voice unsteady. Don't worry. I don't think we're its target. I comforted her while keeping a wary eye on the saber-toothed tiger. Its gaze remained locked on the boar head in Zhang Zuolin's hands. A low growl rumbled in its throat as it prepared to attack. Zhang Zuolin finally understood. But terror had weakened her legs, leaving her frozen in place and still clutching the boar head unconsciously. The next second, the saber-toothed tiger roared to the sky and transformed into a streak of golden lightning, charging at Zhang Zuolin and sending branches and leaves rustling. Zhang Zuolin nearly lost her mind with terror, but still couldn't abandon the boar head. She screamed at the bodyguard. Why are you standing there? Protect me. The bodyguard's face was deathly pale, but she retrieved the fire axe and rushed forward to intercept the tiger. Don't. I called out in warning, but everything happened too quickly. Before the word left my mouth, it was already too late. The saber-toothed tiger nimbly avoided the axe, leaped high, and pounced. Its long teeth instantly pierced the bodyguard's torso. Blood sprayed like a fountain. The bodyguard collapsed before she could even scream, and a sharp, bloody smell instantly filled the air. Ah! Shinmani screamed. She had never witnessed anything so bloody and terrifying, and her whole body went limp. Don't worry, Manny. We'll be fine. I covered her eyes and held her protectively against me. Zhang Zuolin panicked completely and finally stopped caring about the boar head. You too can feed this saber-toothed tiger, she shouted as she threw the head toward us. Then she turned and fled without looking back, running faster than a rabbit. My heart jolted. I'd hoped Zhang Zuolin could tell me Lin Sie's whereabouts. I couldn't let her escape. I was about to pursue her when the saber-toothed tiger suddenly blocked my path. A low growl rumbled from the tiger's mouth. Threads of blood clung to its two enormous canine teeth, making it terrifying to behold. Realizing the saber-toothed tiger had fixed its gaze on us made fear spread like a tide through Shinmani. What do we do, Kai? The saber-toothed tiger has chosen us. Are we going to die here? Her body trembled uncontrollably. Both hands clutched my arm, and her voice shook. I'm here, Manny. I won't let anything happen to you. I gently patted her back to reassure her while my mind raced through possible responses, never taking my eyes off the tiger. The creature roared and charged like an arrow released from a bow. Its astonishing speed sent the wind howling around it. I couldn't hesitate. I shoved Shinmani hard to the side, sending her away from the danger. At the same time, I pulled the Swiss Army knife from my pocket and flicked open the blade, preparing to fight. The instant the tiger leaped high in a killing pounce, I timed my movement, pushed hard with both legs, and slid beneath it like a black shadow. The sequence was as smooth and fast as lightning. During the slide, I lifted the knife and stabbed at the tiger's belly. Rip! The blade plunged into its body, but the creature's hide and fur were so thick that I inflicted only a shallow wound. Roar! The saber-toothed tiger bellowed deafeningly in pain and twisted violently. Kai! Shinmani covered her mouth from the side, her eyes wide with terror and worry. Don't panic, Manny. I'm fine. Get farther away and hide somewhere safe. I warned her without relaxing my focus on the saber-toothed tiger. Unless I found an effective way to defeat it, Shinmani and I would be in grave danger. The tiger seemed completely enraged by my attack. It paced around me constantly, low roars rumbling in its throat. I knew I couldn't wait to die. My gaze swept across the surroundings in search of anything useful. From the corner of my eye, I spotted the bodyguard the tiger had killed. Her fire axe lay on the ground beside her. My eyes lit up. Compared with the Swiss Army knife, the fire axe would be a far deadlier weapon. When the saber-toothed tiger charged again, I narrowed my eyes, judged its path, threw myself sideways, and rolled smoothly across the ground. The tiger missed. Its enormous body swept past me, stirring a fierce gust. Using the momentum of my roll, I sprang to my feet and raced toward the fallen bodyguard. In the blink of an eye, I reached her and snatched the fire axe from the ground. The axe had been sharpened. Its keen blade filled me with confidence. Watch out, Kai. The saber-toothed tiger was already upon me, one powerful forepaw raised as it lunged at my chest. Before I could catch my breath, its huge body struck me like a cannonball. An overwhelming force sent me flying. I slammed into the ground with a crash, scattering fallen leaves. Cough, cough. I coughed violently. The impact felt as if it had shifted every organ inside me. The saber-toothed tiger had no intention of sparing me. With a roar, it pounced like a ghost. Was I going to die here today? Just then, Shinmani's tearful voice reached me again. I couldn't die here. I couldn't leave Shinmani in a hopeless situation. I still hadn't found Sia or repaid everything she'd done for me. The saber tooth was about to pierce my neck. Gritting my teeth, I gripped the fire axe with both hands and swung it viciously at the tiger's head. The saber-toothed tiger sensed the deadly threat. Its attack veered away from my neck as it jerked its head aside, trying to block the strike with one of its sharp canine teeth. Crack! The axe collided with the tooth and sent up sparks. Under my desperate blow, the impossibly hard saber snapped. Roar! The tiger bellowed in agony, instantly becoming a tiger with its fang pulled. It abandoned its attack, turned, and fled like a hurricane, quickly disappearing into the jungle. I collapsed and gasped for air, my heart hammering as though it would leap from my chest. I just brushed shoulders with death. The slightest mistake would have left me dead in the tiger's jaws. "You're all right, Kai?" "Thank goodness." Sob. Shinmani ran over, crying so hard that tears covered her beautiful face, and threw herself into my arms. "Don't worry. I'm not so easy to kill." As I comforted her, my gaze moved toward the prize on the ground. The saber tooth I'd chopped off. I picked up the saber-toothed tiger's canine. It gleamed strangely in the sunlight. The tooth was about 15 centimeters long, with a hard surface that shone coldly. Its tip was as sharp as a natural dagger. I gently ran my fingers over it. The thing might prove extremely useful. Perhaps I could turn it into a proper weapon and gain another layer of protection against future dangers. "Isn't that the saber-toothed tiger's tooth, Kai? Why are you keeping it?" "It looks frightening." "You don't understand, Manny. This is valuable. It may be extremely useful later," I explained with a smile. Knowing that Shinmani was clearly afraid of it, I calmly placed the saber tooth in my pocket. Once I found suitable bamboo, I could use it to make a sharp spear. Shinmani nodded with only partial understanding. She knew little about these things and only wanted to help me find Sia as soon as possible. Looking at the empty forest, Shinmani's eyes dimmed. Zhang Zuolin escaped, and the bodyguard is dead. How are we supposed to find Sia now, Kai? I considered it briefly. Qin Sueki sent Zhang Zuolin to search for food, which means their camp must be nearby. Zhang Zuolin would have left tracks as she fled. If we follow the direction she ran, we may find the camp and Sia. Shinmani's eyes lit up. "You're so clever, Kai. That's an excellent idea. Let's hurry and find Zhang Zuolin." That woman had been a dedicated bodyguard, but unfortunately, she'd served the wrong person and died for it. I hope she'd choose more wisely in her next life. Shinmani moved before I could and lifted the boar head. "I'll carry this for you, Kai." Warmth filled me. "All right. Thank you, Manny. Let's go and find Zhang Zuolin." I carefully examined the ground in the direction Zhang Zuolin had fled. The grass had been trampled, and faint footprints remained in the soil, roughly marking her path. I pointed out the traces to Shinmani. "These are our clues. If we follow them, we'll be fine." Shinmani recovered her spirit. "All right, Kai. Let's hurry." I followed Zhang Zuolin's trail and cleared the way. Shinmani followed with the boar head in one hand and the boar meat in the other, while the black truffles remained tucked in her pocket. Seeing how much she carried, I asked with concern, "Are you tired, Manny? You're panting like a little donkey. Do you want me to carry something?" "I'm fine, Kai. I did physical labor all the time at Qin Sueki's house. Carrying this is like playing." "So you often performed physical labor. No wonder you eat so much. Did you eat plenty at the Qin household too? Is that why you worked so efficiently?" "How could I eat plenty? Zhang Zuolin often made me work without allowing me to eat. My stomach would feel glued to my back, yet she'd still curse me for working too slowly. Pity rose inside me. Zhang Zuolin went too far. Letting her escape was far too kind. A woman like that deserved to become saber-toothed tiger food. Exactly. She deliberately threw the boar head at our feet to draw the saber-toothed tiger. She's every bit as evil as Qin Sueki. If you couldn't eat enough at the Qin household, how did you have the strength to work? Did Sia secretly give you extra food?" Shinmani became embarrassed. "Sia always gave me delicious things. She knew I couldn't eat enough, so she'd hide food and slip it to me when no one was watching. But Qin Sueki constantly made trouble for Sia without reason. She made her do all kinds of heavy, exhausting work, then beat and cursed her over the slightest displeasure. It broke my heart to watch. Rage surged inside me, and my fists clenched unconsciously. Qin Sueki is completely insane. She dared treat my beloved Sia like that. Once I find her, I won't let her get away with it. Sia suffered so much under Qin Sueki. We have to find her and rescue her. Yes, Sia has endured too much. I'll never let anyone hurt her again." "You idiot. You couldn't even accomplish the simple task of finding food, and you lost my bodyguard. What use are you?" "I did find food for you, Miss Qin." A saber-toothed tiger suddenly appeared, and I was separated from her. I'm telling the truth. A saber-toothed tiger? Do you think I'm stupid? That's only your excuse for failing to find food, you useless piece of trash. Hearing their voices, I raised the corner of my mouth in a wicked smile and swaggered toward them with Shin Manny. The moment Zhang Zuolin saw us, she looked as if she'd seen ghosts. Why, you're still alive? I remained calm and glanced disdainfully at Zhang Zuolin. This woman had nearly cost me my life. I couldn't let her go. I slowly said, sorry to disappoint you, old woman. That saber-toothed tiger was no match for me. Zhang Zuolin's eyes widened like brass bells. She looked as though she'd heard an impossible fairy tale. What? And no, that's impossible. Saber-toothed tigers are too fierce. How could you defeat one? I must be dreaming. Zhang Zuolin stared at me in terror. Shin Manny's pretty face turned red with anger. She shouted, you went too far, headmaid. You got that bodyguard killed to save yourself, and then tried to feed Kai and me to the saber-toothed tiger. How can you be so vicious? Oh my god. Zhang Zuolin pushed Shin Manny toward a tiger just to save herself. That's unbelievably selfish. I never imagined Zhang Zuolin would do something like that. Did she get Miss Qin's bodyguard killed? I always thought Zhang Zuolin was underhanded, but I never knew she was this cruel. Someone like that shouldn't stay with us. She's too dangerous and will definitely hurt us. All of you shut up. Who are you to comment on what my headmaid does? I never knew you were so capable, Shin Manny. You found all this food. At least you had the sense to bring it back as an offering to me. I'll allow you to return. Zhang Zuolin noticed the boar head in Shin Manny's hand and seized on it like a lifeline, desperately telling Qin Sueki, I found that boar head first, Miss Qin. They stole it from me. I truly wasn't lying. Qin Sueki's face immediately changed. You've got some nerve, Shin Manny. You dare steal our property? Hand it over. No. Kai and I struggled to get this food. Why should I give it to you? You always bullied us, and now you want to tyrannize everyone on this island too. Not a chance. Shin Manny clutched the food as though it were her most precious treasure and instinctively moved closer to me. So it's you. I've been searching everywhere. You reckless, stinking bodyguard. It wasn't enough to ruin my plans on the cruise ship. Now you dare incite my maid to oppose me. Oh, Miss Qin, you missed me that much? I'm overwhelmed to have the Qin group heiress constantly thinking about me. Who would think about a stinking bodyguard like you? Show me some respect, or I'll tear your mouth apart. This rotten bodyguard had opposed me again and again, and now he dared speak to me like this. Who had given him the nerve? Qin Sueki fixed her eyes on the fire axe in my hand, and her expression darkened. You rotten bodyguard. You stole my food and my fire axe. Hand them over now. Faced with her imperious command, I remained fearless. Leaning back slightly, I answered unhurriedly. I obtained this fire axe with my own skill. Why should I give it to you? Besides, I picked it up from the ground. How did I steal anything? Don't slander me, Miss Qin. Nonsense. You can't simply find a fire axe on a desert island. My bodyguard carried it, and she still hasn't returned. Tell me, what did you do to her? What happened to her? I glanced sideways at Zhang Zuolin. She trembled like a frightened rabbit, clearly afraid of something. The corner of my mouth rose in a wicked smile. You'll have to ask your headmaid what she did to survive. The surrounding women smelled the promise of gossip and gathered around. Qin Sueki glared fiercely at Zhang Zuolin. Speak. What happened? That bodyguard was my trusted subordinate. If something truly happened to her, you'll regret it. Zhang Zuolin's calves trembled under Qin Sueki's stare, and her lips quivered. After a long time, she finally answered. And Miss Qin, I had no choice. We encountered a saber-toothed tiger, and your bodyguard tried to protect me, so I truly didn't mean for it to happen. Shin Manny's small chest heaved with anger. She immediately stepped forward and contradicted Zhang Zuolin. You're lying. You ordered that bodyguard to attack the saber-toothed tiger and got her killed. You're a murderer. Qin Sueki felt dizzy at the accusation. She still couldn't quite believe that Zhang Zuolin had caused her bodyguard's death. Clinging to one last shred of hope, she demanded, Tell me, is Shin Manny telling the truth? Zhang Zuolin dropped to her knees, tears and mucus streaming down her face. I was wrong, Miss Qin. I was too frightened. I only thought about protecting the boar head I'd found for you. I never meant to get her killed. To inflame Qin Sueki's anger further, I stepped forward and said, There's something else you don't know, Qin Sueki. The boar head Zhang Zuolin brought you was an animal's leftovers. The surrounding women gasped, their gazes filling with contempt as they looked at Zhang Zuolin. Oh my god, Zhang Zuolin actually gave Miss Qin an animal's leftovers. That's disgusting. Exactly. Miss Qin trusted her so much, and she returned with a thing like that. She even sent Miss Qin's bodyguard to her death just to save herself. How shameless. The bodyguard had lost her life because of Zhang Zuolin's selfishness, and now the headmaid had tried to deceive her with an animal's discarded boar head. Towering rage rushed through Chin Sweki's skull. What do you have to say for yourself, Zhang Zuolin? One woman had been betrayed by the subordinate she trusted most, while the other was abandoned by the woman whose favor she craved. My tactic had killed two birds with one stone. I could avenge Shinmani and Lin Xie while making Chin Sweki and Zhang Zuolin tear each other apart. Nothing could be more satisfying. How can you believe their nonsense, Miss Chin? I'm sorry about your bodyguard, but I truly cut that head from a fresh carcass. It isn't what they claim. For your sake, that had better be true. Otherwise, I will never forgive you. Why should I believe you, stinking bodyguard? Don't forget we're enemies. You dared strike me on the ship, and I haven't settled that account. Look at the bite marks on the boar head, and you'll know whether it's an animal's leftovers. And if she cut it from a fresh carcass, where is the rest of the body? I gave Shinmani a look, signaling her to lift the boar head so Chin Sweki could see it clearly. Oh my god, look at those uneven bite marks. A large wild animal obviously made them. Exactly. What if it's still covered with the animal's saliva? Ugh, that's disgusting. Zhang Zuolin's lie is ridiculous. Miss Chin tried to protect her, and now the truth is slapping her in the face. Chin Sweki fixed her gaze on the obvious bite marks. The surrounding mockery cut like sharp knives and made her cheeks burn. Do you think I'm a fool, Zhang Zuolin? First, you got my bodyguard killed to save yourself. Then you tried to disgust me with a boar head covered in animal saliva. You've grown awfully bold. I was wrong, Miss Chin. I truly understand my mistake. I was so afraid that I lost my mind and did something stupid. Please show mercy and spare me this once. Spare you? What about my dignity? Who will answer for my dead bodyguard? I have to punish you severely today. Chin Sweki's voice changed pitch with rage. She kicked Zhang Zuolin aside and ordered several bodyguards behind her. Break both her legs, then drag her into the forest and feed her to the wolves. Teach her what happens when someone betrays me. Two female bodyguards seized the limp Zhang Zuolin like a chick and dragged her aside. Zhang Zuolin turned deathly pale and screamed hoarsely. I truly know I was wrong. Miss Chin, please don't do this to me. Chin Sweki remained unmoved, as though the person begging before her were only an insignificant ant. Two other female bodyguards quickly found clubs as thick as an arm and approached Zhang Zuolin with cruel expressions. Don't hit me. I don't want to die. Zhang Zuolin's eyes bulged. Terror chilled her skull, and she trembled as indistinct pleas left her mouth. Then pale yellow, warm liquid ran from beneath her maid's skirt with a pungent smell. She had wet herself in fear. The bodyguards showed no mercy. One immediately raised her club and smashed it against Zhang Zuolin's thigh. Ah! Zhang Zuolin's cry of agony sent chills through the surrounding women. The bodyguards remained expressionless and struck again and again, each blow falling with tremendous force. Zhang Zuolin's shrieks became increasingly piercing, as though they could twist the very air of the island while her life was gradually crushed. Not one of the surrounding women tried to stop them. Instead, their faces showed satisfaction. Humph. This is what happens to someone with an evil heart. She used to throw her weight around under Miss Chin's protection. Now she's receiving her retribution. She should have known Miss Chin couldn't be fooled. She committed such a wicked act to save herself, and now she's suffering for it. Exactly. She always bullied us with Chin Sweki behind her. Now it's her turn to suffer. This is deeply satisfying. I watched coldly, without the slightest sympathy. As the saying went, only a villain could torment another villain. An evildoer like Zhang Zuolin deserved this retribution. But I quickly realized that the bodyguards weren't using their full strength. They were clearly holding back. Did Chin Sweki still intend to protect her? Then I noticed Shinmani watching Zhang Zuolin with clenched teeth and immediately understood. Without a word, I found a club as thick as an arm and handed it to Shinmani. Go. Take back everything she's made you suffer over the years. Shinmani froze briefly, then immediately understood my intention. Hesitation flashed through her eyes.